तेरे प्यार दे कदे कदे मेरे बारे तेनू पुछण कुड़े साडी जिंदगी च दिल किन्ने टुटे ते जुड़े बह के सोचां भी तेरा हाल की किते कलियां के तेरे नाल दा नहीं कोई रातां नू पासा वटदी ऐ उदों करदी ऐ किनू कॉल नहीं मैनू पता भी तू दिलों पछताउनी ऐ नी मैनू पता भी तू हले मैनू चाहुनी ऐ तू सांभ लै तू हंजू तेरी बिल्ली अख दे का तो छेड़ा पिछे दुख तू लुकाउनी ऐ तेरी याद आई चिरा बाद अड़िए नी याद आई चिरा बाद अड़िए नी अखां विच हंजू डुल गए नी तेरे प्यार दे याद आई चिरा बाद अड़िए नी अखां विच हंजू डुल गए नी तेरे प्यार दे हाय ओए तेरे प्यार दे हाय ओए तेरे प्यार दे तेरे प्यार दे हाय ओए तेरे प्यार दे मेरे दिन हुण खाली खाली लगन कुड़े रौनकां भी कईयां असीं कल्ले खड़े सुने हो गए नी जज्बात कुड़े साडा पुछना की हालात कुड़े की तारीफां करदा रवां तेरी मिठी लगदी आवाज कुड़े दस चुन्नी विच कातों ऐ लकोया नी तू जिथे तुरना तां दस उत्थे ही राह पट दूं नी मैं चंद तेरी झोली च भी पा दूं चिट्टीए नी तू मिलने तां आ इक वारी जट नूं तेरी याद आई चिरां बाद अड़िए नी याद आई चिरां बाद अड़िए नी अखां विच हंजू डुल गए नी तेरे प्यार दे याद आई चिरां बाद अड़िए नी अखां विच हंजू डुल गए नी तेरे प्यार दे
Hola amigo, welcome back to another stream of today. क्या हाल है? एक मिनट ये क्या है? ये वो हालो टिप भाई हालो कैसे क्या हाल है? ओह क्या हाल है मेरे कोट के नलिन भाई? एकदम बढ़िया। टी शर्ट कहां से लिया? ये मेरा मर्च था भाई जो रिलीज ही नहीं हुआ। मॉम मर्च बेबी। क्या चल रही है गाइस? कैसे हो? वेलकम बैक टू द स्ट्रीम। अच्छा था तुमने जो कल बोला। क्या था वो? 8 शो अच्छा था। आई वॉज बिंग चिलिंग yesterday. Kind of good. ओके था, कुछ खास नहीं था। हाँ शोगन देख लेते इससे बढ़िया में। डन विद लंच नहीं रे, सीधा उठा सीधा ब्रेकफास्ट खाया सीधा कोर्ट में मजा आ गया। जय बात। कैसे डन भाई? ऑल गुड कार भाई। टिकट मिल गया ब्रो मेरे को वीआईपी वाली मिल गई। कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ऐसा है हमारा भाई। टिकट कोल्ड प्ले की टिकट कोई बड़ी बात है? कोल्ड प्ले का टिकट मिलना कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है मेरे लिए। ऐसा है हमारे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स, समझे? किसको चाहिए तो बता दियो, दे सकते हो। वीआईपी टिकट मिला है सेंटर। अगर मैं इधर बैठा हूं, कोल्ड प्ले इधर सामने है, कोई बड़ी बात नहीं। शोगन एंडिंग की सेल। हाँ क्या इस हफ्ता का हो गया भाई? अगले हफ्ते देखेंगे वो। लड़ाई करवा के जा रहा हो। क्यों लड़ाई भाई? ब्लैक में भेजेगा? नहीं भाई, ब्लैक में क्यों बेचू भाई? है? जरूरत ही नहीं। और बताओ, तो भाई ओयो होगा आज, कर सकते हैं बाद में। इट्स अ चिल डे। एम सिटी बॉल ग्रेटर देन कोड प्ले। वाई भाई, वाई वाई वाई, ये क्या हो गया यार? बाल एकदम बहरन जैसा क्यों हो गया यार? ये इधर आके बाल ना सेट नहीं हो रही है एकदम सी, मतलब समझ रहे हो भाई? ऑस्ट्रेलिया में क्या बाल सेट थी भाई? ये क्या है? ट्रैविस का क्या सीन है? कौन सा ट्रैविस का भाई? ये क्या है भाई इधर बाल? थोड़ा वैलो रैंक पुश करो, पागल है। अभी अभी देखनी है ना मैच, क्या लगता है गैस, क्या सीन है गेम का? कुछ होगा आज? तो मैं मुलेट कट करवा दो, ट्रेंड में विराट भाई। हाँ क्या मुलेट कट? मुलेट कट सोच लो, वही कर ले फिर। इतना बाल भी तो चाहिए, है ही नहीं इतना बाल। ये क्या विराट भाई का ट्रेंड है भाई? सबसे पहले मैं ही किया था काफी टाइम पहले ही, टीबोन भाई की ट्रेंड। एवरेज मैंगलोरियन हेयर्स, हाँ ना बे एकदम। नहीं बे, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में अच्छा था मेरा हेयर्स। पानी मैटर करता है, पानी मैटर करता है। Huge respect to Tibon bhai, you are a pure gold for Valorant. Excuse me, are you saying my rank is gold or am I Admi gold? If you're saying my rank is gold, I'm Diamond 2 by the way. What do you mean? मुझे दे दो टिकट्स में, सच्ची में वेतन चाहिए यार। एक मेरे से बोल लेता, वीआईपी वाली टिकट ले ले, फ्री में, कोई पैसा नहीं चाहिए, ऐसा आदमी नहीं। ले भाई, बेच दिया। और बताओ भाई। ओ माय गॉड, ला 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 ला। और बताओ। हाँ यार, पेड एसी कहाँ से? पेड एसी भाई। और बताओ, ओयो स्ट्रीम पता नहीं भाई कब करनी है। ओयो स्ट्रीम करेंगे आज की मैच देखे पहले। लेट्स डू वन बाय वन स्टेप एट अ टाइम, वन ऑफ वन। इंडिया में क्या क्या हो रहा है? मेरे को हेलो नहीं बोल रहा है तो मैं जॉर्ड गैंग आज, पता नहीं यार क्या सीन है। कुछ अपडेट्स तो नहीं है, कुछ अपडेट्स नहीं है तो हम कहाँ बताए? कुछ अपडेट्स है तो अन्ना भी है आज, मुझे नहीं पता है भाई। ला 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 ला। गेम चालू होते ही बता दियो गाइस। क्या लगता है गाइस, डीएसजी अच्छी टीम है क्या? होगी कुछ? भाई लंच हो गया? नहीं यार, सीधा ब्रेकफास्ट खा के सीधा आया, सीधा। नेओस घर गया क्या आज सच्ची में? वो माय गॉड। आज ओयो देखते हैं यार। अमरा सेड हाउ इज टीबोन डूइंग? हरामी हो यार तुम लोग, कब सुधरोगे रे बाबा अभिषेक? 4 साल से देख रहा हूं, 4 साल के पहले भी लोडू थे आप, आज भी लोडू हो। आर यू लाइक लोडू फॉर एवर? चलो भाई, पिंक्स भाई को गाली दो। गाली क्यों भाई? डीएसजी अच्छी टीम है भाई, देखते हैं भाई, हम भी किसी से कम नहीं है भाई। वो जो भी टीम है जो नियोस के अगेंस्ट खेल रहे थे भाई, बहुत डेंजरस टीम थी भाई। जापान की टीम बढ़िया खेले भाई वो लोग। भाई नियोस हार गए, घर गए ना गाइस। कैसे यार पाजी, बढ़िया यार नवजीत पाजी, कैसे यार। बाय हाउस यूज ऑल गुड ऋषभ भाई। भाई बैंगलोर आ रहा हूँ, बेसिक कन्नड़ा सिखा दो। क्यों भाई, बिना कन्नड़ा भी काम चलती है भाई इधर। ला 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 ला। एसपीजी या रिडल जीतने वाले एसेंशन। भाई रिडल तगड़ा खेल रहे भाई, मेरे को लग रहा है। टीबन भाई हाउ डू यू नो एल्ड्रिक बंजे, ये कौन है भाई। ऑटो वालों से डर लगता है, केक डब्ल्यू। ऑटो वाले से क्यों डर लगता है, काफी स्वीट है भाई ऑटो वाले, लेकिन मैं लेता ही नहीं हूं ऑटो, ओला कैब लेता हूं बस। ऑटो वाले क्या है ना, एक प्रॉब्लम है, ऑटो वाले ज्यादा वो बोलते हैं यार, कन्नड़ा में अगर बात किया इसलिए। हाँ जी वो है, वो थोड़ी सी है, वो है बैंगलोर में है थोड़ी सी वो। मुझे तो लगता है सिर्फ बैंगलोर नहीं, हर जगह है, उसका लोकल लैंग्वेज थोड़ी सी तो पता होनी चाहिए भाई। ठीक है ठीक है। बिना कन्नड़ा मारते लोग, सच्ची में क्या भाई, मेरे को तो आता है भाई। मुझे लगता मुझे कोई देख के मारे के क्या, मुझे नहीं लग रहा ये नप्पा प्रॉपर कन्नड़ा आती है। जोसेफ चाचा कब होगी भाई, जोसेफ चाचा भी जल्दी होगी, टेंशन की बात नहीं, बस एक दो पापी पेट आने दो ग्रैंड आरपी की। क्या आज फाटू भाई और बिग्स भाई का रीयूनियन होगी, अजी टर्न मेरा। अगर रीयूनियन हुआ ना, भाई का नाम बबले बोन गेमिंग होगा आज। पॉसिबल ही नहीं। और बताओ बेबी डॉल। टिबन भाई TLRP केलो विद केक एंड राका भाई, केक का खेलता है क्या अभी भी क्या यार, आरपी में बोर होता है यार, इससे बढ़िया हमारा सिमुलेशन आरपी सही है। हाँ और बताओ, जूस पिला दो, जो भी हो जाए, आज ओयो नहीं हुआ है तो ऐसे मत करो यार प्रधान भाई। बारिश वारिश नहीं है बे, क्या सीन है गाइस, कम बारिश आ रही है आजकल। वेयर आर द क्लाउड्स मैन। चैट ये क्या सीन है वैलोरेंट मोबाइल का, आएगा क्या इंडिया में भाई। ये तो मैं पूरा ग्राइंड करूंगा, आया तो मैं सच्ची बता। 6 महीने एमुलेटर में खेलूंगा, 6 महीने मोबाइल में खेलूंगा, ताकि हेट बैलेंस रहे। क्योंकि दोनों जगह से तो गाली पड़नी ही है। टिवन भाई गॉड ऑफ वॉर सेकंड पार्ट PS से ले ले सस्ते में मिल रही है, सच्ची में भाई PC में खेलेंगे ना बाबा। ओयो रेडी है, आज 2 बंदे लेकर आ रहा हूँ सिद्धि भाई, आपके लिए 3 एग्जीक्यूटिव रूम्स रेडी करने वाला हूं मैं, 3। आपको कोई मारा तो बाउंस हो जाएगा, वो तू गया। टीबोन जैसा दोस्त होनी चाहिए, झगड़ा खत्म नहीं कलेश होना चाहिए। हाँ क्या सीन है गाइस, कौन कौन आईफोन खरीद लिया भाई नया वाली। भाई कभी आओ हरियाणा में टिबोन भाई। रजत भाई मैं आपसे दूर रहना चाहता हूं, सच्ची बता रजत भाई, मुझे आपसे कलेश नहीं करनी, मैं अभी हाथ जोड़ रहा हूं आपसे। एक तो मैं इधर टेम्पररी वीजा में आया हूं इंडिया में, मुझे वापस मेरे देश जाना पड़ेगा ऑस्ट्रेलिया। #एंड बोल। रजत भाई से दूर क्या सीन है गाइस, रजत भाई अभी सब ठीक है, मतलब का हो भाईचारा ऑन टॉप ऑन टॉप। ये बाल का क्या करूं, मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, ना इसमें कुछ है ना उसमें कुछ है। टीबन बाय जेट डोंट केयर, जेट डोंट केयर मतलब जेट से क्या रिलेशन, जेट डोंट केयर। चैट चैट का क्या रिलेशन है इससे? बाय आईफोन 16 प्रो मैक्स मैंने खरीद लिया। गाइस मैंने चेक किया, मेरी S23 अल्ट्रा को 38,000 देंगे लोग और मुझे आईफोन 16 प्रो मैक्स एक्सचेंज वर्थ इट है। S23 अल्ट्रा विद आईफोन 16 प्रो मैक्स 38,000, 90,000 99 दिया है मैं फोन को, वर्थ इट है ब्रो। जल्दी होटल खोलो, बंदी मान गई है। क्या बात है, क्या बात है। नॉट वर्थ इट ना, मेरे को भी वही लगा भाई, काफी कम प्राइसिंग देते हैं यार। भाई आपके कब बोर्ड से ओल्ड मॉन्क ले लूं क्या? मेरी नॉटी गाली दो इसको, क्या नाम है, कुशवत पलाडिया, गाली दो भर के कोई टेंशन। हाँ जी, क्या सीन है भाई? चालू हुआ 5 मिनट टाइम लगेगा। हेलो हाँ जी, कैसे हो भाई? ये बेंचो डिस्कॉर्ड में, अगर डिस्कॉर्ड में कोई इग्नोर होता है वो वाला अवार्ड कैटेगरी में मैं आया ना, मैं ही जीतूंगा, क्योंकि कोई और तो नहीं रहेंगे।
टिबोन भाई कभी
क्या
सोचा था अपना 1v1 डिस्गाइज टोस्ट के सामने होएगा?
भाई क्या सीन है भाई? टीम कैसी है? जूसी है, मतलब अच्छी टीम ही होनी चाहिए। अच्छी टीम
इसमें ना देख, एफएस नाउस और डीएसजी अच्छी टीम थी,
पर नाउस तो गया आज।
नाउस का थोड़ा लेफ्ट राइट हो गया
भाई। अच्छा खेले यार, थोड़ा इधर उधर
और
हुआ है।
सबसे अच्छी टीम वो भी है प्रिन वाला
ब्रो,
तो हम लोग ने हारा है ना।
एसपीजी और आरएडी क्या आज की टीम मेरे को लग रहा है भाई काफी तगड़ा था भाई। अगर
बहुत चांस है मेरे साथ
ब्रो, अगर मुंह, अरे मादर भाई, आज अगर मुंह खोले तो जिसके तो कैंसिल कर
हमारा नहीं है तो
सजल भाई
वरना तो अपना फुल चांस।
ब्रदर ओनली फ्रेंड्स में हम
बूम भी है
ब्रदर ओनली फ्रेंड्स में कब मैसेज किया करो, ऐसे ना करो यार पाजी, तुम लोग रिप्लाई नहीं देते हो यार। ये लो अभी कर, ये सब क्या है भाई तुम लोग? भाई कितनी स्लिम हो गया, एक बार चेक कर लो पाजी ग्रुप। भाई मां कसम, इतना स्लिम तो मैंने आज तक नहीं हुआ भाई। भाई सब सही है भाई, चार ऑन टॉप रजत भाई, राम राम। मेरे साथ पंगा कुछ सीन नहीं है ना, बस जस्ट ऐसा वेल विशर पूछ रहा हूं। देखो हमारा सब ठीक है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं। वैसे क्या सीन है गाइस? रजत भाई आजकल कहाँ हो यार? लास्ट टाइम आप जब वो गाड़ी का क्लिप देखा था उसके बाद पता नहीं क्या हुआ, फॉलो नहीं कर रहा हूं, क्या सीन है अभी, कहाँ हो? ठीक है भाई, पेट बाहर आ रहा है तेरा ब्रो। कब आ रहे हो? 25 को ना, 24 25। चालू हो गया क्या भाई? अभी तक चालू नहीं हुआ है। क्रिकेट खेल रहे रजत भाई? क्या बोल रहे हो भाई, सारे क्रिकेट खेल रहे हैं भाई, हमें भी बुलाओ यार, हमारा भी अच्छा बॉलिंग है भाई। बैटिंग थोड़ा कैजुअल है लेकिन बॉलिंग है, बुलाओ यार हमें भी, ऐसे ना करो। हाँ कोई टीम तो डाल दो यार मेरे को भी, एलविश भाई की टीम या फिर आपकी टीम पे रजत भाई, अच्छी प्लेयर है ब्रो। 25 को पार्टी सीन से, क्या बोल रहे हो सच्ची में भाई? कहीं भी जाना है कैब में जाएंगे, अभी बता रहा हूं, फालतू का चलन नहीं कटना है। ला 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 ला, क्या बाल है भाई ब्रो। वीएलटी सिकपाजी वैन भाई, बॉलिंग क्या नहीं है भाई, अच्छी बॉलिंग तो है भाई। मेरी हैदराबाद की कोई फैंस है इधर, उनको पता है भाई उस दिन की बॉलिंग भाई की। भाई राका भाई से भी पूछ सकते हो भाई, बॉलिंग है। बैटिंग थोड़ी कैजुअल है वो, क्योंकि मैं लेफ्ट हैंड हूँ ना, स्टेडियम बड़ा होनी चाहिए, स्टेडियम छोटा है तो मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता। आई नीड बिग ब्रो। ओनली फ्रेंड्स ग्रुप में सेल्फी तो सेलेक्टिव डालो भाई, तुम लोग रिप्लाई भी नहीं करो, रोज मैं इतनी चीजें पूछता हूँ उसमें 40 देके सेल्फी भेजी, शर्म करो। शिट, धोती खोल रहे क्या? आज अगर हम जीतेंगे तो कहाँ जाएंगे गाइस? अगर आज हारे तो घर या फिर लोअर ब्रैकेट्स कुछ है? कोई बता सकता है मुझे? कोई मुझे बता सकता है आज अगर हारे तो गर या फिर ब्रो अगर आज हारे तो गर या फिर लोअर ब्रैकेट्स है? आज हारे तो गर या फिर कुछ लोअर ब्रैकेट्स है?
आज हारे तो फिर वो है फोटोशूट अंकिता के साथ।
भाई आंखें खराब हो गई है, कुछ अच्छा गेम प्ले दिखा दो आज। भाई मैं थोड़ी खेलने वाला हूं, आज रोसी भाई खेलेंगे। भाई हे यू वांट कोल्ड प्ले टिकट्स प्राइस स्टैंडिंग फॉर 21st 40K। भाई इंडिया में क्या हो रहा है भाई? ये सब बाहर नहीं होता भाई, इधर क्यों होता है? हा? टिकट्स खरीद के बाद में ज्यादा प्राइस में बेचना, ये गलत है ना यार। तो इसलिए सारे खरीद रहे हैं, वो भी जनवरी का शो पे। सोचो जनवरी में अगर चैट मुझे एक बात बताओ, मैं एक सिंपल सी चीज पूछ रहा हूं, कोल्ड प्ले की जनवरी में है, ठीक है, कुछ भी हो सकता है, कैंसिल भी हो सकता है, ठीक है, यू नेवर नो। किसी ने ब्लैक में खरीद लिया 40,000 देके 2 टिकट्स 80,000 और शो कैंसिल हो गई, क्या होगा उस टाइम? उसके लौड़े लग गए या फिर कैसे? भाई आप 8 बॉल्स डालते होंगे 6 और हाँ? गया क्या? पैसे गए ना मेरे हिसाब से।
टीबोन भाई तुम्हारे गांड में हाथी का लंड।
क्यों भाई बैंचो और बोलते हो क्यों होती है लो? क्यों नहीं भाई, हम डिजर्व करते हैं।
आज पैंच बिकनी पहन के स्ट्रीम कर तो शायद हम जीतेंगे। चलो
भाई मुझे टिकट नहीं मिल रही है, क्या सोसाइटी मुझे एक्सेप्ट करेगी? भाई नहीं करेगी भाई टिकट।
ऑस्ट्रेलिया जाके इंडियन टीम्स को
ऐसे मत करो यार, आई एम ऑलवेज हियर ओनली।
चलो शुरू हो जाओ।
क्या कैसे तुमने नोटिस किया? मैं बोलते ये पीछे एक मेरी आवाज के थ्रू वो कर रहा है।
ए तू गया क्या टीबोन कभी स्ट्रिप क्लब?
ये सब सवाल ऑफ स्ट्रीम पूछते हैं।
मेरे को लगता है टीबोन एक ऐसा बंदा है जो स्ट्रिप क्लब में एंट्री के टाइम पे बोलता क्या हो गया सर, मैं खुद कर लेता हूँ ना, काहे पैसे ले रहे हो मेरे से? उधर भी
ये
बोलता
सब
रहेगा
सवाल ऑफ स्ट्रीम पूछने की सवाल है, ऑन स्ट्रीम कौन पूछते हैं? टीम बाय यूपीआई देखो,
जस्ट सेइंग मेरे को
1 लाख रुपीस।
एनी कमेंट्स?
क्या क्या?
केजर ने बोला था तेरी मारने को।
मेरे को क्या?
तेरी गांड मारने को बड़वे केजर ने बोला था।
केजर भाई जाओ आरपी में उनको पकड़ो, क्या बोलते हैं? राइट बडीज फॉर एवरीवन इन चैट इफ टीबोन स्ट्रीम से। वाह मैडम, ठीक है ठीक है।
किसको पकड़ो? वो आरे में अटक गया वो।
किसको
किसको पकड़ो? कंप्लीट तो कर
बच्चा। हाउ आर यू? बढ़िया है।
बादाम बादाम खाता है क्या हर दिन सुबह? क्या सीन
ब्रो आज अभी मैंने चालू किया बादाम और ड्राइड ग्रेप्स, गुड फॉर हेल्थ, गुड फॉर कॉन्स्टिपेशन।
ब्रेन्स के लिए देखो क्या क्या गुड है।
ब्रेन्स के लिए वो ब्रेन शेप्ड वाली एक आती है, क्या बोलते हैं उसको? एप्रिकोट, वो बेस्ट है। एप्रिकोट नहीं, क्या बोलते हैं? पेटिकोट। ब्रो 40K में 8 बॉटल आएगा टीबोन बाय ब्लैक लेवल की। हैशटैग राइट बड़ी फॉर ऑल। भाई चालू करोगे? क्या सुने फातिमा जी, आज जीतेंगे या फिर क्या सुने? एटलीस्ट यू गाइस यार, अंकित एटलीस्ट लकी यार, इस बार जाके उसको देखने के तो मिलेगी एटलीस्ट। लास्ट टाइम गए थे हमारी टीम ही नहीं था।
अभी अगर प्लेन में रहेगी वो तो
लास्ट टाइम हम गए थे हमारी टीम भी नहीं था उधर।
नहीं लेकिन अभी भी चांस है, 23rd का था ना उसका ट्रैवलिंग।
ओह क्या? नहीं एटलीस्ट आज रात को तो लैंड होगी एसके रोसी, कोई ना कोई तो मिलेंगे।
पता नहीं, भरोसा नहीं, भरोसा नहीं।
हम गए थे, हम पूछ रहे प्लेयर्स का है, प्लेयर्स तो गए पटाया।
क्यों तोड़ रहा है यश भाई? देख रहे हो ना, मैं कुछ से बोला, इसने कल भी यही डायलॉग बोला, आज भी यही डायलॉग बोला।
यश भाई रियली सॉरी यार,
देख रहे हो ना यश भाई?
रियली सॉरी यार, रियली सॉरी। विन 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 प्लीज डन सिट यार। टीवाई बैंगलोर मीटअप करो, मीटअप पर आओगे मेरी? कन्नड़ा में बात करनी पड़ेगी आपको रजत भाई। सबसे पहले कन्नड़ा में बात करनी पड़ेगी वरना बैंगलोर तो छोड़ दो भाई।
टिबोन एक
हाँ
बार
जी।
साउंड सुन ले यार।
It could have been a different.
मेरे को लग रहा है मेरे हेडफोन्स खराब है भाई।
ये राइट बड़ी का कुछ नया अपडेटेड वर्जन डालो यार, जैसे चमकते हुए राइट बड़ी। हाँ ना, क्या बोलते हो? राइट बड़ी कुछ नया अपडेट डाल दो कि चमकते हुए राइट बड़ी, ऐसा कुछ कुछ नया।
राइट बड़ी का छोड़, सिर्फ राइट साउंड आ रहा है।
Exciting to see what Revenant.
भाई चलो भाई, ट्विच फिक्स हो गया भाई। फीडबैक तो सुनते हैं लोग सारे स्ट्रीम स्नैपर से। हाँ
वॉइस का तो देख
क्या?
You know, so clutch for Revenant
सही
for
तो है।
so
मेरा
many
मेरे को
rounds,
sound।
but going over
अरे तेरे इशू है कुछ। टीबोन बड़ी कमिंग सून, ऐसा आएगा सच्ची में? भाई टीम अच्छी है भाई इनकी।
is comfortable with. It's not exactly a
भाई
bad
जूसी
thing,
है,
but it's just that I'm
उसका
wondering
सिर्फ
how
3 ही
long
काम
they can keep
है।
sticking to that and seeing results
Clutch
because
करना।
we haven't been seeing
भाई टीम तो तगड़ी है भाई।
strategy have long-term results even in the
वैसे एक ही
tier
बंदा
one
बताया
seeds,
जूसी,
right?
बाकी
So
नहीं।
how long can this continue?
It has its
ये कौन
strengths
सा
and
जूसी है?
weaknesses. They were pretty apparent actually when we saw them play on Haven, but coming into Icebox where it was more familiar territory for this guys, Juicy really stepped up coming into the second half. 28 kills for him overall, though.
Abbe,
Reyna
hug them.
fragging out, and that's how you win these games. You shoot, they die, then you are the winner. And what we see from this
Chad,
guy
ये
also
कौन
is
सा
them
जूसी है?
trying to maximize their talents. I think
ये
really when we look at
ऐसे तो
Alex
नहीं दिख रहा था
RR
भाई।
and how he does want to take this guys and the way that they play right is just maximizing the strengths really of DSG and look to
पक्की
bring
बात
that
है।
talent to the next level.
Yeah, and speaking of next
8-bit
level,
just-
I'm actually really impressed with Revenant so far because they've exceeded my initial
पक्का ये
expectations.
वही है?
And that is who DSG will be up against, especially since, you know, Revenant, I would say they started Ascension
Cool.
pretty convincingly,
Yeah.
but some
Juice
players
पिला
are
दो।
more consistent than others. Like, you
Juice
get
भाई, juice
50
पिला दो।
rounds a lot of the time for this team.
ये
But the
क्या
thing
है
is, we
ये,
got a
रोसी?
massive tip yesterday that Revenant's playbook might be more padded than we initially thought, Dax, because we saw that ASRock on
भाई,
their Haven
मैं नहीं कर
against
पा रहा हूँ।
Rapid Lo-Fi.
Yeah, and I want to put the
ये
credit to
क्या
that
है?
one with Coach Fields. I've seen some interviews with him. He really wants to deepen the
सुल्तान का
playbook of
है तो
Revenant,
इधर।
try to make these players as comfy as they can in how they
Toast का
want
team
to
है,
play
हाँ
as a
क्या?
whole, and remove a few tendencies. Like for example, I was watching the games
Yeah, we
versus
breathe
Rapid
ले।
Lo-Fi, and I remember
Yeah, ना, maybe.
I couldn't actually see around
ये
where
हो गया, अभी ये
SK
हो
Rossi,
गया।
who is known to just try and force out operators when he can, actually bring it out. The most he did was an outlaw. I
Skills
think,
भाई, ये
he
देखो,
ran
ये
Seagate
देखो कैसे
on
cover
five,
कर रहा है।
but he
देख,
was
देख,
alright
देख,
for the
पेट
whole
cover
time.
कर रहा है
The
ऐसे।
results really playing for utility that was exploited against SPG, and of course
देख,
the double
देख,
duels that you mentioned
देख।
between DOS9 as well as Sultan. So exciting to see Revenant have new pages in their playbook.
Hey, maturity, right? Maturity for SK Rossi. New year, new me. And you know, you mentioned DOS9 and Sultan. Sultan was a big part of
भाई, आप
so
कहाँ
many
से हो?
clutch
Bro,
plays of
मैं
Revenant, right?
सिडनी
And you
से
see this head-to-head
सिड-
between him and Grumble. I love this matchup. Really love watching these lurkers
Guys,
and
like
watching
करो
the
क्या?
plays pay off. And Grumble, this guy's aim is so good.
Mika.
Like, look at that headshot.
कल मोटर सिमुलेटर नहीं खेले यार, मैं कल वो
Grumble stand since
I'm a
forever.
Grumble
कल मैं
stan.
बिंग
What's the
चिलिंग
biggest
किया।
reason you're a Grumble stan?
The 8th show।
I absolutely love
Okay,
the way he just, you know, he's just
Sultan
able
बोलते हैं।
to turn around rounds for DSG, right?
Yeah.
You
Sultan.
you have the big lurk plays, but he's also unafraid to actually just be right in their faces.
Yeah.
So while you might be distracted with
Bro, अगर आज जीते तो
Rumble's
किसके
all on
against होगा?
side,
कल कोई बता
probably
सकता है क्या?
getting a 2K or a 3K. But the thing is, with Sultan,
कोई बता सकता है?
the way he lurks,
Bro,
is like,
RID
you don't
ना
even know
बोलो।
where he is,
Yeah.
right? The number of times he's just
Sultan
able to do
बोलते
these
हैं।
grand flanks.
भाई, वो
it's like,
काफी
how'd you
तगड़ा
get
team
there?
है। Sugar नहीं देखा यार, तुमने बोला ये देखो, मैंने वो देखा।
But you're absolutely right. 38 kills,
Validation from you, Dan.
38 kills from Grumble there in that series against Fulsense, the most in his team. And on the other hand, I'm so impressed by Sultan and how he
Boom Esports के against
showed up
होगा
in the
क्या?
first place. He
जीते
got
तो?
hit up by DOS9, be like, yo, you want to play for
Oh
Revenant
my
Split number 2? He's like,
God.
good, let's go. And an incredible partner in crime. We
That
saw
is
how
gonna
effective
be
he was,
awesome.
of course,
आज
on his
जीतनी चाहिए।
usual role, and he's
आज
playing
जीतनी
something
चाहिए।
like the Viper, right? But on the
मेरे को तो
ice,
लगता है
I
grand
still don't
finals,
forget him.
RNT
Winning a 12
versus
contract, popping on out by C-Long, killing
RADO.
even more people on the Rapid Lo-Fi side. There is
जो
talent
last
for
वाला
Kazakhstan.
team कौन सा?
There is
RNT?
talent right now
कौन
growing
सा था?
elsewhere within the
Team का
Asian
नाम भी
region,
भूल
and
गया।
I for one see it.
And our
blossom
best
here
military
in
hotel
Bangalore.
in Bangalore, bro.
And
In
look,
Bangalore,
I
it is
love
not there,
being
bro. But in
surprised
Hassan,
by
there is
Revenant
one.
Over and over again, I'm prepared to be surprised by them. even
मुरली
more.
मिलिट्री
But I
होटल,
do have
bro.
to say,
उधर
just
का
when
जो
I was
बिरयानी है
supporting,
ना,
I do have to give my prediction, my
पूरा
vote over
diet छोड़
to
दूंगा मैं
DSG
उधर जाके।
for this series. Do I
कैसे
think
किसी को
it's
पता है
gonna be
हसन का
close?
मुरली
Of course,
मिलिट्री
I think it's
होटल
gonna be as close as that previous year's.
इतनी
Hey,
छोटी
we're
सी
very
होटल है
lucky as to have
लेकिन
to get
जो
a second
बिरयानी
round.
है ना
Second one of
उधर
But honestly, I'm going to tell a little bit of a story here for my prediction. So there was an event here for these guys in Manila, and I just so happy got to get
बात तो आपने
invited
सही
there.
बोला 4 बजे
And it
चालू
was
होगा
actually a meet and greet ticket for some reason. It's like, okay.
बात
well,
तो
up
आपने
close.
सही
And
बोला
I say to him, I'm a big fan of your DSG team. And he's like, oh, that's really cool. Paraphrasing it, and he's like, "Do you think?"
काश उसका नाम बताओ क्यों भाई हमारा नाम तो आज तक नहीं पूछा पीयूष ना स्काउट को हमारा नाम पता है ना आपको हमारा नाम पता
And
है
I got their shirts from that event right there. There you
Oh,
go.
wow.
See, merch drop yet again.
Conky by on top.
DSG on the board here.
कॉन्की बाय ऑन टॉप कौन है ये कॉन्की
Like, I not only have
मेरा भाई
by
है।
the way, I talked to Toast.
Chat?
Like, yeah, I'll see your team at
ये
Ascent.
मीका डाका कोमोडो को हमारा
I
भरोसा
told
नहीं
it,
है
okay, and hey, sure it was a tough loss against Full Sense, but right now this is the bounce back
हमारा
game that
भाई
I think this
Conky
guy
भाई।
needs, and if they play with the same confidence that we saw
वो
on that
शिवराज
second round,
मिलिट्री
then
होटल भी अच्छा है क्या
Revenant
कहाँ है
will be
वो
in a potential world of hurt if they
शिवाजी
have any
नगर?
answers.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think for both of these
Chat,
teams,
मैं
I
जब से
don't
मैंगलो
think
का गाना
we've
गाया ना,
really
बैंगलो का
seen
जम नहीं
the
रहा।
hive mind really
शिवराज,
emerge just yet, right? It's still a bit
मिलिट्री
slow.
होटल।
They both have skilled individuals already, so whoever can tap into that hive mind,
कहाँ
into
है रे
that
ये?
synergy first, wins
शिवाजी
the
बाबा
And I'm excited to
शिवाजी
see what maps are we gonna get. I'm really looking
क्या ये
forward to
3.9
Revenant
rating?
bringing out Bind again if it is possible.
Cotton
It has
पेटे,
been their
ये
bread and
लपा दो।
butter. It's been
भाई
their best
रॉसी फिर
showing
से जाकड़ी मार
throughout
रहा
this
है।
tournament. And on the other hand, I'm thinking this guy's maybe something like
देख रहा है,
Icebox, something
रॉसी
like
बैठा
Ascent,
इधर है, लेकिन
especially
कपड़ा
the
उसका
map
yellow है,
that he
दिख
was
रहा
so
है तेरे को?
comfortable to
हाँ
play
बे,
in back in the
देखना।
NYS region.
You know, I also have
ऐसा लग रहा है वही हाथ ऊपर कर रहा है।
right? They
हैं?
brought out
अरे,
new duelists.
Two face बन गया रॉसी।
Last time, so is it gonna switch around again?
Oh.
Suddenly you have 4 potential players who
सारे
could get on that
डक्की
duelist role. I'm not
सारे
saying they're gonna run 4
डक्की
duelists,
सारे
but
कीबोर्ड
it could
सबकी
switch
डक्की
around
कीबोर्ड
now.
Think about it actually. If Haven gets picked here, not only does Revenant bring out perhaps
ओ
the Ice
शिवरा
again,
शिवरा
but we saw
शिवाजी
how
महाराज
this
होटल
guy
बोल रहे हो
struggled versus Full
वो
Sense
है
when they
बैंगलोर
played
में।
the Neon plus the Jet instead. Also, the concern there was how they played those roles because when you have Vera on the Neon and Juicy on the Jet,
ये सब
Vera
क्या
will get
है?
the operator, and then you compare
क्या हो
that
गया
to
pro
Zoo,
players को
when
आजकल?
Vera was allowed to play the operator. He was just hitting shot after shot.
हम जब pro
early
players
on
थे, जब
into
दो
the
ही
game,
चीज
I
थी,
think
एक
maybe
lighter,
double
एक-
digits for the op kills. So there still needs to be that sense of comfort here for these guys coming into the map draft.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And you know, Vera was somebody that we also hyped up quite a lot. We
La,
definitely
la,
said,
la,
watch
la,
his
la,
off plays,
la,
even when he's
la,
on the
la,
Neon,
la,
it
la,
absolutely
la,
works,
la,
right?
la,
But
la,
I don't know, with
la,
DSG, I feel like these players do have, I guess, a little bit more.
इसको
they're a
कहीं
bit more united,
देखा
I would
है।
say, than I see Revenant being.
G fighting
but
वाले
it's just
इधर
that
क्यों आए थे?
You have DOS9 and you have Sultan, and they're such key players for this side. I
Coach
can
क्या
definitely see
बोलते?
those two players, you know, suddenly winning this map versus this guy.
ये
And let's
मेरा
not
और
forget
पैरा
the
का
trio of
बाल
Southeast
सेम हो
Asian
गया
guys here,
भाई।
The 3 Indian players, first and foremost, skill.
ये
Sure,
toast
he's not
वाले
the best
DSG के
fragger
हाँ
here
भाई,
coming
हाँ
into the server, but we've seen him step up as an IGL
राका भाई बोल रहे थे ना,
threat
टोस्ट ने
now,
already किया।
and especially here in
राका
Revenant,
भाई
he's
बस
making
बोल
some
रहे थे
good
Discord
calls
में
to
बैठ
help
के,
out
टीम
the team
बनानी है,
in
टीम
the
बनानी
pits.
है।
Excuse
Paradox
me?
also so
शायद
very
टोस्ट भाई वो
flexible to
stream
play
देख
through
रहे थे और
anything
उसने
with
बना
Lewis.
दिया।
You see him playing Yori, saw him play the Rays, and SK Rossi,
क्या
the
सुनना
flexibility to play Gecko. In the pinch, maybe he can be the op player.
तगड़ा
but right
player है
now,
भाई ये,
I like the
तगड़ा
style that
player
he's
है।
playing. I like the mentality that he has to
नशे।
try and play for the team instead.
Veg
not
बिरयानी
too much
कौन
of a
खाता है?
hero.
सीधा बोलो ना,
And then
पुलाव
you look
खानी
at
है।
that Haven map again, Sentinel, play the lurk, play for himself, and then you get the classic SK Rossi frags that you know and
ये
love.
क्या-
He was a garage god
ये क्या कर रहा
back
है?
in that matchup
Very
with
good,
very
Low
good.
Fire.
And you know, jumping into our map vetoes in just a bit, you're also seeing
चलो भाई,
what you
ban
mentioned.
sunset
that
सबसे
Rossi,
पहली चीज।
You're seeing that with a lot
Haven
of
ban।
maturity, right? It
Yeah.
shows that he's willing to actually step
High
back
sports
and
ban।
do what's best for his team. And right here, we are getting our first ban. So
चलो,
we are
अपना
not
एक
seeing
map
Haven,
गया।
and we're not
Chat,
seeing
इनका history
Icebox.
बताओ कोई?
Maybe
अच्छी-
another time for the
जीते
Icebox.
लोग।
गया वैसे, Haven भी अपना
ये देखो
गया।
पीछे देखो सारे आर्टिसन का वो आर्टिसन का वो देखो।
is gonna
Bind
bring
में तो
out
मैंने आ रहा
Bind
था,
yet
जी।
again. I'm so excited to see
Bind
what
अच्छी
we're
है
gonna get
हमारे।
from Revenant coming into map number 2.
चलो,
But Lotus
sunset
also
गया।
white
Yes,
is
Bind
good
में तो
मैंने आ रहा
for
था।
these guys and Revenant. These guys, I do believe that this is
Come on, guys, all the
one of
best.
maps
Come
they
on.
started playing Neon really
Hashtag
back in
RNT
the
fighting.
But on the other hand,
All the
Revenant
best.
used to
Come
play
on.
a chain
Pump the
defense
boys,
on
pump
this
the
map
boys.
with SK
Bro,
Rossi.
that little
Does that
green
change
bottle is
Ascent?
insane.
There
क्या
you
है
go.
वो
Still
SK?
expect an ice up
I
from
want
DSG
it.
there.
Hey, what is the scene? Any
it's gonna
plans
be
on
really interesting
25th?
to see,
Are we meeting like
what
kind
they
of
bring
stuff?
out on Lotus. We've been having consistent Lotus maps
थोड़ा
so far.
camera
Jack.
angle ऐसा नहीं हो
It's like
सकता
we've
ये
been seeing
पास
this
से
over
दिख
and over again today.
क्यों मैं
There
आज
seems to
जॉर्डिंग
be,
होगी भाई,
you know,
मुझे
a
तो नहीं
strong
लग रहा
statement
होने
from
वाली
a
है.
lot of our teams here, and either they do exceptionally well, or they
Come on,
bring
pump
out
the boys.
danger out of the blue.
But it's a bit different from what they played against True Rippers. back
Bro,
in the
Rossi
quarterfinals
Chamber.
playoffs.
I got it in Bali. It's like their own IODX with herbs. Bro, I want, bro.
A small swap within the controllers. This
I
guy
want
got
it.
on the Neon and the Rays. And SK Rossi, we didn't get the off.
भाई मेरे को दे दे यार सुल्तान भाई.
Series. Well, it's high time to do it now. I got
अंकिता को बोले?
confirmation. You got
Bro, अंकिता वो ला सकती है. ये जो भी ये सूंघ रहा है ना.
So
Excuse me?
I love
सच्ची
to
में
see
सच्ची
what
में
Revenant has in
वो
store for us.
इंडोनेशिया में ही मिलता
We
है.
did hype up Sultan and Grumble.
Fevicol नहीं है
but then
बाबा.
you have this combination
IODX
of
with
Sultan and
some
Dust
herbs
on
बोल
that
रही है.
double control.
अंकिता को
That
फोटो
is
भेज
also
दिए.
incredibly powerful, and I do remember, you know, when Revenant did make their debut, they were a big part of that. There was just so
That
much control.
IODX नहीं है
of these two
बाबा.
players. I
IODX
can't
नहीं.
stop. I
क्या
can't
लगता है,
stop
क्या
talking
लगता है,
about
क्या
it. I
लगता है?
can't stop talking about it.
भाई
But,
मेरे को तो
you know,
बस
on
पंप
the
करनी है
side
टीम
as
को बस
well
और कुछ नहीं.
of a DSG, right? You see that Neon and you
चलो
know exactly
रॉसी
what
विद
it is.
चेम्बर ये मेरा स्ट्रीम स्नाइपर है. तुम्हें नहीं पता लेकिन ये है. ये है बे ये रॉसी देखता है स्ट्रीम. भाई मैं तुम्हें बता रहा हूँ भाई ये सारे प्रो प्लेयर्स रात को एक ही काम है मेरी स्ट्रीम देखना बस.
As we go into this one, right?
Chalo.
You know, I sort of threw away yesterday. I said the underdogs are going to win it, and that's exactly what I went for. But I don't know about this agent composition, Komodo. It's a bit of an interesting one, to say the least, for
ये
Revenant.
देखो मेरा ही
Yeah,
स्टाइल.
well, we're immediately going to get a duel over at A. I do feel like right
मैं
now,
थोड़ा
but
aggressive.
with the utility that it already does barrage in, you're going to have to see him sent back. I will agree with you, the agent composition.
Chalo
is
guys, all the
interesting.
best RNT
for
chat
SK
today.
Rossi, I was very impressed by
थोड़ा
his
सा
cypher
sound में
autonomy
delay.
when it went over onto Haven in the
चलो
other
भाई
day's
कितनी
game.
अच्छी
but
प्रोडक्शन है आज.
Chamber, I mean,
ये
you are
first
running
day
with the
stream
RX
करना ही
comp,
नहीं
so there's a
चाहिए.
lot of strengths that you can read in from this, but right now,
थोड़ा delay लग रहा है.
be a flood in towards Mound.
Wow. Look how quickly they're already
Sound
they're,
delay.
trying to
Sound
take
में
one
थोड़ा
against
delay
that.
क्या?
Maybe the one to find DOS9, but Rossi actually able to pick up
साला
Juicy
अच्छा
already. So they're going to try and
बुलते
open the
कुछ
door.
खराब.
They're getting in towards that B site. They're looking to get the spike planted, but no question mark actually put against that. They're going to face up against one of the big Grumble stands as they do try to clear around here, dropping it. Grumble does fall away. So they're going to force him back towards the back of sight, and he's going
Nice
to have to try
para.
and duel it, but he's actually going to get taken down by Paradox.
Now the low for SK Rossi down to 10 HP though,
वो
Mitch.
रॉसी का हेड ही नहीं है.
Very low. And they're leaving him. Completely leaving him. That's
यार
crazy.
इनको बोलो ना फिक्स करने
चलेगा,
साउंड.
चलेगा, चलेगा,
Wayne will be able to find
चलेगा.
the trade.
काम
Now with
किया
that spike planted, the rest of Revenant can split up and play this 3 versus 2. Not trying to give away too much here.
इजी पिस्टल. भाई पैरा मारता है बे. साउंड डिले है.
Wayne did
हमारा
have
नहीं
both
उनके
dark colours
तरफ.
available at that point in time as well, so not able to assist for Styron, who now has his position known.
Starin has to go big here in the 1 versus 3.
ठीक हो
75
गया.
points of HP, but Skills is going to swing on in. So I don't know, a very unique and interesting round, ripping through the middle of B, going through
सारे लाइक
Breakable,
करो,
taking
सारे
all that
लाइक करो.
control.
आज do या फिर
Good start.
दाई
भाई,
वाला.
I think they hit some good shots, and unfortunately
Thank you,
for the
thank you.
Skies, they couldn't quite put the pieces together there.
किधर है पार्टी आज?
Yeah, we're going to need to see a lot of adaptability on this composition that Revenant are going to come out with now as well, because there's going to be a lot of onus on where these walls for Viper are going, how up and down they're going to be, how maneuverable you're actually going to see DOS9
Bangalore
be
का
as well,
funny
right?
improve है,
Because
पता
we're
नहीं.
looking towards DOS9 to be one of these players for this squad to really propel them. He's currently sitting at the top of the tournament.
आज quality
in
tick हो
terms
गया,
of
bro, tick हो
ratings. You got Sultan, who's actually sitting third, believe it or not. So these guys for Revenant are going to be massive, and when
ठीक
you're
है,
putting
second round
DOS9 on the
इसने वो
Switch
लिया.
character, you know, he's been playing the Brimstone and stuff, which is fine, but on towards the Omen for this one, it will adapt just a little bit differently in towards this map. Then there's going to be really
Mate,
important
time out
Mitch,
the
in
other
this
game.
one for Paradox as well, right? He has to be the one that's fragging. This agent lineup really relies on getting him involved in a
क्या
lot
एंड
of these
शिफ्ट करके
duels.
5 मिनट का करें?
Such a unique position, hey, you know, when you think about a
Very
region
big.
like South Asia that's obviously got so much versatility, it's the combination of, you know, the
Improved
veterans
tour
in
पे
Paradox,
पानी है
SK
इधर.
Rossi,
विशाल
Skills, and then
अग्रवाल.
bringing in the Kazakh talent of
तेरी
Sultan and
location
DOS9,
बेचता
who,
हूँ अभी किसी
yeah, have been exceeding expectations, I suppose. So I feel like there's a lot
Bangalore के बारे में
of
ऐसे बोलेगा तू?
possibility in this roster of Revenant, but how well it needs to be dragged out is the question, because we always have been hearing from the desk, namely, you know, how the roles have switched
Check
up
pause.
so much, which must make it so challenging as a roster to try and like find your feet in essence.
कास्टिंग
So,
साउंड कम करो भाई.
quick
किसी
technical
को
calls,
ज्यादा
guys.
करनी
We shouldn't
है,
be too far away from
किसी
that
को
one,
कम
but,
करनी
yeah,
है.
it's been good signs
क्या
from what we
भाई?
can see, but I think
इसका
this
है
guys is just
अपना
going to be a
शायद
tough
tech
team to
pause.
overwhelm in general.
Yeah,
अपना
and
क्या
they're in
है?
a bit
Tech
of
pause,
a
सबका
predicament
tech
as
pause
well,
है।
right? Because they haven't been in a
अबे
lower
चूतिया,
bracket
एक में
when you
problem
consider
रहेगा।
how
भाई तो
much
अभी
they
फाइनल
did
इनका
work.
बड़े
They
स्टेज
were
में नहीं होगा
kind
क्या?
of top of it the whole time. They had a really
ऐसे
easy
ही,
grand
finals
final,
में।
I would say, in their 3-0
भाई ये
results
दोनों आजू
scoreline.
बाजू में
Not
बैठे
really
हैं।
even being touched, challenged. You can kind of
नहीं
see
रे।
the same thing for
हाँ
Juicy
बे।
in his
Split
previous
cam है
game
वो।
over in Ascension last year, right? They had a
अबे
great
नहीं।
showing over at the group stage. They get in towards these finals where they had the skip
बस
into
मैं
that
हंसते
secondary
bro।
round into the grand final and,
T-Town,
and they come out with it at
baby।
the end. So I think for Juicy right now, you know, you're in a lower bracket scenario which you really haven't seen so far, but you've been in these scenarios in front of crowds. Nothing like this
भाई
should
वो लोग
phase you
आजू
whatsoever.
बाजू में
तुम भी
बैठे
वही
हैं।
देख रहे हो जो
Right?
मैं देख रहा
So
हूँ।
you're really trying to bring your team
देख
up.
देख देख नहीं रे बाबा साइड में बैठे हैं।
अबे नहीं बे।
ऐसा थोड़ी होता है गाइस। 4K भी क्वालिटी है सच्ची में। गाली दो इसको, कौन था ये? दत्तियो सान, गाली दो।
Craziest part about Juicy,
Which
right,
में
is
देख
the
रहे हैं?
crowds probably made him thrive, probably made him more excited, more of a better player.
भाई बैंगलोर का
That's,
लड़का है 100%
something
बोल
that he's
सकते इसके
familiar
बाल
with,
देख के।
as you mentioned,
समझे?
and some of the other players.
इसकी
obviously
बाल कैसे
inside
अच्छा है भाई?
this competition, you know, have played at tier 1
वाइटी
as
पे है
well.
भाई, वाइटी कौन
वो
देखते
देख,
जब
वो देख।
many bits of the storyline, but ultimately I think what
Pahli
we've sort of
fursat
seen
se
over the
nikal
last little
wala
bit is definitely a position of where the young talent coming up has been a pretty exciting prospect. So, lots to consider. Many different factors that make this just an exciting competition in general. So many variables that have come through the entire time. And really it hasn't come down to kind of any, you know, crazy
भाई ये सब
change-ups or
मामले में
anything
नॉट
like
इन
that.
ऑन
It's
टॉप
been
है
about
भाई।
how well the team works
चुप नहीं बोल।
synergetically. And Sinpreza has been the
गेम
one that's
चालू
kind of
मतलब
led the charge
खत्म
on
भी
that
हो
so
गया।
far.
है कि नहीं चैट?
Absolutely. It's going to be a really interesting final up at the top part of that
नहीं रे
bracket as well.
बाबा।
And speaking of Sinpresa, right, they have
वो आधा
absolutely
कैंप
made
कट हुआ है।
Boom bleed. They've shown them to be mortal. And that's exactly the challenge that you have around the corner for the winner
Agreed,
of
bhai.
this series as
Sachi mein,
well,
bhai.
right? So I think that's going to be an extremely important one to have some great preparations for when you consider
भाई यहाँ पे
that
क्या हो रहा
you
है?
only
भाई
have
टूर्नामेंट
tonight,
हो रहा
tomorrow
है।
morning to get your research in for that series for the winner of this one.
Bro,
Yeah.
people still
Yeah,
use
super high
Logitech
pressure
mouse
now,
for
you know,
gaming?
The Britama Arena
I mean,
games are really
duh.
just around the corner now, as we know. Starting Friday, this coming weekend. Tickets still available. Make sure you go check those ones out. We'll be there. We're pretty
Yeah,
cool,
cold
I
play
think, sometimes. And
Splits
very much
करने
looking forward to
obvious
it. We've got
dude.
such a great crew on this Ascension Pacific roster this year round.
I
and
use
it's such a
Superlight
privilege
2
to be a
best.
part of it.
क्या
So
बे?
just seeing what
Skills
ultimately
का
we
वो
can
दूसरी
make of it all.
कितनी
And
सारी
the
माउस
teams
आ गए?
lining up to make it all
भाई
work.
मेरे
and make it
हिसाब
all
से
happen.
ओपी माउस अभी
I
है।
think we're really in for a
मेरे
pretty
हिसाब से।
exciting weekend of competition at the
क्या हुआ?
arena.
कुछ तो फनी चीज हुई है।
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Just as this pause is
और
looking
ये
to
भी
come
अच्छी।
to a close soon, I'm hoping that all these players are ready and warming towards the server, right? Because you've had the time
और
to
क्या है?
have your breakfast, have your
कुछ और
lunch, get your research in, get your prac in. We've got
वीथे
laughs
प्रो
from
अच्छी
them
है
all.
भाई।
But we're going to need some serious faces on when we get into
Who
the depths of
coach?
this.
कहाँ
If you
हूँ?
think about who
एक बंदा
Disguised
बोलता
have
है वो
already
सूंघ
played
रहा था
against,
ना
right? That
इसलिए
full
टेक पास
sense
लिया।
game where there was a huge comeback from them over on Icebox on that attacker side. A
Guys,
lot of
देखो।
that was, you know,
इसकी
juicy.
बाल देखो, ग्रे हेयर दिख रहा
There
है?
was a lot of grumble action coming
ये
through.
बैंगलोर
and
के
Mika
वजह
was
से
really
भाई,
excited with
बैंगलोर
all
के
that
वजह से।
action coming on through.
तभी तो अब
So I
डायमंड
think
भाई
going
मैं
into
तो
this
नहीं
as well,
खेलता
you
भाई
know,
ये गेम ज्यादा।
You're in that double-edged sword
Variety streamer
scenario
को
too,
तमीज
right?
से।
Where you're in that second pass mark for the upper finals. But you lose that, you're now into the lower bracket, and it's your elimination game, right? You can
मैं
have two
इसको
best of
बाल
threes
में
and
डाला
you're
तो क्या होगा?
done.
कुछ
Whereas
नहीं होगा।
Revenant had the upper bracket game that they lost.
Bro,
to
pro
Sinpresa. They get
scene
dropped down by
में
Rapid
Logitech
Lowfight. They
has no
absolutely
competitor, हाँ क्या?
knocked them out of the park.
ना आज
Yeah,
कोई
they come
है,
in towards
ना
this
कल
game as well,
कोई
right?
है,
So
ना कोई
we're already seeing from
competition नहीं।
Revenant a loss, a win, adaptability coming through, relying on your strengths, and we haven't had that much to explore too far from this, guys. So that's going to put a lot of emphasis, Mitch, during this game
क्या
on
रे
how
डायमंड
they're
प्लेयर?
going to discuss
ऐसे मत
things.
बोलो यार।
Yeah, that was the real big question mark for me yesterday. You know, I thought Rapid Lo-Fi were in a little bit of a chance. They were actually my
तू तो
prediction.
गया, ये क्या बात हो गई भाई? गाना भी नहीं गा सकते
earlier
अभी।
than expected because of it. So we'll see if they can continue this form. They've obviously already won the pistol.
गाना
Now
भी
they're
नहीं
trying
गा
to get some
सकते।
further information as we're
Favorite
back
गाना
into
है।
the game, baby.
Absolutely, and you've got the creep up from Disguised already, so they can have a massive flood for the rotate if they want to.
बीजेपी टीम को टारगेट कर रही है, नहीं किया बाबा। गाना
It's a
भी
bit of a
नहीं गा
weird
सकते,
freeze,
ये
isn't
क्या
it?
बात हो
Sitting
गई
just
भाई?
behind that screen, couple have got away, but They do clearly want to keep taking that fight as best as they can, but
Yeah.
Sultan's just keeping the eye on the
ये कौन
prize.
सा बड़ी है? अच्छा है ना?
Pistols too, so grouping up is
Chat?
not a bad tactic.
Kinda like it.
Get a
Kinda
little
like
bit
it.
of loose bullets in the
ठीक
fray.
है, sorry.
Get a kill or two.
Guys,
Revenant
एक
know
बड़ी
that they're
देखो.
really close from the back of that prowler. They might actually want to second guess it.
That's all the information they need. Happy with that. Know someone up's close. There's got to be some sort of
जिम
safety setup.
यार जिम कैसे पाजी अभी
Now they can just
मेरी
walk up
4:30
towards
का
B, which
शेड्यूल है
is free
जिम
of
का.
charge. They won't know that just yet. They won't know that there's a two-bedroom
Bro,
house with a pool in
busy
the back.
execution है जाओ.
But
रेड अच्छा है,
Grumble
रेड अच्छा है.
is going to have a tough time with just the
लेकिन
classic
fucking
here to
चार
नहीं
come
बंदे
उनको.
flank आएंगे, वो
Everybody
बस
on
बच
DSG
के
is going to
रहना.
have a tough time in this round.
Bhai,
Specifically when they just have to start
are you
walking to the wind
serious
and
with me
sacrifice
right
these
now?
pistols into it.
30 seconds
Revenant,
left.
they're really pathing around the map, aren't they? They want to bleed
पता
up the
भी नहीं.
time.
भाई
One of their
बाप रे,
favorites. It's
क्या
one of the things that they
contact
really
है.
have to be careful of in the later stages of this game. I really do feel.
RNT looks promising
Oh,
today.
जगह
1v1
RNT
fight
looks
से बे.
मतलब आज थोड़ा छुट्टी लग रहा है.
Oh my.
Couple of shots
क्या
already
scene
coming
है,
through.
सब जगह 1v1
It's
fight
funny
से,
there,
bro.
isn't it? You know, you sort of sit in the silence and just wait to
Chat,
see
मुझे
what
एक बात
kind
confirm
of
करोगे,
comes
ये
out in a
वही
round like
bleed
this
वाला
with just
juice है क्या?
pistols. And DSG, they're actually going to try go for this now. Okay. You're talking about playing it slow, playing it
क्यों
late.
अलग
Now they're
दिखता था
both sitting in link. This is going to be really, really awkward to try and defend. The Prowlers come out. The information is gathered. They've got it all now. They know exactly where they can go.
Nice
Good
combination.
Cs,
बढ़िया
they're
खेल रहे हैं.
vulnerable and skills. Able to take a couple. Boombot should keep them away. So it's fine. They're chilling. We don't have to worry about it.
Para is killing it.
But still, a round like that should never get that close because look at what you got now. A
भाई
single
FC क्या होता है? इंडिया
to
टीम
take it
डालो
to
उधर,
Lotus.
इंडिया डालो भाई.
Yeah,
FC क्या है
and
भाई?
isolated frags at the end of the day as well, right? Where SK Rossi's lurking.
Chad,
around,
hack in it, plus
he
one
gets
by.
immediately dispatched of by Juicy. You do a deep plant, you overextend a little bit.
India
and
डालो
you get
भाई.
a little bit worried. I think the saving grace is going to be the fact that you've got the C's nade combo, you refresh the nade, you've got satchels, so you can buy a lot of time, but you need to see it cleaner in the next couple of rounds because
Nice,
you don't
अच्छा,
see an
अच्छा.
adjustment for Revenant in these first
ऐसे
couple
क्या
of rounds.
भाई?
When DSG's momentum starts to build on this defensive
कई
side.
लोग बोलेंगे
they are
South
just going to
Africa
come
है.
at you. They are going to take the fights.
मेरे जैसा खेला भी रोस.
Yeah, Rossi already tagged up as well, so couple of
Not
balls
all
in the
players are
headhunters.
Indian. ये क्या बात हो गई? RCB में सारे इंडियन प्लेयर्स हैं क्या? फिर भी बैंगलोर का टीम नहीं है क्या?
But still, look, you know, the investment that they brought out here, they can be kind of happy with what they're going to go in offensively. But it just depends on where they
Connection
want to
सही
go with
नहीं
it
था.
all.
Yeah, I mean, the telltale of a map like Lotus, right? Your Sentinel's usually stuck over at the C site, so for Grumble, he needs to be able to deliver
जब
something
तक वो
here
इंडिया
against the
चेंज नहीं
rest of
होगा
the
मैं
opponent. He is by
स्ट्रीमिंग
himself.
नहीं छोड़ रहा हूँ. अरे जंप करो ना बाबा.
Interesting beast, hey, like,
shit.
these guys have so much control of the map.
High
and
QT
Revenant
क्या
hasn't
language है
barely
शायद
even
ये?
taken
हाँ?
any territory back to be aware of that.
हाई क्यूटी
Yeah, I
मेरे
mean, the
को
other side of that is that they haven't expended
कोई
too
देख
much
लिया
utility to be able to clear things out, right? So you can see that Skills still holds on to a bit of this utility outside of A, calls for
क्या
the wall to
language
go
है?
up from Sultan. It'll keep a couple of Disguise members interested over at that A site.
तुम भाई बिंग्स भाई से पूछो ना
They're
वैल्यू
knocking
इंडिया
out,
मोबाइल का
moving
क्या
up,
सीन है?
and
क्यों भाई आप
now
डेवलपर हो
They
ड्रेक
can
भाई?
skip in towards because there is no utility left on this C site now. So they are going to be able to get it in there free of charge. They won't know that just yet as
हाय
Paradox
हाय
does
हाय
the
सैचल
satchels,
देखो इसका.
trying to take that control, trying to look that spike to be planted nice and quickly. Boombot to clear out further. And it's going to be a good old-fashioned 5v5 brawl on the retake.
पाटू रे.
SK Rossi coming out with a lurk as well. Will he go through the door or not? Because Grumble now only good for one. This is where it gets a little bit risky with the plant down.
Great shot back from Skills though with just the ghost, so that's a really nice position to be found in 4v4.
दिख ही गया.
Set back a little bit.
अबे
now
ओके
because
टीम
they've
में भी
got
DSG
the
तुम लोग
to
क्या
make the
डरा
job
रहे थे
done.
भाई?
They're up, going to be able to find position as best as possible, but that's exactly
अरे.
what you mentioned. SK Rossi on that flank. Paradox
अरे.
has to go big. Staron's already onto this defuse, and I don't even know if they're going to be able to get it. Komodo, no way at all. Vera just got straight in there, all up in the grill on this Neon, and this is the scariest thing that I think about. I've not seen a team that hasn't picked the Neon on Lotus so far in this competition look promising. It's been the Neon all the way that has really sort of taken advantage of this. And, you know, with the Skies going the double duelist in the Neon with the Rays, makes it even scarier.
I mean, Revenant has been one of these teams that haven't adopted it, right? So they're still
Hashtag
planted
mo band
feet,
karo.
slowly but surely making their way around the map. And that is going to be one of the things I'll keep my
इसने
eye on.
मारा,
How slow
वीरा
are
ने
they
मारा.
going in the beginning of these
वीरे
rounds? How
वीरे ने मारा,
fast
वीरे ने.
are the Skies able to get an idea of what's going to be happening?
ब्रूक्स भाई कृपया अपना मुंह बंद करो, ठीक है?
JFT, right? Some of these rounds are over in less than 10 seconds. Just so
Chupre, sorry.
But they are taking some
yes,
control
man,
this
by
time.
the
They've
way,
already gotten
T-Bone
a little
कुछ
bit of
बोल रहा
info
था
around
आपके बारे
Rubble.
में, आप
Now they
थोड़ा
can
सा-
sit
Kabhi
on
nahi,
it for
Ashwin.
just a
Love
second,
you,
so
yaar. I
towards
love
mid.
you, yaar. Ashwin. You're the
Yeah, and you
best.
got that one-way
Or
dot
corner
cover
in the
over at the
world.
side of Mound
Yes,
as well
bhai,
with a deeper
T-Bone कुछ
camera,
बोल
so
रहा
you
था।
can use that for a bit of a retake setup if you need to.
Yes,
But
bhai,
before
best
then-
or
end
corner
किया,
in the world.
मैंने इस भड़वे का एंड किया लेकिन
They are
I
pulling
think
back
it's
a little
time
bit.
to seriously
DSG did have a
इसमें
bit of a
कुछ
push
ने
back
आपके
towards mid.
X team के
Obviously,
बारे
with
में
that
बोला है.
utility
And I
setup
don't
from
think it
Grumble, it's
should
gonna be hard to
matter.
overwhelm irrespective. They do catch it
मैं
on the
मतलब
trip now, destroyed.
मैं अगर आपके लिए
Rubble
मेरे
does
को
good work.
हो सकता है कि मैं अन्ना को एक मैसेज
Skills and
भेज
power up
मैं
for
तो
that
नहीं
from the
सहता.
ultimate too, so it'll be a huge frag for Vera to find regardless of who it's on. That's an advantage over for these
DSG
guys.
Veer
There's
बहुत मार
obviously
रहा
a bit of a lean for Revenant. Again, time is always going to be an issue for these guys. They'll send Sultan on for a really late lurk.
Might be able to find some good timing. Obviously, with Breakable though not yet destroyed, it is going to be tough because just again look at
ये
this.
sound
position. Vera
one-sided
is still
क्यों है?
trying
मेरे
to
को
take-
बराबर
they are
सुनने में
rotating
आ रहा है,
back, and
bro.
it's a complete
तुम्हें
rotation,
क्या
not actually
problem
Komodo.
है?
Yeah. The only thing for Vera is that breakable door is still not broken, right? So as soon as he sees this utility, he doesn't have to necessarily stay and fight, but he does want to get out of
अरे
this.
क्या हो रहा है भाई?
Pyrex has popped this very, very early on as well. I don't even know if he'll
Nice,
find anything.
Sultan,
It's
bye.
Sultan in the end to find Vera. He's taken very low down in the process. They do pop it out, but the Haunt's going to gather. No, not
मत
quite.
जा,
No
मत जा, पैरा,
information.
मत जा.
Spike getting
मत जा,
connected.
मैं बोल रहा हूँ.
Now awkward.
जा.
Juicy looking to swing around, but Paradox. It's actually another frag for him in the round. There we go. So it takes the advantage back the way of Revenant.
Skills on the
Up
plant,
in-
skills on the nightfall. But Styron to get a trade, and Revenant is still holding on to
नहीं
this
हो
one,
रहा
aren't
क्या
they? Now just down to
DSG?
the leader in charge.
1v3. It's going to be super tough.
थोड़ा
to get
right
back
sided
into
लग
this,
रहा
but
है?
as you sort of mentioned, right?
Left
some
में भी
low
आवाज आ
HP
रहा
for
है.
Sultan. He's going to walk straight through. But as they get in towards Breakable, even if he does try to contest this, they've already got it so far back that it just should be easy.
क्या
done.
shot
Styron
था
does
भाई
get
वो?
a really nice shot to make it work. But Sultan again is just too good. 2 on the open.
Just
2
saying,
on the
map pick
close
उनका है.
for 2 of
Just
these
saying.
teammates for Revenant. And that's a great response after only losing the bonus so far. They get a third.
Just
Yeah, really well navigated around the map when they
By
lose the
Keshav
opening
में बढ़िया
frag
हो
as
गया,
well,
मैं
right?
बढ़िया.
Collectively as a team, pop the showstopper in, get in towards the site. You got Sultan, who does manage to win that duel, and that was a really important one at the end because it buys enough time and enough just space around the B side as well to still
Right
hold
side
down
ज़्यादा
a bit
है?
of territory. You reset the economy of Disguise
Yeah,
now,
right
who
side है.
maybe Vera can start off the party with the overdrive, but apart from that, you're kind of relying on Revenant being at the right
Actually,
place,
bro.
at the right
Bhai,
position
आ गया,
because of how
outlaw
quick
आ
they
गया.
usually take in
Oh.
these rounds.
Actually,
Rossi's
there.
out though, isn't he? Sultan go,
तो मेरा
finds Grumble very,
ex-teammate
very
का याद आ
quickly,
रहा
and now
outlaw
there's the overdrive that you talk about. Vera finds Rossi, but now he's going to pick up the
Rossi
pace
वो
as
कर
quickly
रहा
as possible. Does get the information onto a weapon. Does he want to pop this high gear and head straight through though? It's a little bit of an awkward one if he does try to do it. Has the fast lane, might be worth waiting, but instead they're going to make the call. They're going to pop through because the longer he waits, the
भाई ये
less
कब
time
तक
the
रहता है
overdrive is
इसका?
available, right?
The problem is that Grumble
Lol,
losing his
dude.
life over towards spawn means that that space can be found by Revenant.
Bro,
They pop the
अच्छा utility
showstopper,
use कर रहे
try
हैं
to
सामने
find
वाले
something, but all the
यार. सच्ची
information
बता रहा
is
हूँ,
being
झूठ नहीं
gathered
बोल
off this Fade utility.
Utility
And
बढ़िया
they're
use
so
कर.
far forward, such a good position to be found in right now. But they need to make sure that they can actually work
hello?
their way back into this right.
Bro!
Onto the defusal,
क्या
put a
reveal,
Sultan.
क्या
Bro,
Look for the
skills
ace.
on top,
But skills
भाई.
he'll
क्या
steal it.
reveal,
It's not
bhai.
necessary for the ace.
Bro,
Sultan
fuck,
doesn't care.
that's
He just wants
crazy,
to be on
dude.
top
That's
and in
crazy.
force. And Revenant, they take that 4th round without
I kinda
really
like
felt
it.
that much pressure to them. They
Guys,
set up
देखा
that
क्या
first round
reveal?
perfectly.
Yeah, just again
भाई,
recognizing the
दो
fact
दिन
that
कौन-कौन
Grumble
है?
has
तेरा
usually
तो sorry
been the
बोलो.
seaside player by himself. As
skills
soon
है
as they
भाई.
remove him and they see nothing over towards the spawn,
सुल्तान का
so
नहीं
they
बे
can
skills
extend,
ने
they
ये
set up
देखो
for a bit
reveal
of
वो.
a reverse play with all of their utility
What
as
a
well.
reveal.
One
15
towards the
साल
retake
खेल
to
के
come
जो
through
T-Bone
from
के
Disguise
पास
is
नहीं है,
not
वो
going to be
Revenant के पास है.
a very strong scenario for them. So I think they need to
Right
not
streamer
group
को
up as
तमीज
much
से
on
बात
these eco rounds and
तमीज.
even more so on the rifle pitch.
Now Vera
अरे एक मार रॉक्सी हो जाएगा. Just stay, just stay, just stay.
Paranoia doesn't go the right way, but the Prowler will catch.
मतलब उनको पता है अभी.
So in the
उनको
end, he's
पता
just
है.
going to give up the mount control and fall back to
उनको
side.
पता है इधर है.
Let's
Opper
go
है.
Rossi pop in the ultimate. So we'll see what that sniper's going to be able to deliver. But more importantly, Sultan one away from the pit too. Could be really, really well placed if they did manage to get into this seaside and play post.
They've broken the tripwire
अरे!
too. No information gathered. Rossi
बता के मार,
unfortunately
बता के मार.
missing the 2
बता के मार.
shot. But they're going to fall away. They're
Never
happy with
mind.
the information that they've gathered. They've burnt a little bit of extra utility. The ultimate from Styron
लेकिन उनको
gone,
पता था
denied.
कि side पे है, जिसका
But Wang, in the catch, in the afterplant. That's really, really good to be finding them. Dust9 though, and Skills will respond. Grumble and Vera though. Oh my god, Grumble This is the thing, he didn't die
इसको
early
बोल
off the
रहा हूँ,
back
मार
of
रहा
the
हूँ,
round,
इसने
he's still
serious
kicking
ले लिया
on, and
भाई.
that makes it a really, really tough one for the rest of Revenant now. Running on in, Grumble with 3. That is a massive step up from when the team needs the leader in the Cypher. Awesome stuff from DSG to find a second.
Yeah, when you got that Nightfall coming in from Styron
Serious
as well, you
मतलब
know
वीरा
that you
भाई,
can start to
तो
get a bit
मजाक
of a
कर रहा.
flanking play from Wayne to come into it when the audio is gone, right? So getting into the right position at the right time, just completely locking them all.
Bro,
in
upper
and
को.
essentially no way out. Shots to just be found.
upper
Distraction
को
from
क्या
Vira, just
मारा
heads up
भाई?
play. Exactly what's happening to at the end. That was really well done from Disguise and maintaining a lot of this weaponry into the next round as well, right? You do start to chip away
Hashtag
at
move
Revenant's
on,
economy, who still will have a pretty substantial buy going into the next round.
Already jumping past Vera, but Juicy, he's up nice and
Nice,
close. We're relatively quiet so far, but DOS9.
Gautam the Great, baby, 21
Kazakh man
months.
finding 2 already. Now as they sit back, still at rubble, still being patient. Vera obviously spotted, getting info. I think they can just park.
आगे
it.
जा, आगे जा, आगे जा,
Might
कुछ
see
नहीं
it
होगा,
further.
कोई नहीं, आगे.
Absolutely. You need to see something brought back for Disguised in this round who might get a little bit ambitious, right? The tendency in this point in time to get in with that operator, to get out with the sprint. And Sultan, unfortunately, is just going to be giving that one.
BT
So a
देगा,
winnable
बंदा.
and attainable position now back for Disguised.
टाइम के पहले भेजना
Something
बंद
just
करोगे
doesn't feel
इतना.
right, isn't it? You know, the neon operator, but clearly it works. Just the inability,
Yeah.
the ability to get in and out is just so pivotal, and what makes the current meta so dangerous to play against the neon.
Yeah. I'm interested by the fact that Disguise is still playing the 1-1-1 across the map when you've got that trap wire still at the front of
Yeah,
me.
इनको पता
Now
है.
with the spot, you know it's just going to be destroyed with no real value where you could have gambled on one of these other sites with another player. Plants start to go down,
उसको
however,
पता था.
so on this
ये
3
reveal-
versus 3
reveal
take,
देने के लिए पीछे है.
DOS9 has smokes to get a little bit of stalling out for Revenant.
I've got info off the back of that Prowler as well. I wasn't sure if Styron actually spotted anything when he did peek in from heaven, but they're just going to relax for now.
Rossi, आगे जा, कुछ नहीं होगा. Trust me,
आगे
जा, trust me. Trust me, yes.
He's trying
Yes,
to get
yes,
straight
yes.
onto that line. He can't
नहीं, अभी नहीं,
overstay
अभी
his
नहीं.
welcome on this chamber. He's so
नहीं, नहीं,
careful.
नहीं, नहीं.
Bates at the shot though, and walking on in now is Styron. He does get taken down, and they can pick up the pace.
क्या हो गया Rossi को?
DOS9 finds his third.
Bro,
On for the
DOS9
ace here.
तो
That's a
मार.
4K.
DOS9 का ace
The
है.
man has
Nah.
been going so large so far here on this very map. But
Arr.
DOS9, he wants the
Oh,
ace,
the
but it's
ammo.
going to be denied. That's so unlucky. And Skills just needs to clutch it out. He can't lose this.
नहीं, नहीं,
one.
नहीं, 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 है.
I don't think he's got the time.
Yeah, that's right. They can't lose this
क्या
one by
इतनी
the time.
shaky क्यों है हमारी players की?
A fifth on the board for Revenant. DOS9
Are they,
again,
like, nervous kind of?
individually. These two Kazakh players
दोस्त
for
भी बोलता
Revenant have
रहेगा
come
ना,
out with so
इनसे
many
यार-
rounds on the back of this kill merit.
वो
Are they
बंदा ने
nervous?
4
Positions
kill
as
दिखाए
well,
नहीं
right?
यार.
It just goes to show how
मैं
aware
बोलता था
and how
दोस्त
sharp that they
का,
actually
देखो.
are,
reveal
and
अच्छी थी
how
वैसे.
cohesive
इसकी
Revenant
height
actually
मार के
are
उधर
as a
गया
team
क्या
now. Such improvement from not only the course of Split 2 to Overwhelm True Rippers, but also just throughout
यहाँ
the
से
course of
TP
this
घर लेके
tournament.
जाएगा,
Really
वो
well
बाहर
adapting
use किया था
what's working
शायद.
well for them and
गाली
what's
दोस्त.
not to deploy it mid-round, mid-game.
भाई मेरे लिए अभी
Amazing
तक
start, man. You know, this is a start that I don't think many people would have been expecting right now. Paradox goes straight into the relay bolt, and I don't think that's a happy position to be found in. That's a happy little accident.
Nice.
Vera
Bro,
finding
क्या
a spot
मार
right
रहा है भाई
into it.
DOS और
And
ये.
already the impact that this man
दोनों
continues to
मिलके
throw. Wait
खेल
for
रहे
his
भाई.
response, though. But the Nightfall actually does come out, is able to dodge it with the Shrouded Step. Prowler will catch, get some info, but it's a 2-on-3 still. DSG at the disadvantage.
Bro, Rossi, buddy,
He overlooked
buddy.
two shots at the exact same
Buddy,
time.
why are you lost?
They didn't look for him, but Wayne's able to pick that one up, and now somehow, some way, in a world where it should have never existed,
दोनों
Sultan is in a
players तगड़े खेल
1v2,
रहे हैं भाई.
but he does find one through the dark cover, and now look at
Come
this
on, you
screen
can read
position
him.
from Wayne. Is he going to be ready for this? No, not at all. Of course he's not. But has he made it into the tree? He
1v1.
absolutely has.
मुझे नहीं
Wayne
लगता
has a positional advantage
DSG
here.
Wayne से होगा.
So he has to simmer.
दिमाग के
No,
साथ
he
खेला,
didn't even go in.
दिमाग.
This is just such a mind game round. He is convinced. He is sure. And Sultan, if he times this right, he might be able to find it. Pops the Toxic Cloud, but it's going to be Wayne. Jesus, man, I went through too many stages of emotion in that round, and DSG find 3.
Rossi, you gotta step up, my boy. My boy.
Oh boy. I mean, the aggression
Guard
around
stuff,
the
man.
rubble from Disguise when you send your Neon
You can't
in
play
to
like
get
chat,
some
you gotta
shots
play
out,
like
and
me.
you've got chaos ensuring around it. I mean, sensational work on the Haunt as well to just piece together a lot of information. But when it comes to it, Wayne repositioning individually around the map, around this A site.
वो कल मेरे को email आया, Twitch membership expired.
He's again just at the right moment, at the right
वो
time.
क्या है,
with the damage
Twitch?
that was done by
पहली
his
बार
team
सुन रहा
earlier
हूँ.
on to find the finish. A thrifty round to come on
कहीं
through.
सुनहरा
in
सुनहरा
one of
लगता
these
है.
really strange ones where you have
क्या मेरे जैसा खेल रहा है? मैं मेरा देखा है ना भाई कल 30
you can
kills.
actually throw in from Revenant, right? If you're playing as Revenant right now and you're wanting to go for some of this mound control, you actually have
simple
in your
jersey
opponent,
disguise
right, a rendezvous to get out if you're putting in your chamber there. You have, you know, these combinations of utility that you can get with a flash to clear out rubble. If you're putting out your Prowler, if you're putting out your Horn, you can go for these lineups as well for the staggering of utility down. There's so much that we can actually see for clearing of this spot, but it kind of is just a little bit dimensional of a progression, close rubble blocker smoke over at the root, and a barrage of battle around it, which, to be honest with you, against the Pistols is not an ideal play. So I think this pause is really an important one, just to ensure that for Revenant, what they're doing is what they go back to, because what they're doing that's working has not been exploited yet as an answer back from Disguised.
सोच रहा टैटू बनाओ पब्लिक
simmer as well. I think that's the thing.
विराट
You
कोहली
win the
जैसा
round, you take the pause,
क्या लगता है
you give it back, and it's actually an additional
टीम
pause
बताओ
as
थोड़ी
well
सी
to
आइडियाज
really make sure the conversation is had. Clearly, whatever happened in the previous round, you know, was a breakdown in communication.
भाई ये
from the
जो
side
भी
of Revenant.
ये मेरे को चाहिए
Make
ये
sure
अच्छा
that
होगा
that
इससे
doesn't continue,
इतना
right?
पता
It's
है
always going to be a little bit of a plague, I suppose, to this team where it just all breaks down at the macro, and the team can't quite get on the same page as each other.
भाई इंडोनेशिया में क्या कार्य होंगे
One of the strategies that Revenant really rely
भाई
upon
थाईलैंड और
is
इंडोनेशिया
taking
में
down the
खाने
clock,
का बहुत
right?
सीन है
Spending your opponent's utility, baiting out a lot of their utility.
Sticky rice
These
मिलते हैं
fast
उधर, sticky
plays for
rice.
them isn't really in their nature, right? So I think that their tendencies to try and battle a disguised, you know, a Synprisa when they're going really fast, you know, it is never going to work. Things just feel a lot more cohesive in thriving in that play, in having the quicker reactions where these guys. Yeah, we've got, you know, DOS9 and Sultan who are putting up the frags and a lot of this, but the other guys, you know, Skills has not generally been really good so far in this tournament. In
क्या हाल है बीब्स?
They've been a little bit better when they're layering things out. And I'll highlight the elephant in the room.
6 मेंबरशिप के पैसे वैसे गए तेरे वजह से ऐसे ना ऐसे मत करो यार उर्मिल भाई
As opposed to where he was playing on the
सच्ची
side, where he was
में
playing on the Gecko on Bar.
आज आपको मैं रिफंड दूंगा कितना है बताओ बताओ कितना है बताओ रेडी है भाई
Up to succeed on this roll.
ऐसे मत करो
That's exactly right, though. You know,
ये सब
you
off
swap
stream
out
बोलने का,
the
comment section में।
Cypher and get the Neon, and it's just such a different pick, such a different change. And this time, at least, they managed to sort of bait out the shot from Vera, but you know, straight in there, he's got Styron to support him, and you just can't
Team
turn the
by
tide yet. So
PPS.
it is a weaker round, as we know. Like, you know, you can't really kind of put too much to this, but DSG have got the method back in order, and they know what they're doing.
That's the nature of these agents as well, and the players behind them too, right? Where you know that
कोई भी टैटू बना लो फोरहेड पे वरना अगला इसरो मून लैंडिंग आपकी फोरहेड पे होगा
readily available. You got Vera who can go in, go out. You've got
Guys, forehead actually fix कर सकते हैं. मैंने एक reel में देखा. कर दूँ क्या?
when the shots are missed or the shots
ऐसे
are
दिखूंगा मैं.
in court and reload. These are the fast rounds that you can afford to do because of this agent set that you're running. When you're running,
अरे ठीक है. Leading हम ही है 5 round.
Utility early on if you want to sniff out these
आज
positions.
तक नहीं पता था ऐसा है.
So back to the operator for Vera. So they keep
ये क्या है रॉसी भाई 3-9
these eco rounds.
मेरा भी रिफंड 50% गया ना.
Where's he going to find an opening? Just trying to take that position once more. They're a little bit slower off the start here, Revenant, but straight in towards the mix for it. They're going to have a bit of a look, and they nailed
ये
it.
क्या
Missed
ult
the shot
है?
on the star. Don't know how he got away with that. So it is going to be a spike plant early, but how quick are they going to look
भाई
for this
बॉडी
retake?
थोड़ी सी ढीली लग रही है. पुशअप्स नहीं मार रहे हो.
No cannon buddy to help him out. Now in towards the pit. How do you sniff this one through when you've
हो
got
गया आपका?
Siren down?
घर जाएगा आपका. जॉन सीना का साइज है ये.
Into the pit sliding and then trade him.
Man. And Rossi's been taken out for absolute free there. He was lurking back towards the end of A, and it hasn't quite worked out for him. Great shot onto Paradox from Vera as well. They need to make sure that they keep Sultan alive for as long as possible here, Komodo, because look at how quickly they're moving in here. It's going to be Grumble to find another, and now it's just on to the Kazakh boys. DOS9, Sultan, and they do.
मुझे kill feed में सिर्फ DOS9 और सुल्तान ही दिख रहा है.
And it's DOS9 to clutch.
सिर्फ 2 kill रह गया.
Again, these guys, as
नया मोड आया है 2v5.
so much impact and dragging
Guys,
Revenant
है
through
कि
some of
नहीं?
these rounds.
भाई दोनों
A
मिलके
little bit
कितना
difficult
10 मारे भाई.
the HP in towards the pit. The longer you're in there, I mean, it makes it more difficult to take a duel.
क्या
So a little bit
मार
lucky
रहे
for
दोनों.
Revenant when they do manage to get into it and play around the pit too.
Two
Right?
now,
You see
two
the
five.
sharp shot from Vera. You see him caught in transitioning weaponry, pulling out the sidearm.
Entry है
to
पैरा.
get back into the pit, but there's nothing you can really do about it at that point in time either.
भाई ये बंदा मुझे लग रहा है कोई ना कोई टीम इसको लेगा अगर आज हार गए तो। हाँ चैट DOS9 को जी फाइटिंग ले सकते हैं। अरे रॉसी, अरे रॉसी नर्वस है क्या आज? हाय टिबोन, हाउ आर यू? ये अन्ना आप ही हो? मुझे नहीं लग रहा आप।
Yeah, and either through door or through breakable towards B, but they're going to choose to go to the alpha
सारे
side.
मेंबर्स को रिफंड मिल जाता तो सबको मिलेगा यार। तुम्हें KYC लिंक करनी पड़ेगी।
And now Juicy and Grumble managed to find the equalizers. Grumble taken down very, very low, but DSG, oh man. Grumble, no wonder he earns his stands. He's got big fans because he hits big shots.
Same person.
From DSG as a response.
फाटो वाला मसाला कैसे लगा? कौन सा
fact
मसाला?
as well that you can get pushed and overwhelmed because you've lost the
क्या
sight.
सीन
dropping down
है?
the side
ये
of the
agent
cage to
गलत
get
है
the
क्या?
audio cue that there's someone in it. That's
करना
what
पड़ेगा
turns
कुछ
his head
इसको।
back towards the focus as well, right? If he doesn't put that there, he's potentially looking back out toward the stairs because his teammate got traded out over there. He doesn't know if he's going to get flanked. So it's just these quick little micro mechanisms that he's able to readily adapt for is what really is a standout Cypher player in my mind that Grumble emphasizes.
NHK रॉसी
He's
भाई
been impactful as anything. You know, him and Vera are the players we predicted. Whereas Juicy's been relatively quiet, but it's because he hasn't been needed yet. So they pick up the pace once more. They head towards B. They're going to be able to find this spike plan again. It's been successful for them.
किल्स पे मत जाओ, टीम के साथ खेलो रॉसी भाई। ऐसा टीम प्लेयर में हो।
So we're going to send it all singing. It is
ब्रो जी वर्सेस वेक्टर डिफेंस में रॉसी का याद आया।
They may as well make it work, make it go
ये
hard.
बोलना जरूरी है।
Juicy does narrowly miss that shot with the showstopper. So the C's does actually catch too. So that makes it really awkward. Sultan not quite ready for Wayne. That's the second time Wayne has managed to find a frag in that position now. Vera getting the shot onto SK Rossi. DOS9 has to
It's
go
okay,
big
6-6.
out with just the Sheriff. What do you even do there? Skills also
Defense
taking
player, Ross.
just one. But that's the round done and
Defense
dusted for
player.
alive.
Yeah.
For the Skies, then they have found
Defense हमारा
no
strong है।
method to bringing this one back.
भाई
And
वो लोग
that's
का
kind of
अटैक
the
स्ट्रांग है,
downside of an
अपना
errant
डिफेंस
decision to just
नहीं।
push in towards
हमारा
the
defense
side.
strong,
And you're on
attention।
vehicles, when you're on
Beyond
stingers,
race,
and
Bro,
your
फर्क
opponents
नहीं
don't
पड़ता।
give you the jewels immediately, right? When they posture themselves for a bit of a retake,
KYC
for a bit
सब
of a
linked है,
flank watch
refund
at the
process
moment,
चालू
the
करो।
Skies are really easily
अरे
the
BYC
advantage
ring करना
and the
पड़ेगा।
position advantage at that point
अब
in
ये ना
time.
पूछो
So I
BYC
was
क्या है,
very
Google
surprised
करो।
when I saw the weapons and when I saw at the beginning of this round Revenant setting up for another
Full
big hit,
authentication।
but not
वो
having
किया
the
आपने?
utility and
KYC
the
हो
space
गया।
to take the battle
BYC
against this
करो
guys
भाई।
before they can posture for retake, you're not going to be winning those duels. So 6-6, pretty decent scoreline actually for both sides on the flip.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Because it feels like the
सोच
last
रहा
few
हूँ
rounds
hybrid
of the
table
Skies
में
were so
membership चालू
convincing
करूँ।
that it should feel like it's like maybe, you know, an 8-4 or a
सोच रहा हूँ उधर ही
9-3
member
in their
games
favor.
करूँ।
Because Revenant got those early few rounds and it was definitely most of the
देख,
part on the back of some individual
देख।
performances. You know, Paradox had a good round, DOS9 had a
Please
fantastic
press
round,
1
Sultan
if
also.
you want
But
membership
the
in
Skies
hybrid
found
table.
a little bit more consistency in the last few. So maybe they've just used the opening few rounds to kind of work out Revenant.
Any
and,
comments?
This is where they can potentially put the foot down on the accelerator
साले।
to try and close out this map as quickly as possible.
सॉरी यार
Good
रेड्रैक भाई
adaptability
सॉरी
from them as well
गाइस
to recognize
अगले
that
महीने
in
में
minutes what they
उसमें
need to
50K
do against
होना।
Revenant, you'll highlight back towards their stage 2 gameplay.
channel जब भी
that
खोलता हूँ।
Lotus was a map that they were
Big fan from
relatively
Sydney.
successful on,
Love
but they
you
had
यार
the
भाभी
worst
जी।
defensive performance on any single map.
एक
in
तो
their
लाल
pool,
भेज दो यार
right?
भाभी जी।
Defense Lotus,
सच्ची बता।
no go, have to fix it. And that is what I feel like they've been able to do with the addition of Big Time coming into this roster, by the way.
भाभी जी।
He has such great
थोड़ा शरीफ
rules on
बनने का
the
टाइम है।
macro strategy on how he needs to position his team, and I think that looking at this team, you know,
Full membership
they've been
all
able to
करो,
really
scam
fix it
रुकना नहीं
for,
चाहिए।
for Revenant's side with him, but now you've got who I'm highlighting actually with the bad defensive side in disguise, right? They
थोड़ा शरीफ
themselves
बनने का
in
टाइम।
this game, Vera, Juicy, changing
क्या
up
टाइम है भाई
positions
उधर?
time and time again on the duelists. I think Alex has done a phenomenal job with them to just sit down with the boys,
8:54.
figure out exactly what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are to get back into it. And I'm looking at this and I'm just having a kind of a think about it. From
भाई
what
ये
we've
जो
seen
भी
so far in the
शूंग
course
रहा है
of
ना
the
मेरे को ये
tournament,
चाहिए
I
भाई।
think the guys
मेरे को
have
ये चाहिए।
realized early on more so than Revenant have
गाइस
on
मेरे
the
फोरवर्ड के
weaknesses.
तुम लोग मजाक करते
So
हो ये
the
क्या
fact that
है?
they've already done it, you know, within the first half of
Huh?
the map in this best of
ये
3,
तो मेरे से भी ज्यादा
it's
है।
gone good.
I like that. There's a quick tech pause. Someone's out
भाभी
of the
जी ये
seat.
कल बेब स्पेस ये सब
Far
मत
away, we
बोलो
were
यार
here.
मैंने कब बोला यार?
But yeah, man, I don't know. This is another game where it's elimination station, right? You know, one of these teams won't be making their way in,
मैंने
won't be
कब
getting
बोला
all the
भाई?
way through to that next stage of competition.
क्या लिख रहे हो भाई?
And I
हेलो।
think there's obviously going to be a lot of eyes again on all these teams, especially the ones who make it to the
सारे
arena.
मेरी sisters थे
Whether or
भाई।
not it's to, you know, make their way towards ascending, or getting picked up into tier 1 exclusively outside of that into the next season. There's so many question marks into this off season. What it's going to look like for so many of these players individually.
I mean, the biggest thing first, the biggest hurdle I feel like
मेरे हिसाब से इनकी attack strong है,
is you have to first best the third to fourth place
सारे sisters हुई भाई.
Ascension and Boom.
ओयो वाले stream में कुछ
they were kind of really exposed against Simpresa early on, but I think you're going to have a bit of a settle down and a massive talk in how to get back into it, because locally, in Indonesia, Boom's not lost the final land, so this could be the upset to the winner of this series to best that big old hurdle to then get into that arena.
Boom's such a funny team.
बाबे जी यहाँ पे स्ट्रिप क्लब की बातें हो रही थी. आदित्य भाई ऐसे ना करो यार. A bro is another bro's bro.
Really hard straight away into the next series. So
बाबे जी babes वाले जिम ज्वाइन किया है. नहीं यार मैं तो जिम ही नहीं जाता यार. मैं तो घर में वर्कआउट करता हूँ.
That have been looking the strongest, tried and
कितना
tested
weak हो गया
throughout the
देखो.
course of this competition so far. They're the only team that hasn't really shown a level of weakness, and it's crazy because during that time,
भाई defense अच्छी है, read अच्छी है.
Very strong.
3 versus 2.
By Riddle, who we just saw beat Naus.
वो स्टन मारेगा तो तीनों का गया.
We've got the switch up of the sides disguised onto the attack.
भाई जो babes बुलाई है 25 को उनको एडवांस दे दो. यहाँ पे भेज रहे हो तू.
Are going to adjust specifically when you've got Rossi on a chamber.
गद्दारी करो भी भाई के
He needs to
साथ.
get a lot of action. He needs to get a lot of kills and get out for there to really be some strength on this Revenant side.
रॉसी नहीं इतना नहीं, इतनी एग्रेशन नहीं बाबा. इतनी एग्रेशन नहीं बाबा. बाबा.
Of South Asia. Does manage to get away. Tagged up, which does help a little bit, but DOS9 can only go 1 for 1.
And that's going to be the door opening, so these guys don't need to stick around. Bait out a bunch of this utility. Look to renegotiate back towards B, where the trademark is at the front. To get a little bit of information.
Guys, अभी chamber का वो increase हुआ है ना?
But I'm a bit surprised as well. I'm a bit surprised that there's no
अभी aggression kill सकते हो.
now gathered over at Rubble when you have this lull in the time.
Just how much do they try and overwhelm? How much do they try and throw back here? They're obviously going to let the spike get planted. And Rossi will be able to have the rendezvous up in just a second, so
अब हो गया असली.
holding on.
कोई बता सकता है ये साइफर का क्या नर्फ हुआ है? कोई बता सकता है?
But he does miss the shot. Yeah, that's right.
रॉसी से नहीं हो रहा है. ये गलत एजेंट गलत प्लेयर है.
Continues the way of disguise. They're going to put the foot down now and try to get this offense going, but Sultan looking the wrong way, man. Round is all falling apart for Revenant.
मेरे हिसाब से
away with an easy 7.
ये एजेंट सिर्फ एक ही बंदा अच्छा खेलता है, चेंबर.
No, and I think that comes down to the retake positions as well, right? When you've got two coming up from heaven, one coming up from spawn, and one coming through rotating door, you are really needing to isolate a pick.
Come on, buddy, show up. Show up, buddy. इधर भी जूसी भाई से निच किया.
That's exactly what they did out through breakable on the site. You have a little bit of a safety net.
ये तो ओके खेलता है भाई. Accurate क्या खेलता है.
Guys, when they realize that they're getting
दो actually मैं और Accurate.
Just a reset.
मैं और Accurate.
Wait for the toxic screen to go down, and now they have a really big advantage onto this attacking.
Saya player ओके खेल.
Such a big pivotal moment.
Love you, Enigma. I love you.
Potentially a thing of where disguise, if they can't get a couple of.
भाई मैं सच्ची में अच्छा खेलता हूँ. मैंने आज तक इसमें bottom frag नहीं किया.
Disguise may really start to run away from it. You know, almost leaning towards the 13-6, but I won't get my head in the negative too much just yet. We need to see good things in the the gun rounds.
Yeah, and on those gun rounds, I think for SK Rossi as well, how much of a premium do you actually put on being able to rendezvous out, right? Because if you're the one that isn't going for these flanking plays, then who is?
भाई तीनों blind होंगे.
Straight in. We'll be able to open one. It is traded out very nicely by Skills for that matter. But DOS9, can he find the timing here? The C's is going to be fantastic. Paradox does get one back, but they're overlooking it. That's really nasty. SK Rossi's not exactly in a position to potentially win it out. Does he have any shots in the head?
Come on, buddy, you can do it. Come on, play like me.
Try and creep on in. They do bait out the shot. Juicy won't be looking at this just yet, of course.
Play like me, baby. You can do it. ये clutch मैंने देखा है. लोको पे देखा है. लोको पे.
They're both watching the exact same time. The bullet damage is enough there.
Bro, why don't you idiots like me, yo?
In the chamber, he does. He's instead just going to go in potentially with the classic here. This is just so rough. The cam's still there. He's just getting baited out in every single which way. The synergy that.
Oh, okay. Come on. You can. It's all about one. Nice try.
Not enough. There was a moment, there was a
हाय का तो जवाब दिया नहीं, फिर बोलते हम तो ऐसे नहीं बोला। ब्रिज भाई सच्ची में आप दूसरे एडिशन इसलिए नहीं दिखा पापा, मैं सच्ची बता आई एम रियली सॉरी बेबी, रियली सॉरी, रियली मैं देखा नहीं, सच्ची बता वाला जेन्युइन एंड कुछ तो बोल रहे थे आप कि आपका गेम प्ले देख के रॉसी
I think you're still pretty okay with how you've navigated that round as Revenant, right? 4
क्या
kills,
भाई
of
हेलो
course, is going to make
एजेंट लिया बस, गेम प्ले मेरा नहीं तुम्हारा है।
Single gun should be the investment for them. They're going to get a couple of extras because they know themselves with the confidence and space that they actually are finding to A. They get rubble control pretty easy.
I don't think they're going to find much strain in getting the extremities of this map around that neon, right?
कानिश को गाली दो।
Rai's in tow. They've just got so much versatility.
And when you've got Sultan putting the same wall down time and time again, not changing it up, you can kind of afford to give up that rubble control.
वो
They're not
भाई
really protecting it so far.
शेरिफ
Paradox finding a good opening shot at the very least to take down Juicy. That gives them the advantage.
जो मैं थोड़ा सपोर्ट करूं भाई, मैं क्या करूं यार पबजी शॉट्स।
Yeah, you are pretty.
मैं क्या करूं, सपोर्ट तो कर रहा हूं, वेट आपके चैनल के लिए करनी है।
Playing gatekeeper over at B, his skills there. And the other two over at Tree, just refreshing between this wall and the one-way.
Now they look to creep on in. They're going to all swing around the exact same position, trying to wrap just in front of stairs. They're putting the foot down. Look at that. Nicely done.
Nice
the
back
satchel
up
was almost good, but DOS9 at least has got a bit more space to get 1, 2, 3.
ब्रो ये बंदा, ये बंदा कितनी लैपटॉप लिया बे कल से, 4-5 लिया।
Say the individual performance from DOS9 I think is one of the best in this whole damn tournament.
DOS9 versus DSG, bro.
The kills in the ratings and everything, right? It's just the positioning.
Bro, it's DOS9
with
versus
the team,
DSG, bro.
Without the team, and then individually, even if his team dies, he's
शायद
still
मैं भी
coming
Phantom
back,
के लोग
multi-fragging up,
ऐसी
having an
सिचुएशन में
impact on the
चाहिए।
rounds that they're still losing. It's just absolutely sensational
Bro,
from
what
him.
the
For the
fuck?
biggest tournament
दूसरे
of
आईडी
his
से
career so
membership
far, by
gift
the way, for a chance to get to an arena.
दूसरी आईडी से मेंबरशिप गिफ्ट दिखती है कि नहीं? नहीं दिख रही है।
एक ने लिखा DOS9 ने 4 मारे, मैंने बोला नहीं।
Not exactly an easy feat there.
तू गया।
Sort of do think that Paradox, getting that satchel, giving the quick bounce.
I would like to
got it started,
apologize,
but this time round, it'll be Paradox bested. Juicy goes.
मरने से डर नहीं
Yeah,
लगता
we'll
तेरे
speak
को?
about the flip of what DOS9's been doing, right? Getting all the kills. Juicy, really absent in a lot of these engagements, so it's great to see that he's able to open one up in a round 4 disguised. Meanwhile, again,
Haven't
you
needed
don't
him
have...
yet.
Yeah,
ओयो रूम्स होना यार,
control
डन
again
से
once
मेरी
more
जान।
for Revenant, though.
इसके बाद लंबी में स्ट्रीम
Still
करे
Grumble with the
एंड
camera still over
तक
there.
कर सकते।
Good early use of the neural theft as well to get that info. Vera's going to be making moves.
Gaya.
DOS9 has so much work to do
Bro,
here. He will
Maros.
manage to get one, but look at how well they played it this time. They know the individual nature. He was able to get that 1v4 in the previous, but now
Bro, Rossi ne
when
off
he's
kiya
down,
kya?
he was traded so effectively. It's on to SK Rossi and Sultan to see what they can do in the 2v4.
You got to save. You got to save here. You've got weapons to go in with a pretty strong buy in the next rounds. Yes, you might want to try and impact the economy of just guys who are relatively as well, because what is that toxic screen going to do in this scenario? Nothing. So you'll cut your losses here, you'll give this one over towards Disguise, and you'll go again with a strong round, try and keep them in.
भाई रॉसी अगर मारना चालू किया ना,
So you
ये
say
गेम
that the Sultan
ऐसे
has basically been playing the
जीतेंगे।
same screen every round, right?
Yep.
चार
No
किल पे
questions, no changes.
होता है यार, ऐसे ना
That's the
बोलो
thing,
यार।
the lack of versatility with this agent
ब्रो
composition.
ट्रिकी भी अच्छा
That's it,
खेलते हैं,
right?
लेकिन
Because
ऐसे
when
ना
you're on the
बोलो
attacking
यार।
side, usually you're doing the one that cuts
Really,
through
yeah.
rubble and A side to get a little bit of this early rubble control, to then flex up and down, to sneak up and
Hit
do it.
मत दो
When
यार,
you're on
ऐसे
this
hit
defensive
मत दो
side,
यार।
This is generally the wall
मुझे दो यार,
that,
सारी hit
Revenant
मुझे-
will be playing
मुझे-
with, because they've got
मैं
the
noob
one ways
बोल-
that DOS9 throws out handedly,
Let
because
me
they
take
know that
Rossi's
they're playing
lead.
Moji side
Aggressive
over the C
control
when they
लेना
need to
पड़ेगा
as well. They're retaking
SW
C.
streamer कोई नहीं है
There's a
मेरे
massive
साथ।
reliance actually on keeping
इधर
him
fight करना
alive
पड़ेगा,
for a lot of these
Neon
rounds.
के
That's why you
साथ
generally
इतना
don't see
space
Sultan
देके
overextend for a lot of
डर
these
दे बे।
duels.
रेज और नियॉन एक साथ जा रहे हो ब्लाइंड के पीछे।
हाँ।
Interesting thoughts. And again,
TbOne
why
no,
it sort of
मुझे दो,
leads
hit
to
मुझे
a
दो,
little bit of a
Rossi को
weird
नहीं
one
आनी
when
चाहिए।
you're not adapting
I'll
and
take
kind
all
of
the
changing up
hate.
those agent compositions to what is sort of modern day. It can, even when you've got individuals performing, you can still get caught lacking.
रॉसी बस आज मुझे इम्प्रेस करना चाहता था वो चेम्बर लेके, मुझे पता है, इसलिए वो हिट मुझे, क्योंकि मैं भी चेम्बर खेलता हूँ ना इसमें।
Yeah, you've got two members over at the breakable door and a bit of a crunch to come
सच्ची में उसने बोला मैं फेड खेलूंगा,
and you're not getting rubble.
मैंने बोला नहीं नहीं प्लीज मेरे लिए प्लीज।
Yeah, look at how quick they're trying to go back
मुझे
to
hit।
this because they already did burn the paranoia on one side. Now they're trying to get straight through breakable.
Skills तो मार रहा है भाई।
But Skyrim will trade. So SK Rossi has to get a bit of a wriggle on here. Sultan's going to be able to drop Vera, which is huge. But now Wayne putting out that seize. It does catch Sultan, but he catches first. And Rossi also able to pick up Grumble. So all in a star in 1 versus 2. He is in position, has the spike in tow. He's such an awkward one in B upper. Has to try and
nice.
And he's caught and he's found Rossi.
तू पहले जो तुझको मिलता है वो हेड तो ले ले.
For the frags to bring the team forward. Revenant get an 8.
Yeah, SK Rossi hasn't had a lot of the duels.
Hits are always accepted in terms of super chats.
The amount of times that you're getting free rubble control, now you finally see a contest, but you already.
TbOne bhai, we got 10 retirement, but not yet Rossi. ये गया बे, J Mehta and in the chat.
You got the numbers kept at bay. You got the numbers kept in check from Revenant, who in the end the 1 versus 2s hate the timing to find it. So well placed for Revenant, and that's on the back of that save in the previous round, right? If they went for it and lost the guns.
Chad, you should never press person when he's low.
Away again, right? They've completely changed up the position.
Basic hai.
Grumble dodges and weaves, ducks, dives, dips, dodges. You know how it goes.
Obviously udhar hai.
Yeah, but now the problem is you've lost the sight.
10 gifted in the chat from Bridge by from another ID. By ये होती है असली support. दो ID से membership gift करना.
Again, you know, they
अरे वो उसका वो था बे ट्रैप फायर था बाबा.
Continue to take the siege, A control towards mount and rubble. But anyway, we'll see how we go.
Hi in the chat.
On the 4v3.
Couple of trades out. Not bad so far, but again, Disguise still holding together as a unit on the
Rossi,
side.
come on, you can kill too.
I'm just looking at it as well. The time is ticking away. I think Revenant just need to seal the deal on this one and save it yet again. And I was objectively looking at it too, Mitch. You've got a Chamber, a Viper, and an Omen to try and get a retake happening towards the other side. You really don't have any way to clear any corners with any amount of utility or any amount of haste to
इंडिया
get
में
in that
सबसे
sort
पहले
of
membership
scenario.
gifting मेरे channel में
Kind of the
आएगा.
worst 3 alive
मुझे
you
टीम
want
ने
in that
बताया है
scenario for a retake.
चैट ये जब भी ऐसा होगा तुम्हें चैट को बोलना पड़ेगा हाई लिखना है. ब्रिज भाई हर बार बोलते हैं थोड़ा हाई लिखो तभी होती है. तुम्हें लग रहा होगा ये झूठ है लेकिन ये झूठ नहीं है, ये सच्ची है.
Out the utility so well disguised that it just feels like it's such a more one-sided
chat में ऐसे ही होता है अभी पता है.
I mean, there's a reason when you look at DRF who play this comp for Revenant that they're set up both for one of these duels on both our offense and both the defense. You really want to get the player advantages, which is why you're seeing combinations of either seize nades or flash nades, or you're getting peeks in from Foxy9, for example.
क्या improvement इधर तक की तो है.
Not seeing to that much from Rossi. Because, well, the Skies just aren't generally going C, but when they are...
Mardek, please.
And that's exactly the case. He doesn't win it again. Because there's no flash or anything to assist him. There's no bodies to assist him. You need that here.
You don't need that. You just need aim.
You know, sitting back,
Trust me.
The poison cloud,
you don't need any assist. You just flick someone, you go back. That's it.
They're all have to get that early information. The Haunt at the back of the side
Come on,
as well.
duh.
Vera's already in position. Sultan has to try and find this opening frag, but he's up so close that he's going to be a tough
Bridge by another 10 gifted. Hi in the chat. Come on.
It's going to be such an awkward bit of timing. Vera somehow still alive.
Hi.
All of this chaos. Sultan does get back to this 3-on-3 as the spike's now planted.
दूसरे आईडी से आके ब्रिज भाई खुद लिख रहे हैं
back to the 3-on-3. No plant down yet, but they start to flood through the gates. Paradox actually has 2 satchels as well to dance around the side, but the silence, the creep up, 10 and plays the back of the site.
आराम से पैरा जो दिखता है उसको मारो पहले.
They're just absolutely baiting everything in, and once again it goes onto the reliability of Sultan to try and find it. Paradox now has to try continue forward. The satchels go out. Vera so low.
Nice.
It's going to be Paradox to get the great spray transfer there.
Para OP in the chat.
Hold on, like, this is exactly what we're saying. SK Rossi out in an island, dies first, 4v5, but somehow there's just enough utility to keep them alive long enough.
Bro है, अगर रॉसी थोड़ी सी मारा ना हो गया जीत गया.
Vera as well. I can feel how hesitant he was to go in through that dark cover over at spawn because he knows at that point in time from the
थोड़ी सी शो अप होना रोसी भाई अभी भी टाइम है 4-5 राउंड बाकी है बस. If you can do it, the entire India will get a hope. Come on.
By the numbers off the back of the util as well, and
होता है. मैंने भी बहुत सारे गेम्स देखे जहाँ पे मैं एकदम ब्रह्मांड में हूँ और एंड में ऐसे मारा. 9 months of free membership बोलते हैं ऐसे ना करो यार ऋषभ भाई. बाकी लोगों को भी एक उम्मीद मिलता है और मेंबरशिप नहीं लेते.
हाँ बोलो. But I think
सब एंड मेंबर गेम का ट्रेंड कब सेट करोगे?
Because they have been able to get all of this
वो
control
वाइब्रेट
for free,
टेबल
but
में
it just
होगा।
depends on what they want to choose to do with it in the end, Komodo, right? You know, they can
किसको
get
भाई,
all the
किसको?
control of the map if they want, but if they're going to hesitate once they're actually going out to that
कौन?
side,
Alpha Ziggus?
it's all for naught, really.
क्या?
Yeah, I mean, we've actually seen Revenant finally contest a couple of
Alpha Ziggus.
positions around the map, right? We've seen a little bit of this later rebel control from them. We've seen it at an attempt.
Oh,
over
right,
now,
bull,
just
right, yeah,
squandered.
Oh
but apart from that, is that all that Revenant have for us so far, right? On the back of this timeout, if you've had your coaches just watching how you guys are playing, where you guys are dying around the map, is it right now just recognizing on the fact that we keep getting
Oh
these
shit!
control,
Sorry,
and
sorry,
one of the pieces of utility that we're
sorry.
seeing them utilize when they go to retake control, well, it's the toxic screen up, it drops, and if there's a smoke, a one-way over a door, well, you know, they're more heavily lent over
भाई
towards
सब
the
लोग
A-side,
और से
because
पंगा
9
लेते हैं,
out
मैं
of 10,
सीधा
those are
owner
the
से
same
लेता हूँ,
positions that we're
shit.
seeing from DOS9 and from Sultan on the back when that util's there. So I'm looking towards the
Legend.
now, and
Raka
what am I
bhai
seeing? The 2-1-2, where you're going to have a peek out from SK Rossi, and you're not
मैं
going to
सीधा
have
और
any
bonus
control
से
bar
पंगा
with
लेता
grenades that go over towards rubble.
Rossi does fire a shot, so they've got the information.
भाई
that the operator
ये
is
गया
in.
ऐसे पीक
Rumble
नहीं कर
finds
सकता
DOS9, and that's such a
Nice,
big
Para.
frag to be found.
Para, nice
He's
move,
able
they
to
got
respond
two
with
name,
one, but then that's the A site ripped open.
They don't know about skills.
I mean,
Yeah.
skills.
No, I don't think they have any
position,
info,
but
bro.
this is very much an
Check
island
hoega
as
lekin.
well for him to be sitting at.
And if you're playing by the numbers,
I don't
right
think so
now
they
as
know
well,
about
you're either putting
skills.
your boombot
I
or
don't.
you're
Highly
putting your
doubt, highly doubt.
Prowler
एक spam
to
इसका
pull
लगेगा,
skills
yeah.
out. You're not
Head
going to
armor
give
भी
them
नहीं.
a chance to get back in.
नहीं they're so busy with
Okay, Rossi finally
नहीं,
got
नहीं,
the shot,
नहीं,
so
नहीं,
taking
नहीं.
out Juicy, that could be absolutely huge. They
Nice.
go through the door now. They don't clear it. You're right. And now he can drop the Nightfall. So this could very well be a 10th round here for Revenant unless we
Nice
see
रे skills.
and he's taking
Turning point था ये.
all onto lane in the 1 versus 3. I can't help but think that Disguise have kind of given up the goat on the
चलो ये
round
राउंड तो
here.
मिलनी चाहिए
Well, we'll see.
Bruce
Because
Wayne
Wayne in
क्या ही
the
करेगा,
3,
हाँ?
dark cover eventually, but a Paranoia 2. There's
The
the first.
first. Can he hold on? Blinds him up. Gets
Sound
the
आया
shot,
इनको?
step
आया है.
out.
Sound आया.
The repositioning
वापस
is
उस
great. But I
तरफ
think
जा.
his shoulder actually might have been spotted there. SK Rossi is going to try go through. Is going to get that headhunter route. Has to try and connect with the
बोला
shot.
ना,
He does.
last few rounds.
Thank you, SK Rossi.
Last few rounds matter करता है Rossi. It doesn't matter you are 6 kills 7 kills, it's a team game.
For later if he needs it.
Follow
And
your
that's the
boss.
round recovered. Revenant tie up score
क्या हुआ?
10-10.
Liar.
This game has been
बोला?
so strange.
I mean, you
Yeah,
have to
नहीं सुना.
consider if the breakable door is gone,
Let's
and
go.
yeah, you're killing people, that the position is still dirty if you yourself
भाई
have
पता है
not
टर्निंग पॉइंट
checked
क्या
it.
है स्किल्स
Yes,
दो
I
मारा
understand that SK
क्रूशियल
Rossi gets on the line when the
Cru-
smoke breaks
ये
open,
kill
you
मार
can't
रहा है,
find
easy है,
the cover
chat.
if you're already in the open, sure. But you have to be layering your protocols at least to clear corners if you've not cleared them when you've got the utility. Because if
Bro,
you're not doing
skills
your
का
first
क्या
steps,
kill
you're
था
not
वो.
going to be able to get into the site with the necessary required items that you need. And in that scenario, when you have lesser weaponry as disguised, you need to be making sure that you're not getting immediately dispatched of before you even get in there.
Oh, tagged up a little bit, Vera. But again, it's the same level of control. They get out to rubble, with the rest of the teams going back towards C.
Oh, did he just get spotted out or not? There was a ping on the radar.
Liability बोला?
I've seen it, but it doesn't even matter.
कौन बैठे हैं सामने
man.
कास्टिंग में घातक भाई है
Finding another again, you know, the amount of control he's been able to pick up, and SK Rossi just walking straight into his arms.
भाई सुना जिम में सिर्फ चेस्ट
this
मार
is
रहे हो
so rough.
दिखाओ जरा चेस्ट
Play
देखे
plants
कैसा
as well.
ये देखो
Skills has to go really big here. At least he's able to find one for three.
ये
A little bit too easy. Does have the C's, does have the Prowler in
ठीक
hand.
है यार ऐसे नहीं
You gotta wait for DOS9 though.
That's
He's
a
got
value
your smoke,
shot.
he's got your flash. By what time you can, set all your useful in.
Gonna pop the ultimate there as well. Showstopper for Juicy. All it needs to do is just be a deterrent for this point in time, right? It doesn't need to go off straight away.
Yeah.
He's gonna drop it, doesn't connect.
Big
But
damage.
in this time, it's done well to just find a little bit of extra control. Now DOS9 comes in, but Styron will trade, and I don't think Skills has got what it takes to take this one out. They're running away.
इसको
again.
बोलो ना
It's
आप
the
ना
third
करे.
time we're seeing a save.
क्यों करनी
I
हो
don't
आप?
even know if he's going to be able to get far away enough with this
चले,
operator.
आप
Okay,
उतार
I think he will just now, but...
यही है बे
It was a slow
2020
retake,
से देख रहा हूँ
just those
स्किल्स
OP
इसको
picks
आप उठाता है
again,
लेके आता है
Lane was
Yeah.
able to split the wickets and find them. It's just
BLT डेज में
insanity.
भी यही था
Well, he was.
एक-एक
spotted
और लेन
out
का
after the
Discord में.
final
ये
shadows
skills
was
वो
used,
आप
but
लेके
the
आना
fact
है.
that he's just able to double down on towards
20
SK
से
Rossi,
देख रहा
that's
हूँ.
where it becomes extremely, you know,
ये
problematic,
वो
right?
आप उठा के लेके
You got
आना
the 3
है
versus 5 onto the site. You start to get a kill in or two from Skills. He tanks the showstopper, but by that point in time, you've just got locations
DOS9
already
को इस बार
solidified
off दिया.
for Disguised.
इसका अल्ट है इसलिए चैट
It's going to
एक्चुअली
be an interesting buy now as well,
ये
because
round
they've
मिल
got
सकता
the
है.
force for Rossi and the operator for DOS9.
ये राउंड एक्चुअली मिल सकता है
I like it though. A bit of a different look to what you're deploying over at your A-Rubble attempted control at the moment. Though. It's a bit of a funny one from Vera too. Dash in, open the door, force them back, and it actually brings SK Rossi's ultimate out as well.
Oh fuck, एक ही मकसद था रेस का इधर क्लियर कर चैट क्या एंट्री है ना चैट
he can't really do anything here right now. They've completely locked out Revenant once again.
ऐसे अगर मेरे को रैंक गेम्स में मिला ना रैंक गेम्स
making sure that you don't have crossing T's over towards a vulnerable
क्या
position
प्लान हो गई भाई
scenario as well.
भाई ये
Have
लोग
to go in as a team, in as a unit. They're clearing out absolutely everything here. Revenant. Door now broken.
Nice.
Up into
एक और हो जाए.
Hits one.
Nice.
Is he going to be able to connect on the second? He will. It's going to be a third though for Revenant.
Yes.
3 versus 2.
Yes.
Nine actually connecting with a shot as well.
Oh.
It's all in Vera, who's got the absolute flank of the century. But he tries to go in quickly. And Rossi. Oh man. The high gear doesn't quite work out for him. The slide
एक बार शॉट दिखाओ
successful, and in a round where
मैं बोला ना
was weaker, it was just a saved operator.
Doesn't matter. Last few rounds matter. Bro, वो शॉट मारना easy नहीं है.
I mean, tour de force at the end of the day is just a point and shoot adventure for SK.
Guys, वो दिखा सकते हैं क्या?
Being that slow field, which I thought might actually get the better of them when they try to flood in towards the site. But then I realized exactly where our friend in Vera was coming from.
It's a slide shot.
Yeah, brilliant shot.
Haji कौन बोला liability?
When he went for the slide, so I don't think
नाम बताओ उसका.
Someone at that distance with a knife, buddy.
नंबर उड़गा.
Absolutely.
अब हमको
जिसको नहीं मैं सुपर चैट करता हूँ सब बोलते टिबोन आ गया ये मेरा रियल नाम है और ऐसा है क्या शोभित मेरी जान सच्ची में मैं भी शोभित आप भी शोभित how about we record 2 in 1
you're looking again right a couple of really late resurgence plays from Revenant
भाई लास्ट few rounds मैटर करता है भाई रॉसी मारा भाई ये फोरहेड देखो भाई मेरे लिए बोलते हो तुम लोग
side of things still but there's some adjustments to still tends towards B as well fall back when you need
मैंने बोला तुम गए चैट मैं भेज रहा हूं गातक भाई को
extremely close for Revenant
गातक भाई को ये फोटो भेज रहा हूं सबकी नाम मिलेगी
was just having an extra player or two alive before that retake actually happens and then they have those pieces to flood on in so the fact that this time they
wait वो लेफ्ट खेल रहा है क्या
they do decide to
फाटू भाई इससे अच्छा शॉट्स मार देते हैं शॉट्स मार रहे फाटू भाई लेकिन गेम में नहीं
for disguise to hold in that scenario and it's exactly why because they lose that one then they start to get crunched in by the multiple angles that Revenant are mounting that retake from it's pretty simple when you think about it, but they hold breakable there. They win the round.
Can't believe we ended up here.
OP in the chat.
Make a wish. I'm sure plenty of Rossi fans will be hoping it's a win for Revenant.
बात नहीं कर रहे.
भाई तुम्हारी कितनी गंदी सोच
for a win for Disguise.
दारू की शॉट्स मार रहे
again, it just feels like
सोच बदलो
in the lead for
अभी
this
तक
game,
टाइम है सोच बदलो
Yeah.
गंदी सोच
Out of every player on your roster as well for Disguise, it's going to be Grumble
कभी
down
नहीं सुधरोगे
towards the
चैट
Sheriff. So we'll see what happens in the middle stages of this round, where you've already managed to push SK Rossi back.
भाई इस नेम में से स्पीड को
both controller players over towards C, rid of action up through the guts and mid from
मेरे नाम खराब मत करो
now towards the alpha site. So what was I just mentioning, Mitch? For a retake, have the numbers and what did
क्या मारा भाई
Jeez, what a shot. Now the Nightfall to come on through to try and gather some information on the flank and they'll get it. It'll be 2 pings.
पैराकाल्ट है we can do something पैराकाल्ट है we can do something गया
Might not have heard it, might not have had the audio cue with the Nightfall, right? So
एक अल्ट मार दो भाई
Vera just keeping them entertained and occupied at this position. They are going to flood through.
कैसे कनेक्ट नहीं हुआ वर्ड
I thought that was potentially looking for a double, but it's Vera to get another shot. Wayne secures as well. DOS9, Sultan, the last 2, but there's down. There we go, all into Sultan. And again, he just has to run away. And when Vera's coming at him,
ज़्यादा फ्री हो रहे आप सैम आपको क्यों गुस्सा आया
get it himself, but Wayne does. And DSG
ये मेरे को समझ में नहीं आया
Yeah, DOS9 just jumping
फाटू के बारे में बोल रहा
हूँ. Footsteps very audible.
गुस्सा सैम को आती ऐसा क्यों
Connection I like the idea of Revenant falling back when the forces do get overwhelmed. When you only have one player in SK Rossi leaning towards the A
जब तक
side,
समझ में नहीं आया ऐसा क्यों होता है
scenario for that sort of
सोचो
so falling back is wise, but then just getting his head absolutely removed Same
पता
could be
नहीं भाई,
said for
पता
when
नहीं.
that rocket comes up from Paradox, squatted out of the sky.
Come on,
A
Daya.
couple of really sharp shots from Disguise put them onto map point now. And it's either overtime or it's map 1 victory for Disguise. And Vera wants to get the victory, Mitch. They're already in
Bro.
To wrap it up immediately, man. This man is straight out, does not have a care in the
भाई
world.
क्या
does he?
execution, इतनी जल्दी तो
Straight
PRX
on
भी
through,
नहीं
trying to
आता.
get all the control possible. Rossi's going to judge for this retake, man. It's going to be again onto Sultan and DOS9 to see what they can do.
क्या है, GG है ना?
Yep, on the shadows in for DOS9. Or rather from Wayne actually to see how many players are rotating in through the back of spawn.
Rossi bhai ne
I don't think
katta zyada
DOS9 is
chala hai,
gonna be
Vandal ka
afforded
comment.
to use his ult here.
No, not at all. Just gathering that
Hater
info. The
है
Prowler
big
goes out
bro.
to try and take some control back, but once again, it's that one-way smoke onto
मैं
the
तो
stairs,
तीन मारे,
which
मैं
makes
OP
it so
बोला था
awkward,
यार.
so uncomfortable.
बोला था क्या?
They're
Very
already
ठीक.
running
बोला
out of
था,
time
बोला
here,
था.
Komodo. It's going to be such a
50-50
tricky one to
hitter
get
है.
back in. Sultan just has to sit pretty for as long as
Shot,
possible.
shot,
Vera
shot.
does get taken
Shot,
down.
shot,
Again,
shot.
time is ticking.
ये
Rossi
होता
with
है.
2, but traded out.
ये होता है,
Grumble
Vandal.
finding more. Grumble finding more, Komodo. 1 versus 2.
Yes!
Does have the
Yes!
defense to come out, but
Yes,
they don't
Rossi!
have enough time here. They do.
Yes!
It's going to go to overtime.
Bro, मैं बोला ना, doesn't matter.
हो गया, दिमाग का भरोसा हो गया,
Yeah,
दिमाग का भरोसा
absolutely.
हो
That
गया.
had to be
इसलिए
extremely
यार,
close on the
दिमाग का
timer
भरोसा
at
हो
the
गया.
end of that one.
वहाँ पे भी चला
Unfortunately,
रहेगा,
don't really
कैसे
see it, but hey, that was what, a 5 versus 4.
भाई मैं बोला ना,
Go into that
जब
one for
चाहिए
Revenant,
छक
and you
मारने,
just see the
बस.
patience from Disguise. Nobody kind of overstepped in that scenario.
भाई ये
Like,
left
Vera
क्यों
was
खेल
down
रहा
to
है?
1 HP actually at drop, and the matter of fact that SK Rossi on 23 HP
Right,
manages to
से
get
काला
that
काला
kill. They start to peel together.
Ganesh,
some
why are you
advantages,
playing
and
left,
then it
huh?
just crumbles for DSG
ये
because
left
they're
क्यों
losing
खेल
those
रहा है?
members that didn't
क्यों हो रहा है
necessarily
रोस्टर?
need to go for the fights when you don't
ये
have
लेफ्ट
that
राइट
rotating
वगैरह ना
door
करो
open.
भाई, मैंने भी किया है, एम खराब
Really
होता है,
need
मैं
to go
सच्ची
for a
बता.
fight fully in tree if you've got someone
4
looking
सेकंड
with
लेफ्ट
shots
खेलते हैं,
on
मैं भी
the
लेफ्ट
side on the
खेलता हूँ
spot.
ना. तुम्हारी 2
That's a
कोड़ी का एम में
really
ऐसा
rough
नहीं हो.
position that Disguise kind of gave up a bit there.
That was game
अब-
1. Like,
अब
no
जीतना
question
पड़ेगा.
about it. Like,
Skills
it
buy
should
कर
have
ले,
been
हाँ.
GG. We should have been talking about the post game, but the Skies have let that one slip, and they're going to be feeling
Check.
it. So Revenant, they can try and take this opportunity to close it out in overtime now.
Absolutely. And on the back of your first offensive round in overtime, Vera's brought out the operator to lock down the A site by himself with a very strong lean from Disguised over towards B and C.
Trap wire, just
Neutral
saying.
as well, pushing them back. So little by little, you start to piece something together for
Pure
Revenant,
lady.
the space around the map, while still maintaining flank watch as well
Actually,
for
check.
yourselves.
रॉसी को
So
2
careful
कोड़ी का
they
एम
give it
बोला,
all up
नहीं
to Vera
तुम्हें
here.
बोला चैट.
Obviously, they've got the top
रॉसी को
screen,
नहीं
as you
बाबा.
mentioned, to kind of try and find some space, but that guy's going to be quick, and he's been fragging all game.
Yeah, you're baiting out a lot of this utility nice and early on to remove it from later info gathering, from later retake potentials too. I was going to say, if you could bait out those paint shells there from Juicy, you'd make a potential retake scenario all the more easier.
भाई ए कर सकते हैं. ये ऑफ कर रहे के पे?
Just going to have to cut sound. 40
नहीं.
seconds
Skills
left.
नहीं.
Let's see if there's any more
Skills
response
नहीं,
here
बाबा.
from Disguised.
The biggest thing at the moment
What's
is I don't believe Vera has revealed the operator in play at the moment. So
What
once
is Skills trying to do,
towards
man?
bubble, he has to shift into a really delayed fake and retake, or potentially even a flank, because we still do hit C.
Didn't even go
उस
for the
एंगल
shot
के लिए
there.
लेफ्ट किया होगा. ऐसा भी हो सकता.
Wayne is going to be able
ऐसा
to
भी
find
है?
it first. Is he going to continue here? He's been looking so good in this map.
Oh,
He's got a
no.
third straight into the shrouded step as well. How far can he keep going with this Grumble to pick up further? And this is the round that we should have seen in the previous.
Wait,
This is
वो
how
जो
it should
CS:GO
have
में हम
been
करते थे,
finished.
इसमें होता
Onto
है भी.
that 24th
Left,
round.
right, left, right, left,
But now
right.
Disguise, they have a
I
much
don't think so,
cleaner
dude.
start here. Revenant couldn't find their footing in towards that site take, and Disguise take the lead and take it back to map
हाँ
point.
वही.
Well, what's one of the things that I said could upend?
Bro, they could have just
Revenant,
done
right?
A,
It's the
bro.
time.
That's-
It's always the 6th man on their opponent's team because they do leave a lot of these rounds to the wire, and the fact that they didn't break any of this Cypher utility.
That
on
was so
C,
fucked
the
up
fact
round,
that
man.
They didn't push Vera off the operator line over at A. You're getting the
नहीं
idea
होता है,
that
bro, वही
it
तो.
is shifting down to a 20-second execute attempt here, and then you can just play around the site as Disguised. So really, that round was read in by them too early for Revenant's liking. You have to figure it out early, Mitch, and now Vera attack operator on the
Attacking
man.
off लिया
I'm
इसने.
shaking my head that like an attacker-sided operator and Paradox still peeks into it. Anyway, hindsight's 2020.
चैट, ये क्या
and-
setup
and
है
such,
रॉसी
but
का?
that's
उधर
crazy.
लगा
The fact that Vera's actually going for this instead is a bit of a sight to behold, and it's working out for them so
ये
far.
मारेगा. ये मारेगा.
Yeah. And now DOS9 is by himself. Scare tactics with
Info
the
मिला
OE, see
है.
if any damage can be delivered, but you've got to go for a bit of a challenge here. You can't just fall away and go
Where
for another 4v5
Where
retake.
Dawson गया?
How are they going to make this
नहीं नहीं
work?
नहीं. भाग गया.
Revenant Have to try and fall away.
क्या execution है भाई इनका, मेरे को मजा आ रहा है
Chat.
chat
अच्छा खेलते हैं. Drop. Spike looking to be planted for Styron, but he pops off for the time being. He's just going to wait for it for a second. DOS9.
Bro, DOS9 kuch.
Trying to get some info. Paranoia, so it's going to be a very quick retake for Grumble. He'll find
Nice,
it. Skills, though, gets one. So does SK Rossi. Back into a 3-on-3 here, Komodo, somehow.
Yeah, Planter's down as well, and they have given over that Odin for the spam of the tree if they want
Nice
to.
Sultan, bhai.
Now there's an advantage for everyone.
Absolutely. How have they brought this back? It's all going to be onto Wayne and Juicy. Juicy does bring it into a 2-on-2, but Rossi can get into position, looking to go and get this half tap. Skills takes him down, and now it's all left onto Wayne. Can Wayne continue forward?
Nice!
Still holding.
Nice!
Holding. Has he been able to pull him off? Not enough time. Not enough
Dynamic duo.
Skills closes as well with the third, and that is a retake that again should have never gone the way of Revenant. The Skies are giving these
Dynamic duo.
silver platter, Komodo.
Bangalore dynamic duo.
Yeah, that's an extremely strange one for Disguise where they look to get
ये नान स्टिक मारती नहीं वेट मारा पाली नन बैकअप करा पाली नक्कन ऐसे बात किया होगा उन लोगों ने.
Spike is planted over towards tree. You've got the wallbang ability to come through from the Odin that's literally been gifted to you by your opponents. And you've got a lot of utility that can still be played for the stalling as well. That's a couple of ill-timed decisions from Disguised where, funnily enough, if you're playing any other team that isn't Revenant that really sets themselves up for that slow retake, you probably are winning in those kind of positions as Disguised. But the fact that Revenant
इसी खुशी में बबले मेरी बबले में क्यों फोकस कर
does get the better of Disguise.
ये रात को नींद नहीं है बे उसका.
He's having a full conversation right now. You can see how in depth these conversations are occurring. Like a second overtime ready to come on through. We've already seen a fair bit of a hand here. You know, Vera's tried up some different things.
Chat पहले जीजी लिखा. Chat की आदत है भाई.
Rossi has very much been
हर बार मैं पिस्तौल राउंड आता हूँ जीजी लिखते हैं.
Experienced players inside this competition right now with his tier 1 experience. Tier 1 history, you know, a long time playing Valorant.
शी बटोरा मैं नहीं सोने वाला हूँ तेरे साथ. बैचों मैं ओयो रूम बुक करूँगा लेकिन तेरे साथ नहीं सोने वाला.
I feel like Disguised are making many of their own errors, and they need to try and work that out. They need to try and isolate these positions and just close it together.
भाई एक हफ्ते का पंप देखो chat.
I wouldn't be surprised if Revenant have the best player deficit.
भाई जीत गए bro, जीत गए.
There has been so many times that they've lost an opening kill specifically going in towards these.
जीत गए bro. G fighting का coach है, मजाक है.
Being behind, it's absolutely ridiculous. That shouldn't be something statistically. That is a possibility, right? If you've got a numbers game and a post-game scenario,
Rossi को देखो, negative KD पूरा.
Vera's getting himself really low in this decay as well for the time being, just trying to hold that similar line. It's been a very staple wall to be thrown out by Sultan, trying to get that clear. He gets the opening. That's
Sultan is crazy,
by
man.
Styron. And now it's just going to be that rubble control, and where are they going to take this?
Yeah. Vera did spot
फिर G क्यों नहीं जीता? क्योंकि they're still fighting. They are not winning. They want to fight.
Self up on the correct line. You see if you can get one and get out because the Prowler is sniffing you
Oh,
through.
straight
And
in
you're
there.
actually
Look how
overwhelmed by
quick.
Paradox.
Yeah, absolutely. Paradox is all up into his grill right now, Komodo. That's a spot that you weren't expecting. You know, Vera's been so impactful, but swapping onto this operator makes it so much more pressuresome. Now Grumble destroys the hall, tries to sit away. Oh man, he's dropped the spike. What an impactful position, but he's traded out by Paradox, and now it's left all on the Grumble. 1 versus 2.
Fire in the hole.
Popped. Information gathered. DOS9 now looking for a plan. He has to go away. Grumble has to try and play this patiently.
ग्रम्बल नहीं होगा, नहीं होगा, नहीं होगा, नहीं तेरे से नहीं होगा, ग्रम्बल नहीं होगा तेरे से. इसने देखा क्या पैरा ने? ग्रम्बल नहीं होगा तेरे से, ना ना नहीं होगा, नहीं होगा, तेरे से नहीं होगा, ना ना तेरे से नहीं होगा, नहीं ना ना ना. क्या फायदा 24 kills मार के?
They're straight onto that line, but can he hold the control? No. It's
रोहित भाई नाच रहे होंगे उधर.
The attacker sided round to
रोहित भाई ऐसे नाच रहे
forward. That's now 3 in a row, Komodo. Can they close it out here?
अब खत्म करना है.
This is the first time that Revenant actually gather a
नहीं हो रहा है क्या?
How many times Disguised have had the chances to be able to seal the deal on this
खत्म है, अभी
one.
खत्म.
I do like the valiant attempt at the mid clear as well, but just reactiveness from Revenant to be able to turn around, get all of these trades to group up and settle down as well. Because somebody had to go big in a scenario to get Revenant on the top, right? More often than not, we've been looking at DOS9, we've been looking at Sultan, but Paradox this time steps up where required, and now on this
एक W करो रे, एक कंट्रोल हो जाके.
with the numbers that you've got over towards the A side if you get a little bit more proactive and not as patient as we've seen from Revenant.
Look how quick they're in though. Juicy, what is going on? Sultan finds 2. There is
काहे भाग रहे हो? काहे भाग? भाई सल्टन का रेड अच्छी थी ब्रो. हर बार वो ही करते, इधर फ्लैश डालते हैं, घुसता है वो आगे है इस बार.
and then still take the
Sultan
kills.
DM
Still
खेल
get
रहा
this
है।
third as he marches forward.
चलो, अब लेको ना
through.
जीजी।
Styron and Vera are sitting
चलो भाई, नहीं हो रहा
Where is
वो
my
वाला
team?
फील आ रहा है वहाँ पे।
क्या अभी तो नहीं हो गया। नहीं बे, इसका अल्ट भी
That
है।
he has just satchelled into him, and with no gun
ब्रो
availability.
आपको साउंड आ रहा है ना पैरा?
Sultan is converted in towards 3
Sir,
kills. Now looking for the closure.
लेफ्ट में ही है
This is
बाबा, लेफ्ट।
insane. Styron in 1v5 has not had the greatest of games so far. He's had a couple of impact frags. And he will be able to drop DOS 9, but Sultan's going to find him with the 4K, and that is going to be Revenant taking back
Bro,
on the
सबने
1-0.
अच्छा खेला।
I don't know what I've
सबने
just
अच्छा
witnessed. I don't know
Crucial
if
rounds में
anyone
सबने
is, sort of
show up किया
stable
भाई।
right now, but that game had absolutely everything.
नहीं हो रहा है
That
क्या?
could potentially be enough to really throw off the skies for the rest of this series, because yeah, as I said, like head in
होता
hand
है।
already after
होता
map
है।
1, that's rough. You're not going to close this series out right now. You're not going to say it's done and dusted.
So just for
but
butter, you're doing
take
chest press
this
in gym?
next 5
She,
minutes,
bhai.
reset fast, because if we see that again, that's the series done.
And guess what map we're going into next as well, right? It's Vines, the map that was pretty looking good against Increaser, the map that you've been destructive of against Rapid Lo-Fi too. There were so many times in this map here that you thought that Disguise were going to be able to just win it through, but I have
अरे
to
अगले
say,
तो हमारा ही मैप
how
है।
many 4Ks are we seeing individually on
ये
the side of Revenant
ये
to
रॉसी
step up,
को
right? It's what you
इधर
mentioned,
साउंड नहीं आया क्या
individual
ब्रो?
versus team play.
उनका
A
मोरल
couple
डाउन हो
coming
गया
in there
सच्ची।
from Sultan. We got the big one from Paradox to get them into that map point.
भाई
finally
मैं
as
झूठ नहीं
well.
बोल रहा हूँ। लास्ट
So
टाइम
I
की
think that there is
एसेंशन से
so
इस टाइम की
many
एसेंशन
problems in
है।
this map that can get drilled by
क्योंकि
for this guy.
games
You
अच्छी
have
जा
to
रही है।
have a really big switch up going in towards this break for this next map.
But there's a difference, right, isn't it? As you mentioned,
मतलब
you know,
एक और साल में हम
individual
pros
performances, we saw absolutely
जैसा लग रहा है।
everyone on the side of Revenant have their moment, have their play. But on the other side of Disguise, where was Styron? Where was Juicy? There was just
बहुत
nothing
ज़्यादा ही
coming
अच्छी है,
out from them
सच्ची।
at all. And where was just all these holes, all these gaps. And despite the fact that Wayne, Grumble,
वो लोग और confident थे क्या? सच्ची में क्या?
Towards the end, Vera started to lose that stability as well, where we saw SK Rossi activate, Skills activate, Paradox back into
वीएलटी
it.
गई थी
It
लास्ट
wasn't
बार
just the
नहीं
DOS
यार
9 and
ओजी गई
Sultan
थी
show
यार
in towards
वरना
the
ये
end.
डायलॉग ही
But
नहीं
look,
मारता मैं
all I can say is I'm absolutely
Hey, इसको
stunned.
हम मिले
That
ना?
composition has somehow found a win up against what we were seeing from Disguised, who started off what I felt with pretty damn well. But for now, I'm going to let you guys go over to me.
मैं जस्ट सेइंग अगर जीते तो नेक्स्ट मैच बूम से है भाई कोई डरते है क्या बूम से मैं तो नहीं डरता भाई
Well, guess what, friends? Neither do we. No.
हाँ जी कौन थे भाई वो प्रेडिक्शंस वाले जिसने सबने डीएसजी चेक किया था
हाँ भाई कौन थे भाई?
कौन थे भाई नाम बताओ सिर्फ क्रॉन्क भाई हमारे साइड में थे बाकी
भाई,
सब नाम
सबसे पहले-
याद भी नहीं है
वो कौन एक भोसड़ी वाला इंसान है जो बोल रहा था रॉसी की वजह से हार रहे करके?
भाई कौन था भाई वो
कौन
Chat में।
था?
मैंने बोला था यार
कौन
चैट
था?
में जो हेट देना है मुझे दो रॉसी को मत आई विल टेक ऑल द हेट
कौन था वो जिसको रोहित भाई बोला तो राइट भाई समझा? कौन था वो?
कौन था वो
हाँ आज एंडिंग्स मांगता
ये कोल्ड प्ले क्या है? I so high, I wanna ever sun, so ये गाना उनका है क्या भाई? ये तो फेमस गाना है भाई, लाइव स्ट्रीम होनी चाहिए इसकी। I so high, I understand I तो ये था नहीं पता 6 बिलियन व्यूज है भाई सच्ची में क्या? एक दो रेड मार दो यार, मार दो मुंह पे। ब्रह्मांड में हो रॉसी भाई कोई दिक्कत नहीं, अगली गेम अच्छा खेलो, अगली गेम अच्छा खेलो, टेंशन भाई। टीम तो
मैं 2 मिनट में आया।
हाँ चलो, उनकी टीम तो अच्छी थी भाई। चैट वीरा भाई
पिज़्ज़ा मंगा रहा मैं
यार, पहला वाला अपार्टमेंट सही था यार, कुछ ऑर्डर करे उधर ही डोर है, इधर है जो नीचे तक जाना, अच्छी बात है, ऑर्डर नहीं करेंगे, अच्छी बात। कोई तो वीडियो देखा था मैं जहाँ पे वो सबसे पूछ रहे डिड यू गेट कोल्ड प्ले टिकट्स, या आई एम सो एक्साइटेड, ये वो बोला। उसके बाद वो सवाल पूछता है जरा वो 2 मेंबर का नाम बता ना, एक बंदे को नहीं पता भाई। हाँ? इनको जाने कॉन्सर्ट, जरा वो नाम बता ना 2 मेंबर का कोल्ड प्ले का, एक को भी नहीं पता। इंडिया में यही होती है भाई, अगर कुछ ट्रेंड है सबको वो ट्रेंड में घुसना है बस, ताकि वो भी कूल लगे, और कुछ नहीं। सबके सब दोगले हैं इधर, सबके सब। हाँ? ओयो होगी, खेलेंगे रात को, खेलेंगे मसला नहीं, रात को। नींद आ रहा। बराबर बोले टिपन भाई, सच्ची में। पिंग्स को पूछ ले ये क्वेश्चन, क्यों भाई, अभी गूगल करेगा और क्या। हा? ये सब लाइव पूछनी चाहिए, सामने, शक्ल के सामने। बनाएंगे इसका व्लॉग, बनाएंगे एक दिन। बेबी बेबी, भाई थोड़ा जल्दी रिटायरमेंट नहीं लिया टेंस ने? क्या एज है टेंस का? टेंस एज, अरे कंट्रोल आर क्यों नहीं हो रही है? अब है यार, आल्ट आर चटको। टेंस एज ब्रो, 23 में चैट आ रही, क्यों लिया अभी इतनी जल्दी? कुछ ज्यादा नहीं हुआ? टेंस ने रिटायरमेंट ले ली ताकि मैं सीन में आ सकूं। गांड मराने की सीन की बात नहीं हो रही यूना भाई, ठीक है? ला 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 ला। बकचोदी पेल रहे हो चैट में, वो भी हमारी चैट। Yo, Linkin Park is the only band I ever want to see यार, though it will be different without Chester। बात तो है यार, सच्ची में, सच्ची में मेरी फेवरेट है भाई लिंकिन पार्क। ताकि मैं भी कूल लगूं। हमारा सिर्फ एक ही फेवरेट है, भोजपुरी गाना कमरिया। वो कहीं भी कॉन्सर्ट होए ना, हम जाके नाचेंगे भाई। कोमरिया तेले तोले तान ताले तोल ताले दो, लगवा ले लू लगल पीस्ती। अच्छे गाना बताओ ना यार, सच्ची में मैं नहीं सुनता यार। मैं ना लिंकिन पार्क को सुनता हूँ, ना कोई कब्बन पार्क, कुछ नहीं सुनता हूँ भाई मैं, सच्ची बता। कमलिया, एक गाना पता ना लिंकिन पार्क का, नहीं सुनता यार मैं कोई गाना। चैट में बिजनेसमैन हूँ, सुबह मैं बिजनेस पे रहता हूँ, काम पे बिजी रहता हूँ, रात को ऐसे फ्री टाइम पे, ये ऐसे फ्री टाइम पे करता हूँ स्ट्रीमिंग, सच्ची बता रहा। एड शीरन सुनते हो भाई? एड शीरन भी नहीं सुनता हो यार। हाँ मतलब मैंने ऐसे सुना होगा कई बीच बीच में, लेकिन ऐसे नहीं कि भाई आज एड शीरन आ रहा है उसकी गाना सुनना है ना। एक गाना गा दो भोजपुरी भाई, आजकल वो गाना सुन रहा हूं मैं। लगान ने कनिया ते उक नजरिया, हुक राजा जी। जिम में मजा आता है इसमें सुनने। ट्राइसेप्स मार के ये गाना सुनो ना भाई, जो मजा आता है ना, पंप जो होती है। अलग मजा आता है भाई इसमें, जिम में सुनने में। मैं झूठ नहीं बोल रहा हूं, ट्राई करो एक बार। जो पंप होती है ना मसल्स, जो पंप होती है मसल्स, अलग लेवल की। ऊक का जी। और बताओ, नाम बता दो सॉन्ग की ब्रो। लेजेंड गाना नहीं पता तुम्हें? टिबो में मर्चेंडाइज का कुछ प्लान है ब्रो? है, ये देखो मर्चेंडाइज मेरी जो रिलीज ही नहीं हुआ जिंदगी पर। इतनी अच्छी मर्च था पता है, अच्छी बिजनेस हो जाता है इसमें। गाइस अच्छी है कि नहीं बताओ चैट? तुम तो ले लेते भाई, 300 की दे बस। मैंने बोला मुझे 1 रुपया ही नहीं चाहिए भाई, फैंस के लिए कुछ भी। आरएम के थैंक यू सो मच। लेकिन क्या फायदा, आप तो बाहर हो, बॉडी तो बन रही है, बात तो है। चैट अब तूने मेरे को मोटिवेशन दिया यार, ये मेरी जिम टाइम थी पता है, अभी तक मैं ट्राइसेप्स मार रहा होगा। विश्वास तोड़िया, लव यू मेरे भाई, वेलकम 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 वेलकम। तो मैं 300,000 के करो तभी लूंगा यार, रिलीज ही नहीं हुआ यार। सॉरी 300 कम बोला क्या? ठीक है 700। टीवन भाई तंबड़ी चमड़ी सॉन्ग सुनो। तंबड़ी चमड़ी सॉन्ग्स कौन सी है भाई? तंबड़ी चमड़ी,
डरा क्या?
तंबड़ी चमड़ी कौन सा गाना है भाई? मराठी गाना अच्छी है। स्टार्ट हो गया, स्टार्ट हो गया।
To get into buy, we're gonna toss it over to Conky and Komodo.
And if you told me that we'd be sitting down the barrel looking
Let's
at the
go.
1-0 up to Revenant leading,
Let's go, we're winning this.
I would have called you
Let's
crazy,
play with
but
Boom
the
against
Revenant
tomorrow.
side, they are looking really, really fantastic right now. There's so much experience here alongside the new players from Kazakhstan, and I don't know, man, they're looking like they've got what it takes right now.
Absolutely. I mean, I've been so impressed
क्या
with
लगता है,
how
क्या
they
लगता है, क्या
play
लगता है, क्या
specifically from
लगता है?
Revenant,
We are
even in
winning
their
it.
loss against Impresa. I think that they're an exceptional binds team, so I'm really excited to see how Revenant are actually going to be able to maneuver around this map, if they're going to be able to win this close, you know, in this 2-0 fashion.
Definitely doable. And it would be quite a statement, right? You know, we've had limited 3 mappers and
Start
to have
karo,
another
kar
2-0, but in this way would be kind of
Ho jai
awesome for the
skills.
storyline, right?
Yeah. Oh, really risky from Skills, however. If you're isolated as the only B player right now, you're by
Oh,
yourself.
उससे SP कम
Be a
होता
little
है
bit
क्या?
more cautious. As the Sky have the spike outside of Hookah, creeping up in towards the showers as well. I like the plan, I like the strategy, but I feel like that's going to be the go time actually for Disguise to stretch it
What
out
kind
in
of
towards the
backstab
A
is
side,
that?
see what DOS9 can do, see if he can hold things down with Paradox.
Getting in spooky now, going to try and hard clear here. DOS9.
एक
ठीक है होता है।
Grumble. Now Grumble trying to
हाँ
get
क्या
into
मेरे को
the
पता ही नहीं
clear
था
position.
बेसुरु
He does manage to deny the wingman. That's massive.
ये तो
Very
latest
nicely
news
done
है।
from Paradox here. Now they
बीटा
have
से
to try
खेल रहा
and
हूँ।
get this plant down, but he's got so much to clear, so many angles to watch. Whilst the team comes in, what was that from
that?
Grumble? Nice little collateral headshot with the Sheriff. Now Vera walks on in, but Sultan's still alive. However, it will not be the Sultan swing in this time round as well.
Chat like करो, सारे मिलके like करो।
Live for DSG. Revenant started off hot, but unfortunately didn't quite get it through.
Yeah, it's one of these things as well where you do have Skills trying to bait out a lot of these positions, a lot of out of eyes over towards Hookah, maybe a little bit of utility as well.
Yeah, GG भाई, अभी एक
team to set up for the TP
तुम
through.
कभी नहीं
I feel like
सुधरोगे
at that
chat।
point in time they just relinquish a lot of
तुम
this
कभी नहीं
control that they were looking to establish around the A site with the eventual showers spot. You got a feeling that for a lot of this A site
GG
success
map.
for Revenant, they want to be gathering some information either in showers or up through short. where Disguise, you know, they're not really going to be meeting with that too much, right? So I kind of want to see how early Revenant can adapt towards that sort of situation.
His mid-walk spotted out by Vera, though. Sultan getting very, very bold and brave, trying to take that early control for the rest of the team.
Yeah, well, rotation's already starting to come back over towards this B side. Large footsteps actually from SK Rossi with the Dizzy available, shot immediately.
उसको sound आया था उधर.
So I do like the respect.
Map 3 कौन सी है? Bro, Map 3 Ascent है.
At the moment, right? You've got Sultan with that toxic screen just cut across. You can definitely play with a lot of timings and a lot of.
इस मैप में सेटल क्यों नहीं लेते? Actually जरूरत नहीं है.
Kind of staple defensive wall.
वो सिर्फ तुम्हारी ranked games में होता है.
So rotating back
Bro,
around.
team game में इसमें जरूरत ही नहीं. सेटल सच्ची बता.
DSG.
Rank game में क्या solo खेलते हो चाहिए भाई.
And SK Rossi is going to have a pretty tough time. Obviously, we'll have the Dizzy replenished as the wingman, but
bro, I like the
elbow, I think it's going to be
bro, I kind of like his fashion, yeah.
For Revenant.
Yeah, and I'm going to be
NGL, bro.
C4 Disguise if they're going to be able to hold this down in the 5 versus 5, because there's a lot of this flood utility that Revenant do have to be able to throw in towards this retake, even though it is with distance.
Information gathered onto Vera, but they're not really going to be too stressed by that. I think they can just relax,
That's
really,
right, man.
because look at the damage. It's always going to be a hard one trying to flood out. You know, Bind is one of those really, really
Bro,
punishing maps
अच्छी
with
थी,
the extremities, right? Going up against those pistols can be a real
Touch
challenge.
नहीं होगा,
Great shot
bro.
from DOS9. But Grumble will run on in, continuing that streak from the previous round, and DSG...
But क्या सीन है, bro?
भाई वो
when
लोग
you
का
go into the
execute बहुत
closing
strong है
player,
अब
pop
तेरे
to
को
the right
बिलोंग या
timing,
आपका रखना
that
पड़ेगा
K will get the better
या
of you.
फिर
But
पूरा
hey,
retake.
look, the first 2 rounds, we've seen a
Side
little
खेला
bit
तो
of
खत्म.
different deployments from Revenant on this defensive side. Now it's time to get into it, and I think it's going to be an important factor just around the timings on this Viper utility as well, and the combination with Brimstone.
वैसे Ascent हमारा
We've
strong
already
है,
seen
just
over on the Revenant side huge impact frags come through from the Kazakh boys. We're knowing how strong they are when it comes to a map
भाई
like
जॉर्ड
that
का
as
कुछ
well. So
लफड़ा
I
हुआ
think
क्या
if
हुआ
you're
है भाई मैं और
Disguise,
गोल्ड भाई
you're
लड़ रहे
kind of trying to figure out nice and early on, where is DOS9, where is Sultan, what's the timing looking like, what have we already seen on tape by a couple of key pieces of
गोल्ड भाई का heavy
utility
झगड़ा
in
हुआ
what the strategies are actually going to be.
क्या बात है.
So just taking showers, trying to sort of sniff out as much as they can, getting that little bit of additional control. Revenant still not super 100% where they want to put this third man, just sort of leaving it in rotation through defender-sided spawn. Spike still dropped, information trying to be picked up out of hookah here from Styron.
भाग जा.
There's a couple of individuals actually spreading wings around the
No,
map.
Ascent भाई यही खत्म करो. Bro ये थोड़ा
Juicy starting to peak a little
पता
bit
नहीं उस
over
दिन
through
वाला
showers,
नहीं दिख
but I
रहा है
believe
क्या?
that's already been spotted out by Paradox.
Ascent
So
उनका
you've
बहुत
got
strong है.
some
सच्ची में क्या?
starting to
रक्षित
make their
भाई.
way over to the A site from both sides actually.
Definitely looking like they're going to lean towards this A side here as well. So Revenant are set up as well as they can be. But now as it goes back, Paradox is going to have to fall back into Lamps. It's getting a little bit scary now. Vera looking to try and get his way into elbow as best as he can, but Paradox is going to deny. Wingman will be able to get that plant. Juicy finds another. But again, they're stuck here. 4 on 4. DOS9 will recover, getting into position. A little bit of a tag onto the member at triple.
ये
It's
crucial
DOS9
player
again.
है,
This man
RNT.
is such an animal with his multi-frag,
Nice,
with his
Rossi.
consistency. And as SK Rossi moves up short with his teammate of skills, it's going to be all on the Grumble, who can't quite
Yeah.
do it, as it is going to be again DOS9 with the multi-frag, with the 3K to bring Revenant out their first round.
Bro जितना
Yeah,
चाहिए
really good
उतना
left
round
flank
slow
come
defense
through from them
में
as well, when full
क्योंकि
focus is
attack
on the
में
Disguise
थोड़ा
members that are actually
casual
pushing back
होगा.
towards the back side as well,
है
right?
कि नहीं,
When
Jack?
you go for an overextension like that, you do leave yourselves susceptible for a bit of a flanking play. And it's even more extenuated by the fact that none of these teams
भाई
are running a
DOS9 को
Cypher
कोई
on
ना
this
कोई
map,
टीम
right?
लेगा मेरे को लग
Usually
रहा
your
है.
Cypher
G fighting लग रहा है
just
मुझे.
rinse and repeat for the
Chat?
flank watch, but these two teams need to be
अगर Ascension
extremely
NHK
aware
हो गया,
of positions around the
DOS9
map, more so than
कहीं और जाने
usually
वाला है,
you would
बढ़िया
come to
team.
see on this map.
Man,
फील आ रही है.
just so much to think
G
about.
fighting लग रहा है
And
मुझे.
sort of trying to refocus again, you know, playing that double
भाई
duelist as
sexy
he
खेलता है
mentioned.
ना लेकिन DOS9 यार
Playing
हाँ बे
that
मैं वही
kind
बात
of
कर रहा था.
individualistic
100
game.
years for DOS9.
It's going to be so tough to avoid some of these players from Revenant.
G DOS9 is actually pretty good. Yeah bro.
कहाँ से
This time though,
DOS9
Screen.
bro I guess
over to the other side of showers, I
Kazakhstan
believe.
से.
So,
Kazakhstan.
see what sort of differences Revenant come in with into this round, which is actually going to be a little bit
Seri,
strengthened
chat
by the
bata.
fact that you've got the orbital strike to
Muji
buy
kya?
a lot of time from DOS9. You've also then got on the flip side
Kazakh
Styron
से
with
ही है
that
सच्ची में.
Thrash. One of these ultimates in the game that have a lot of hate towards them as well, with how often you
DOS9
can get
import
them.
होगा. राज
So
में
there's
हाँ
some
import
patience
ही
though
होगा.
over on Yondo and the B side of the map though. Mitch's skills is taken out free of charge.
Just buying time
एक
now.
तरफ बढ़िया टीम बोल रहा है, फिर
SK
जी
Rossi
फाइटिंग बोल रहा है.
very
Just
close
saying
on a little
guys,
bit of
यूना
an
जी
island here.
फाइटिंग का क्रिएटर
These
है.
guys have
Just
done
saying.
pretty well to just
खुद
cut
की और
down.
को हिट कर रहा है. Just
SK
saying.
Rossi, one would be plenty here. They're going to send out the Thrash, and he will be able to destroy it. Throws down the Mosh, but now they're going to start to run their way through. So he's kind of isolated a little bit in Hookah here.
But it definitely
मैं
is time
कल
for the
फ्रिट्स
guys to
ने
make sure
पूरा
they
मैच
establish
से
themselves
बताया
a really
उनका
good
लास्ट
time
7
if they
एसेंट में
wanna
एक भी
see
नहीं
the
हारे.
lead.
हाँ क्या
How many
रक्षित भाई,
35
तो फिर ये
scenarios
जीतना
did we
पड़ेगा
see
मेरी
from
जान.
Revenant be won in the previous match, so I don't even count them out just here. Maybe now you might, with Paradox losing his life, but you equalize
आता है
a
भाई.
bit closer as DOS9. And remember, the plan actually hasn't gone
Spike
down
right
just yet.
down. Exactly right. They are still continuing to fight for this. If they can deny that, that could be a moment for SK Rossi, but they're going to let that spike get
Arre,
there.
Rossi
SK
bhi
Rossi
maar.
gets another. This is the thing. These
One,
4v5s,
one,
they
come
keep
on,
looking
Rossi.
for but Styron. Oh,
Nice
you
try.
thought there was a chance there.
Udai, idhar, udhar.
Absolutely. NT in the chat. Revenant almost make it work, but that's a much better result there from Disguised. They clear out the mid position, they get that opening pick onto skills, and they rotate around towards Garden. They send everyone in together, and whilst it was a little
info
bit
nahi tha
scrappy
kya
on the
uska?
side take, they get the
Chat?
spike planted, they get it down, and then they can defend that post plan with vigor.
Chat info नहीं
Yeah,
दे.
that's an interesting one for skills as well. When
ऐसे कौन pick करते हैं
मेरा
मेरा
teammates, it really is just a individual drive.
White swing किया क्या?
Nothing. No reward or anything. So I think you need to have a little bit of a thought process individually on those sort of scenarios. But I got to give good credit for Revenant on that attempt at the retake too. Great timings on the utility that they drop in, though. In the result of losing that previous round, definitely gives Disguise the opportunity here to extend really far back towards their home and showers once again.
Yeah. It's going to have to be so patient.
Sultan भाई एक हो
Sultan
जाए.
is in a very much one and done.
आगे मत जा
position.
सुल्तान भाई, अभी बता.
Obviously, Vera holding it very, very close.
Yeah.
The dimensional drift
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
out. They're going to spot out Paradox quickly, but he does jump the shoulder around. Vera's going to be able to find that shot now.
मैं बोला आगे मत जा. बोला कि नहीं.
Paradox is in such a bad position. He's going to be overwhelmed quickly as well, and now they flood on in from this flank through the TP, and Vera. He's
Bro,
doing big
गया
things
लग
here
रहा है.
right now, denying this
चार
counter
round ले लिया
of
भाई.
Revenant. They didn't exactly have the best weapon to go in with it, Komodo, but they've given it a solid crack. And unfortunately, it's DSG who seem
ये
to be
बंदा
a
तगड़ा है
little
यार,
bit more
हाँ?
reinvigorated as we go into the second map.
Oh, well, at least one on the escape for DOS9.
भाई
Feels like
मारता
he's
ही
always
है.
हाँ,
going
बे.
for one at least in a round as
मारता ही
well.
है.
भाई
Yeah,
सारे
so
गेम्स
far
मारा है.
establishing a pretty decent lead on this attacking side for
इसको क्यों
Disguise.
खिला रहे
We'll see
smokes?
if they can keep on doing that on the new gun round that'll be
एक काम कर.
presented, because I
तू
feel
उनको
like
बुट के ऊपर
for,
पैसा दे दे और बोल दे
for
क्या
our
खेलने
team
का है,
over
हाँ?
in
बात तो ये भी
Revenant,
है.
one of the things that was getting the better of both of these teams was stringing together a lot of rounds over on Lotus.
DOS9
building up a lot of the
T69 में
economy.
होना,
So
क्योंकि
if you don't
9-9
see
is
Enthoo
similar.
back here
Any
with a couple of
comments?
clean
Yeah.
rifle rounds, get back into this defensive side. I think towards one of their big successes over against
9-9
right?
is
It was the string of rounds that they were getting on this attacker side time and time
Hey,
again.
there are-
They were showing what's working on attack with this comp.
Actually, G
what is
fighting को
weak
T69
for the
team
comp that
ले
Rapid
सकते.
Lo-Fi in that game was deploying as well, right? So they have to be
Already
kind of
बाहर होके
careful
disband
Any
हो
now
गए.
comments?
being on the defensive side themselves for Revenant.
Already
What they're
बाहर
going to be
And
susceptible
Binks as the
against.
main entry fragger.
And I
I
think
guess
that's
can
this
be.
time out right now. You've got to figure it
अगर
out. You've
तू
got
भी
the
है
guns.
तो
You know
sentinel
that
तो ही.
you're being a
तो
little
तू
bit
अपना
weaker
नाम
on
टैग
these
एसिट्रल
individual
बिंक्स से
picks
जी
coming out.
फाइटिंग
You know,
बिंक्स
the
करेगा
tendencies
बे.
of the sky
बोल
as
दो.
well, not so far.
बोल दो, डन बोला इसने.
Control and appeal
अगर
back
तू
towards the
रहेगा तो ही
safer.
ना तो तू भी तो वेल्टी
मैं नहीं, बस मैं तो मुझे क्या, मैं तो वैरायटी स्ट्रीमर हूँ
Looks like
भाई.
there's plenty to
तू
say.
खेलेगा तो ही मैं खेलूंगा ना
Trying to get
मैं-
back because they do seem a little bit dejected
मैं-
here at
वो
this
मैं
point.
streamer
But
showdown
again,
खेलूंगा
you know,
बस.
they're a team that is
Rose first.
very high emotion, and we saw it towards the latter parts of Lotus early on that they were really, really
दोनों
confident.
fighting
They were
कर
really,
रहे
really
हैं.
cheering. So all we can hope is that this pause will allow them a little bit of a chance to get back into this one. Skies have got some momentum behind them, but they're
क्या
not
बजेंगे ना
too
अब?
far ahead of the curve at the moment.
फाइनल्स में T69
एक साल
वर्सेस
तक निकलेंगे वो.
फिनेटिक है.
Alrighty,
Any
well,
comments?
time
और
comes
मैं
back
और
into
बिंक्स
it, and
30
now
30
it's
मार के
seen,
बैठे
you know,
दो मैच.
previously
हम लोग
Styron
सिर्फ
with
पोल
that
डालेंगे
dash
और
to be
पोल का
sent in on
रिजल्ट
the
दिखाएंगे
attacker
उनको.
side. This time for
और
Ross.
बोलेंगे
Best of
He's got
five,
a key piece of ability.
दो मैच
Sultan's
मैं और
run
बिंक्स
away.
30 30
These
मार
are
के
the sort of
बैठे.
swing rounds where if you can navigate a rifle round with
क्या चाहिए भाई और?
one or two,
चैट
you
में
really
जो
start to
बारिश
build up
होगी
your
ना,
own.
जॉर्ज
I
जॉर्ज जॉर्ज.
like that skills has changed
लोग
to
का
just
और
use the
बंद
power
होएगा.
really early on and just
ये
dumping a lot of
क्या
this
है वीरा
utility.
Does he know? Oh, there you go.
He's
I
like
was gonna say,
600
what a little
गोली
bit of a
मारे
change,
उधर.
But now they've just completely funneled through. They're all going through the teleporter here, Komodo. Every single one of them is being absolutely ripped apart. Wayne
Rossi
walked away
थोड़ा
with
डर
3
रहा है
there
क्या?
for free. The second
रॉसी
they
सच्ची
got
बोल रहा
the
है, इससे
ultimate
बढ़िया ना उधर
chaos.
खेला है बे.
I mean,
क्या
Vera
बोलते हैं उसको?
rather got caught in the seas and then he shot the
Lock
ultimate
in.
side.
Yeah.
Sultan gets 2.
थोड़ा nervous लग रहा है मेरे को.
I actually thought that the Revenant setup there was kind of gold as well. When Skills baits out a lot of that ability, he looks to get himself out of dodge. He looks to entrap them and seize them for a double flood in through the teleporter. And everything is just missed out by the Revenant boys. I kind of feel for them in that scenario. On paper, that looks like a pretty...
And it was. On paper, 100% it was. But now DOS9 moving in. If he can clear out, there's a chance of one because they are low. Juicy, fully HP'd, but he is inside hookah right now. They have to play this crossfire. Does have the Molotov available. 2 Sky Smokes if he needs them. But it's just, again, such a hard position. So many angles to clear this. Juicy is going to be the one to take point. He does clear. And that's Juicy, who is so sharp. So he does rip the head off. There in the clutch. He's been so good in them. And Revenant can't keep relying on that. They need to all activate again, just like they did towards the latter part of that opening map. But look at this, Komodo. It's just so hard to break it down because they all try to make their way through the teleporter, but they got stuck.
Yeah, as I said, on paper, that strategy actually looks really
Kills भाई ये क्या है?
But hey, it's not over just yet for their defensive side, right? They've got another gun round to come into it.
सिर्फ हमारे players हैं, देखो 2-1-0.
What DSG are going to be able to throw into the mix to be able to sniff that one out. If they're sending in the wingman for a bit of reconnaissance, if they're putting in the boombot. Other than that, Juicy doesn't have his ultimate to be able to go in towards that pit, right? So it could actually be a really impactful moment right now for Revenant to get that happening, but... I mean, what do you do against that?
अब मैं समझा अन्ना ने क्यों फिलीपींस का टीम लिया.
One member solo towards B, just getting picked up, whether it be who.
धीरे-धीरे समझ में आ रहा है.
And it just makes it so hard for the retake and the defense. But at least
धीरे-धीरे सब समझ में आ रहा है.
SK Rossi, Paradox, the ultimate's up for Paradox as well.
Silence though with the opening frag for DSG.
Idiot बोला?
This is the time
किसने बोला idiot?
Revenant overcooked
Caster ने बोला?
a little bit with this deep pit up through A.
रजत भाई,
you do leave both of your control.
Sorry बोलना चाहिए इसको. रजत भाई, let's go. Let's go Indonesia.
Well,
yeah, what's the call? Okay, Crash comes
out. Yoru ने बोला क्या?
Hear the audible now, so they are knowing that it's not this position.
Yoru कौन है?
He's going to wait for the spike plant to go down before.
Yoru को voice actor कौन है?
Is this a save strategy?
I honestly wouldn't mind a save from Revenant to go at it again in the next round. Not gonna lie, the hunt isn't too sensational from DSG. I mean, you can sacrifice 2. You could stretch out to a 3 right now. You had the investment with the thrash as well, just to try and find it out. Now, guys, they know that there's nothing here. They know that it's going to be a save. It just gives Revenant the chance to go again, right? On the back of this round, they lose skills and they lose a pit. You've got another crack at it in the next.
4-man save, नया meta है.
I think definitely trying to see something maybe on a switch up of how they're approaching this B side. Has been very kind of solo dolo, and you know, once the second that Disguise get the opening pick, they can quickly kind of march their way.
Buddy, हमारे पास हंट था, why didn't we try?
वही मेरे को पता नहीं.
Well, that's 6 on the board for Disguise so far navigating this attacking side with ease. It kind of feels like a little bit a couple of elements where we've got, you know, as we've been saying on paper, really great ideas from Revenant. It showcases that they're a very well-versed team on bind, but there's just a couple of these moments where they're losing a pick really early on, and to compare it against the previous map, they were winning the 4 versus 5s over on Lotus. This time they're not winning the 4 versus 5s.
And right now, Skills and Paradox, who did have a fair bit of impact, especially sort of the second half and the overtimes.
Oh my god.
Yet to activate, so we can't have that slowness. We need to get them have a bit of a wriggle on right now.
Yeah. Some actual showers control this time from Revenant. Usually Disguised are the ones to lurk in through here, but they all turn their head towards greener pastures. Prowler's completely dodged Vera. I think he's somewhat aware of it here, Skills, and he will get the shot away. Yeah, definitely. When you've got a judge marching at you.
First kill is always special.
Great response there from Skills.
Well, this is the benefit of saving in the last round, right? You really do have a lot at your disposal for this round for Revenant. An opening kill for your player who so far had none. I was going to say was gorgeous, but Paradox caught lacking a little bit here to equalize.
Lag.
Really rough. But still a 4v4. Doable for both teams. Spike yet to go down, still making their way out of the showers. DOS9 in position, 1-2 away from the orbital strike. But it's all under Grumble's positioning here. They've sent the fake out through. They've just got to be so careful up in these close quarters.
Yeah, this vertical wall to allow pathway in towards U-Hole is always going to be one of those interesting ones. And you need to get utility in towards it, but so far DOS9 able to establish a lead immediately. Again, traded. Grumble can pit here.
Yeah, the shorty inside the smoke makes it work because that's DOS9 going down just before
हाँ ना
he
जरूर
finds
है
the orbital strike.
इसके
And now
साथ भी लपटा हुआ है ना
can pop that ultimate. Sultan has some good positioning.
Means
It looks like Wayne's already aware of it, already
Pair
ready
आपका
for
best friend है
this
ना?
lurk. He swings and he crouches underneath it. Great positioning there from Sultan. Now they can get a little bit of a move in towards the
अरे,
side. But
Red Bull वाली वही।
inside the pit. Snakebite will go in, but where's Grumble going to
इस
go?
साल तो
He's
एक
close
award
to
होना,
the side
mini
of
friends
Elgato.
of
Now
the
he's gonna
year.
get back in, finds an additional frag, make that 2, make that 3 under the wingman, but he is taken down by Sultan, and now it means that the Viper's pit will drop it with 1 bullet in the
क्या
chamber.
यार, one
Spyro
side
can
अब तो
swing
difficult है।
and find the additional frag.
कांड लोगे
It's
अभी मेरी।
DSG with 7 and Revenant just can't catch a break at the moment.
No, they can't, can they? When you think that these trades are going to keep on
मैं
favouring
सोच रहा हूँ-
Revenant,
इसमें मैं सोच रहा हूँ,
immediately they're
friendship
brought
day में
back
क्या
by
करते हो?
DSG.
नहीं
We
मैं
just
सोच
have
रहा
a
हूँ
really
कि
good
मैं
read on how this
unfriend
A
किया,
site is
सबको
maneuvering
friendship
and
करे,
being
तुझे
maneuvered
unfriend
rather
करूँ,
by
भाई।
the players on Revenant, right? You've
तेरे
got this
वजह से
wall,
ही हो रहा है
cut it
सब
out,
कुछ
you're
मेरे
working
life
Vera
में।
in, yeah,
Vince
the
भाई, आप
Paolo could
friendship
have
day में क्या
upset
करते
things
हो?
and could have actually given you some good advantages, but when the plan actually
Bangalore
goes down
जाता
and
हूँ।
there is the pit, you've got your sort of protocols
मेरे
still
best
being
friend के
established
पास।
by Revenant to get into it. It's just Grumble behind the pit, peeking in and out, layering them on the
Carminati, who? Me,
we like to see from him.
Here's a different change-up though. Sultan going to swing dry and he gets the opening pick as well. He
Carminati,
gets
Carminati,
info from the
who?
operator.
Amerena, who?
ये रूम वाला है उसमें मैंने भी बुक
But
किया
this is
है
the thing.
Sorry
You
यार।
keep spraying, and sometimes you get punished for it, right? Juicy
Yeah,
getting a great
मैं
response.
कोलू
Such
के
a good
नया
opening
show
there from Sultan too.
India
Yeah.
Scott latent
Really unfortunate for Sultan in that one because now you go from the
करे?
player advantage and
Tricks
you know
is the
pretty
only
much
threat.
nil space from DSG into an immediate rotation from the Revenant guys, just leaving SK Rossi on this operator line into
यार ये
Towers
स्किन
by
देने का
himself.
बहुत वो था
You
भाई
still do have a lot of this info clearing ability as well for DSG to still send in towards
यार
the
कल
site.
का वो
आप
शॉट
आगे
चाहिए
आगे
यार
सकते हैं
You can paranoia still. Now you can actually dimensional drift as Juicy's just picked that up. 40 seconds to go and DSG can posture for a pretty decent
यार
hit.
7 राउंड्स ले लिया मतलब बहुत डिफिकल्ट है बाबा अनलेस
Manages to
पैरा
get out as well.
घुस के ऐसे हो
Using the back of that
4-5
gate
मारा
crash, repositioning back towards A. It's just going to be SK Rossi and
India's got
having an
bund,
operator
Abe.
in tow.
पूरा
Exactly the
फार्मासी
best
है
weapon
स्किन
for it. So Juicy's going to pop that dimensional drift and go clear house. He's going to go straight
the-
into lamps first.
The only problem I'm seeing is DOS9 again with this orbital strike can buy so much time and then you can start to put down the remainder of your two ultimates on the back of this one.
Great
Jar,
shot from
Jar,
SK
Jar.
Rossi, able to hold on for now. Wayne finds it, 12 points as he moves through the dark
Thora
cover.
sa pixel.
Didn't even realize the man was up in heaven right now, but Paradox
नाइस
gets the shot,
Jar, Jar,
shoots
Jar.
onto Grumble, finds him on
उसको
towards
पता है
the
Nick
side.
left
That's gonna
में
make it a little bit awkward now for Wayne and
भाग
Styron.
गयो।
But Styron actually gets out. They managed to get out of dodge very, very quickly here, so it's an awkward 2v2
चल, बढ़िया
now.
खेल रहे DSG,
Back in the
यार।
showers, back towards short. So Wayne has used his utility to absolute perfection here. They're both going to have to clear up and try and make as much space of this as possible.
Bro,
But the
Wayne बढ़िया
paranoia
खेल।
is available, is in hand. Are they going to find anything
skills
off the
ऐसे
back
ही
of that
फेंक
crowd?
रहे हैं।
The answer is no. But now the information gathered. All he has to do though here is buy time. Wayne
हो जाए
continuing to
clutch।
shoot for
Come
to
in.
put the pressure on, and I think he has just won the entirety of the round here, Komodo, for
Vai,
his
Kachi,
team in
Patra,
disguise.
He's Batman,
Wayne,
man. I'm
what
telling
a
you.
king.
Individually, Wayne has just come up with some brilliance in that one, hasn't he? From the beginning kills to
वैसे बात
relocating
बताओ,
himself,
ये बंदा
realizing
कहाँ
that
से
there
है?
is someone up at heaven in Paradox from the
Disguised
showstopper.
Singapore
Could
से
have
क्या?
decided to not use it, hold on to it and stick with
Sure.
it, get a crossfire from your teammate in short, but just getting out there to play by the numbers, play by the time when you've got a paranoia in tow, you don't need to be the one to go for the peak in that scenario. Your teammate can, and that is
कहाँ
so
से?
cheeky from him,
अमेरिका?
just relocating nicely on this Omen kit.
अमेरिका से
Again,
है
I kind of feel for Revenant.
तो
right?
इसने
They're
इधर का
putting
टीम क्यों
themselves
लिया?
in these advantageous
खुश हुई ये
positions,
लोग, ये
just
मैं पा रहे,
individual
पता है क्यों?
heroics this time from Disguise
पिज़्ज़ा
getting
मंगाया
it the
मैंने।
better
अरे,
of them.
उनका
I was
Ascent
glad to
बहुत
say,
वो
I
है,
hope we get a
strong है।
timeout on the back of this one
किसी ने
for
बोला
them.
chat में
Just have a
7
good
बार
discussion, try and
जीत
convert
चुके हैं वो
this
लोग
in
ऐसे।
towards the couple of
History.
remaining rounds that we have.
Chat
Certainly the time is
बोलते
now.
हैं लोग
It's going to
history
be
is history.
potentially even harder as they switch sides
बात
and
तो
go in
है।
towards the
Deep था,
offense.
deep था, deep था।
deep
But look, still not done, right? They've still got another map in tow if they need it.
तेरे को कितना
Disguise
मार्क्स मिला था हिस्ट्री में?
Have kind of all
भाई
pressure.
हिस्ट्री में
and
मैं
eyes
थोड़ा
on
वीक
them,
था अराउंड
right?
80 शायद
Imagine
थी मेरे को
after
बाकी सब
a
90
very
प्लस
lackluster Lotus,
पक्का छापता था
where
ना?
you know it almost sort of felt like
छापता था
for
मतलब क्या
most
है?
of the game
Copy
they were
करता था ना
हाँ,
rounds ahead,
clean.
but the entire time it was just this game of back and forth where it felt like it
ये
was
जो भी जो
an
सूंघ रहा है ना
eternal
मेरे
tug
को।
of
दिखता
war,
था
right?
यार।
And ultimately,
मैं
in the
ज्यादा
end,
से
Revenant
ज्यादा
take it pulled hard.
मेरी कजिन सेम
And
क्लास में थे हम
It doesn't seem to be the way
तो
like this
उसको
at
बोलता
all
था कि
right
भाई
now
सब पढ़ाई
online.
करके आओ मैं
It's been a
बस
very clear advantage
Xerox कर
for
दूँ।
Disguised. And again, we know that Revenant
Legends.
takes to turn it around, but what is
भाई
going to
अभी
be
मेरा
the
हेडमास्टर
practice they put
स्ट्रीम
in
पे गए तो
to
कैसे
achieve
लगेगा यार
that
उनको?
command.
हाँ?
चलेगा हो गया अब फिर जेरॉक्स करके जेब
Yeah,
में
well, I
रखता
think
था क्या
first and
कैसे
foremost you
कॉपी
need the
करता था
the
नहीं
gun
बाबा,
possession,
वो जो
unfortunately,
लिखती
for
थी मैं
Revenant,
ऐसे
which
उसको
this
बोलता था
round
तो
isn't
ऐसे
too
दिखाओ।
promising in that regard.
पूरा copy.
You're not prioritizing on getting SK Rossi. A lot of these
Nice
thrashes
school
is your cheapest ultimate. Maximize that ability.
बस सोचो मेरे हेडमास्टर अभी चैट में तो कैसे लगेगा रे उसको।
मैं डायरेक्ट मोदी जी को
This is a bit
मेल
cheeky.
कर रही
Though,
Yeah,
double
Shit,
dive
not
throw
even
push.
headmaster.
सीधा
Again, just being held by
clip
मोदी
Juicy.
जी तक कहा रे बे।
I think he's going to get the shot.
कॉपी तो किया था
Great
भाई।
work from DOS9.
पुलिस स्टेशन भी नहीं
They don't need
गए।
to pick up anything off the back of that either.
एक बार मैं
Straight
तुक्के से
away.
वीएलटी के अगेंस्ट ऑफ से 1v5 कर दिया तो अब मेरा हर टीम के अगेंस्ट ऑफ यूज करूंगा। तू गया।
But they don't lose their life to Vera because generally I was going to say that's not a position that you're swinging for a pre-fire
Spray
for,
to
but the
deep.
wrangling of a stinger from Paradox there. A 5 versus 3 on a lesser
Mehta
equipped
साहब
gun round,
and the
4
chat.
rounds.
Professional hitter है
Massive
Mehta
to try
साहब।
and bring this
पानी
half back.
राउंड जीतते हैं अपन
Spike a long way away as well.
एसके रॉस का मीटअप में सब आएंगे लेकिन जे मेहता नहीं आएगा। तुम्हें भी पता है क्यों।
Space, find this control. Paradox very low, but it's an easy sort of retake in for Revenant at this point.
Oh, the timing. I thought Paradox was going to
देखा
have
भी
an
नहीं।
opportunity now for this guys to at least establish the spike. But I'm just noting that Styron is still nowhere near the action because they don't know if anyone is still hanging around the showers. Little by little, one by one, disguise start to fall. And now your attention for Revenant can actually start to shift onto the flank that's coming in from SK Rossi. The time that is above you
यार ये क्या
really becoming an issue.
ये
Skills now
Bruce Wayne
spotted.
कुछ भी कर सकता है।
Wayne has to throw the paranoia out and try and get his way in towards heaven. And he's going to be spotted out as well immediately by Rossi. So the mosh comes out from Styron. But again, there's just no time. It's going to be skills to get on the sideline of the race car peak. And Revenant,
Para का crucial
they're
एक
back
kill
on the
था ये shot।
board. They bring one through, and it's the second round in the 10th.
Converting after your timeout as well. Whatever the coaches have just discussed to them as well.
हमारे प्लेयर्स देखो वो
wonders,
ये
hasn't
2v5
it?
खेल रहे बे।
But I think the important issue right now
No,
is you're going to be
Boston
able to
को-
muster up something more on your defensive side
Boston
to
क्या
give you
flex
the
player है
affordance
क्या?
of a really strong attacking sided half, right? I'll note 9 rounds
Chat.
they were able to find against Rapid Lo-Fi on their attacking side, and then you shifted on over to the
मैं तो उधर Ross
7
को
that they were
alt
able to
करके
get
एक
for
को
their
knife
real
करना चाहिए
first showing against Sinpresa too. So you know that there's strength in Revenant's attack. You know that for this guys, they technically is also
Flex
done
है
enough
क्या?
on an attacking sided bind here to set
बढ़िया
themselves up
flex
for the
है भाई।
defensive side. Mitch,
G
an
fighting को
immediate
लेनी
change of
चाहिए
pace
भाई।
into the site, and now the players are stuck in shells,
Never mind.
none the wiser.
What a one tap from Vera as well.
Both
You know, to
these
get
are
the
good
line,
viewers.
to hit the shot is another thing. Now also
क्या
a second
भाई।
there picking up onto Paradox.
बोरिंग लग रहे हैं मैच।
So a little bit of an awkward retake to come through. They have managed to make their way out from defender side spawn, but there's a lot to clear. They do have the utility in tow, and it's going to be an opening there for SK Rossi. Can't get Wingman back.
ये गए ना guys ये मैच।
Going to be the Dizzy over the top. Just instead, now the Thrash engaged. Trying to bring that one out, trying to clear out as much as possible as it does go in towards elbow.
got both
And it
of them.
actually does manage to catch two, but Skills can defend. Skills, has he held on for long enough? Oh, not quite. He tagged up Grumble just enough to slow him down, but that was massive there
Boy,
in the
attack
end. I
man
was going to say, I
not
thought
only,
Skills
yeah,
had that,
bro.
but in the end, it's Disguise picking up a 9th round here.
चलो।
And now as we close
बराबर
towards
लिखते
the
हो
last
पहले
round of
round
the
में।
half, Revenant need to pick up the pace as we've been mentioning.
विश्वा भाई
There's
क्या हाल है?
been so many moments where it's just almost there, but the fact that the Thrash caught
ये
two,
मैप तो गए
so
पूरा
rough.
Talk about a pace changer though for Vera, right? Back on from the Neon on Lotus now, keeping up the
क्या
running
है
shoes
पैरा
on with this
ट्रीट है।
Raze as well, just getting
Yeah,
into the
I'm
site
feeling for
completely
DOS9 and
unexpected as far as
16
Revenant's concerned about. DOS9 be stellar with these sheriffs, but these rifle rounds, you know, a little bit here and there for him individually.
शॉट
Opening
Looks
है।
like a new round for
Off
SK
है।
Rossi, Styron down.
ये था
And you've also got
तो वो
the
भी मिल
showers
सकता
control
था।
on Revenant's side as well, actually. So
Come on, baby.
you should actually
Do it.
really get a wriggle on because that's the furthest away from where the action is if the TP's not hit by DSG.
जा जा कुछ नहीं होगा जा।
And SK Rossi wants to get this repeat back. He's already had some pretty good impact on the operator so far.
Yes.
And if he
Trust
gets
me,
into the
trust
line,
me.
Maybe there's an opportunity where he
काफी
gets
है।
this look at them just all tailed up, not wanting to peek at all. There's no real opportunity for them to sort of re-peek into this. The Dizzy will
Info
be
मिल गया।
destroyed, so there's the info there. And SK Rossi looking to get straight back onto that line, but on this get
जा, जा, जा।
there's not really any way to kind of get out of this unless he chooses to pop the Thrash. But
It's extremely risky to be that far in front as well when you still do have your Thrash on the operator line. You lose your life here in a 5 versus
Good.
3. That's the way that DSG can get back into a round such as this.
हाँ भाई, किसने
He's hitting
बोला?
the shots
नहीं
well
हो रहा।
fired very calm and collected. Except for them.
Yeah. I mean, look, we've already brought it down into a great position, so we'll give them that.
इसको बैकअप देना था रे उस टाइम पे सुल्तान को
awesome stuff done. It is just so interesting, isn't it, though, seeing SK Rossi lean onto the operator even on these lesser mobile agents and somehow still making it work in some pretty crucial opportunities. Great two shots. And then, yeah, really good pickup as well from Sultan to close out the round here. So 9-3. Curse
or war?
Sure.
I mean, one of the things that I was really excited about for Revenant's chances in this tournament was
I
was thinking, all right, they've actually got something to deliver into this tournament. People doubted if they were going to be the team from SA, if it was going to be True Rippers coming through who had a really, really good year. No, it was SK Rossi and Co to bring it forward. We've seen brilliance from DOS9, brilliance from Sultan. We saw it in the first map, then really delivering. But coming towards this one, and it feels it's just a little bit like the curse that is when you have a map and you play in 2 series, a really good showing against the team in the tournament. I'll add a start of that 1/2 because Asterisk is there too. And then you're absolutely dominating a team like Rapid Lo-Fi. You kind of know that your opponents, if you're going to be picking into this map, are going to find your weaknesses, are going to find where you're really vulnerable. And I think we're being shown that at the moment by Disguised.
तुम दोनों का शाम को walking था वो भी cancel है.
Shifted up on this attacker's side. There's still smiles from SK Rossi, as you can very much see, and they know that they've got this additional map, right? You know, they've got one more in the coffer that they can take it through. They can refocus and go back onto Ascent. It's going to be interesting to see if we do get that mirror matchup on agents, if we need it. But overall, still not done just yet. Pistol, second round bonus, I'll start believing.
Well, hopefully there's been a little bit of a discussion for them as well, and I think you're exactly right. That we need to see, you know, the pistol and the secondary round. Maybe not necessarily the bonus if you can answer back immediately after it. You know, we've got some stylistic differences in how Juicy should be playing this Yoro and will be playing this Yoro on the defensive side. You are running, you know, the fadeless comp, you're running on the Gecko, so it really is just the close quarters dizzy action that you're going to get some information for over at the side of B Long. So Juicy is probably going to be playing a little bit
में
more,
अगर RNT एशियन जीत भी जाते तो फिर भी वो लोग एक डिजर्विंग एशियन टीम का स्लॉट ले लेंगे जस्ट लाइक ग्लोबल esports और वैसे भी एवरी इवेंट ग्रुप स्टेज से एलिमेंट होना है यार जय मेहता साहब deep down we know you're right
Gives him a little bit of position, but obviously we've still got one more waiting in the wings, and that's Vera.
Deep
down.
down.
Get found though, and now Wayne, as he
You
does
are
get
right.
the old dizzy.
Very deep down.
Styron can join to help him out. Does get traded, but Styron another. At least it's traded though again. Now Wingman can look to try and find this spike
लेकिन
plan.
hater भी है
take point going forward.
ये ऐसे वैल्यूएशन नहीं बोला
far away from the action over in the showers crawl now to come back on over.
Please मत बोल इसके पास कुछ line up
Juicy with a blind side in tow with the ghost as well.
How do they
इतना भी सच नहीं बोलने का मैं
SK Rossi gets the
people
info.
will get demotivated
Doesn't want to be able to push back in though. They try to get back to Garden. Now they can get back to back here. Try and just look down forward. There's so many angles to clear here for Disguised. Now they get the info. Good shot connected on the skill, so it's all under Rossi, and he's not going to be able to quite find it. Grumble, he has been fragging up an absolute storm in this map, in this series in general. Lotus, he looked amazing. Still continuing forward. I'm buying. I need to see the frags now as we bring up the stats in just a sec, but that's 10 rounds for Disguised, and unfortunately, with that pistol gone, I don't know. I'm almost starting to feel that we need that third map for Revenant.
I actually thought that 2v2 at the end was more favorable over the side of Revenant because times are ticking. You've got no utility on the side of DSG anymore to be able to throw into it. I mean, I'm seeing a Prowler for skills, but it's the Dry Jewels that they decide to swing with instead. Use the Prowler as a nuisance. Use it as another distractor in the mix, right? It becomes a third body at that point in time.
No communication
on the back of it. They either destroy it or they get bit, then you swing.
G fighting Darky को क्यों नहीं ले रहा है? Free agent है वो.
Some chaos in the camp of Revenant.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Wayne able to only get 1.5 though. Quickly traded though again by big man Grumble. He's picked up the stinger even, but it's traded. That's SK Rossi getting it. So it's again a 2-on-2. DOS9 not exactly with the best weapon with that judge. But they still have to get the spike down.
Oh, it's all
buddy,
gonna come
buddy.
down to trying to get the TP
Buddy
get
to-
damaged out because now, look, SK Rossi is by himself, naded out. They can
Nice, baby.
They can overwhelm him, but no.
Oh,
Okay.
Mob.
सिटी से जाओ, कुछ नहीं होगा, trust
While the
me.
plant goes down.
Trust me, सिटी से जाओ.
How quickly can he get out? If he can get in towards
डर की
spawn
महंगा है
here,
क्या इसलिए क्या?
could be absolutely massive. He has managed to
डर
split
की
the
का भी
wicket
yes
here.
बोलना जरूरी
Skyro's
थी भाई,
gonna
ये
go
deep
for
था
full
राज.
straight through hookah. See if
Raj,
he can try and
that
beat
was deep.
the contest. Where's it planted? Very open. Wingman goes down, meaning he has to peek. He's going to get the
Wow,
dizzy
I
out as
like
well.
the
But
molly,
the molly,
man.
that might actually drop Wingman.
भाई, उसको
before
नहीं
he
पता है
gets
क्या
the
सिटी से आया
absolute
molly?
will.
वो लोगों को सिर्फ
So there's some
Dawson
great
का पता है.
utility usage here for
Molly
Revenant.
भी
They're
उसने
making a
डाला.
mountain out of a molehill right now. Really sort of tough, but Styron can connect with that shot. He's looking to go deeper, trying
Sound
to
दिया.
get it as best as possible. But Rossi has given
Sound
the
दिया
pace,
Rossi ने.
has given the position. Styron has to hit the shot, but the time is ticking. And it's going to be close, but I think he's just got enough time.
No, he got it.
Komodo. Yes!
मेरा हो
He's
गया
got
भाई.
it.
भाई इसने साउंड क्यों दिया?
नहीं, मेरा हो गया, मेरा हो गया,
उसको पता ही नहीं था
मेरा हो
का.
गया. मैच
Another
जिताने गया
round
मैच.
that goes down to the wire at the end of it on the back of this
Match
अरे
utility
क्यों
where
दिया
you've
इसने?
got
तेरे को
अरे
साउंड आया ना?
lots of utility usage to come out from DOS9. I mean, the fact that he
दिमाग
manages
मत
to
लगाने
maneuver
का.
out of this tricky location over at the A site where he is left in a position that if he loses that duel, the round probably does go over, right, to the opponents. But Styron, 2 1v1 fights in a position against SK Rossi that was not known, right? He could have been going for a massive flank. SK Rossi didn't hit the TP. He didn't reveal his position when that was coming forward. So, I mean,
क्या है चार?
oh, well.
It's just a rugby.
Yeah, it's a rough.
बोलते ही मारता है.
As for disguised, we now
नहीं,
see a map that's
नहीं,
right
short
next to
करने,
Revenant.
बैठने का
The amount
बस.
of 1v1s that's come down to, it's just tough. But they're tough, they're resilient. And that's why even if this map goes by for the skies, we'll still continue to give it a bit of a think because that is going to be the Thrash coming out. But Styron will protect old mate in Juicy. Grumble does manage to get another one as well, continuing his tear forward. The Thrash goes out again. But look at that wrap in. That flank from Sultan, absolutely huge. This surely Komodo should be around guaranteed by Revenant.
भाई अभी भी comeback हो
Rossi
सकता है.
finding the frag from the position, but it's
11 है. 11 में जो stuck होता है ना,
again to secure the round.
Step bro stuck वाला
I'm
सीन
looking
होता
in the
है.
midst of that as well when the Thrash actually went off against Juicy.
पैरा क्या
Going
कर
for
रहे
the
हैं?
knife in that situation, trying to get close. That would have been unfortunate for DOS9. 4 bullets in the chamber. Okay, must have just run out to pull out the sidearm to get out of dodge in the open. Understandable.
भाई
that
last
is
round
the case,
जीत
but
जाते.
at the end of it, it's as you mentioned for Sultan
Last
and
round,
DOS9
Lodi.
again, man. These are the two players that have
Bobby,
really been leading by
jail
example
जाता
for
बे.
Revenant in a lot of these rounds, be it
बोलो का
by
नौ
deficit
था,
win
69.
or by loss as well, to try and carry them forward. And now that was the bonus round coming in forward for this one into a new round where Disguise
ये
are
क्या
pretty
था?
मत कर skills, मत कर,
the
मत
time
कर.
for Revenant to get back into the map pick of their choosing.
Wayne though
क्या
and
चल रहा है? मैं
Juicy.
कुछ
मैं
मिस
पैरा
कर
से
रहा हूँ
घुस
क्या?
रहे
I
हैं.
feel like if Jinx
पैरा को एक ही कॉल है भाई, घुस जा.
gets
Maybe.
the paranoia out, dodges the Molotov.
ये क्या
Judging
चल रहा है
hand now,
भाई?
Grumble getting another.
भाई ये तो
I
हम
feel like
हारना
he's just repeating this
चाहते.
game.
ये हारना deserving
Groundhog
करते
Day.
हैं.
Rossi does manage to drop one with the mosh, but Juicy picks up another. That Vandal recovered.
ये
Just
हारना
makes it so
deserve करते
easy.
हैं.
And Grumble with this sheriff. Guy's a bit of an animal to be honest. 12 rounds now secured for
भाई
Disguise.
बहुत ही गंदा
They've been
खेलते
willing
हैं
it
भाई.
forward for
झूठ नहीं
Revenant,
बोल
but it's
रहा
just
हूँ
not
मैं.
quite working out for the Indian side at this point in time. South Asia's
एक
pride.
साथ लड़ने का ना.
But, you know, you've always got to consider what's in the back end. How many strong teams come out of the Malaysia-Singapore region,
Tilted बोलो
Komodo.
का पता नहीं, मैं tilted
Some of
हूँ.
them at the tippy
मैं
top
भी
of the
सारे
world
tilted है
stage.
भाई.
Players का
सारे.
पता नहीं.
I mean, we saw exactly in the previous series between Red Alert and Naus, right? The first map being OT extravaganza that we got here as well. The middle map that was Lotus back then was a 13
Niche के पैरा से यार,
This
race.
one, look, if it does end here at a 13-4,
थोड़ा कुछ
the
slow
final
वगैरह
map was
game
an
है कि
absolute
नहीं?
nail
नहीं है
biter.
पापा,
So
वही
if we're along
problem
the
है.
same pathway, if we're along the same script, Ascent, the same map, might still deliver us
अब
something
ये लोग
really,
control
really
लेंगे
close.
पूरा.
Seen some banger Ascent games so far this competition, haven't we, Komodo?
डॉसन एक मारता है.
Going tit for tat, 1 for 1. But they've got to overwhelm again, Grumble. SK Rossi's up close. The rest of the team don't really seem to be super keen to make it around.
ये
because
टिबुन भाई
they're still
अन्ना ने
letting
सही किया. बाहर
Xbox
इन्वेस्ट
kinda
करो
sit out
इधर
Hooker at
बस
this point in
ब्लेम
time,
गेम
but he's
चलते
not
पिंग
finding
लोड़ा
anything.
बीसी. मानस भाई.
Yeah, it's going to come down to a moment here
Any-
for Revenant to get a player
any
advantage.
comments
If
about
finding
Manas
either
bhai ka?
lane in hookah,
Comment. Chat, तुम्हारे लिए एक mic दे रहा हूँ. बात कर.
or if you are trying to find Grumble playing back behind the triple, that is your avenue to get into water. But hello, Sunshine
Classic
Juicy
Jordan,
on the
please.
ultimate side.
He's just gonna
together a
chase
lot
him.
of this information.
मानस भाई ना मान रहे ना, मानस भाई ना मान रहे मानस
Going to spook him for a little bit. Now Juicy back into position, back on this B site, trying to lock it down. This is exactly where Revenant are going to try send what could be their final round.
मानस भाई भी hurt हुए believer
If you
है
want to break into what's this B-side of Revenant,
ना मान रहे मानस भाई यार, गाली दो उसको,
flashing over
चलो
from SK Rossi, and you're sending Paradox's util with a haunt in. You're actually
ये क्या है?
your utility to flood the site together.
कलर चेंज करनी थी उधर डब्बे का.
Absolutely, Sultan finding a real pearler there. Paradox narrowly missing, but does manage to take down Juicy in the end. So it doesn't look like it's over just yet. 2 versus 4, and the pit's going to be
Oh my
Sultan
God,
as well.
what was
Great
that
shot from
shot?
Grumble, taking down SK Rossi, but he's going to be so low in this pit now. Sultan can just continue to kind of control the pace of the round. Wayne also looking to join, but it's all left on to just one.
Go.
Just
one round at a time. I guess we can still do it.
And it's going to be Viper Diff in this round specifically.
नहीं, मुझे नहीं लग रहा होगा ना. इसमें comeback difficult है ना chat.
Yeah, well done this time for them to be able to break in. Once they get control of the site, and they've actually got, you know, a couple of these key locations already sniffed out. They know.
Ross भाई को बोलो प्रीमियर के लिए T2 NHK. आकाश भाई आप बोलो ना, मैं नहीं बोलूँ.
Yeah, with a little bit of awkwardness, managed to find those first 2 opening kills for sure. But then they deep push with the pit, right? You really want to be forcing Disguise to go through the pit before they can have a chance to take any of the battles. So I really do like that from Revenant, but you look towards the flip side, and you're still seeing, you know, a pit online for Grumble.
तुम किसी के supporters नहीं, मैं बता रहा हूँ.
And that pit
तुम्हें बस मजे ले लिए.
immediately down from Disguised. Fade Prowler already in showers as well, so you don't actually have that to be used to start to gather some information for a pit.
इन्वेस्टमेंट सब कंट्री में करने का क्या बात बोले आप. मेरा सच्ची में मन है ऑस्ट्रेलिया में करने का. बहुत महंगा है.
Now it's going to be the ultimate, the showstopper going.
Yes,
they spot
nice.
Grumble, yes they do. So
क्यों बाहर आया वो?
get 2 there, but at least the pit is dropped, and that gives an opportunity back to Revenant.
They're none the wiser. They are none the wiser of what Wayne is doing. This is new tech that he hasn't showcased to us so far in this match. 1. There goes the spike as well.
चलो भैया, map 3 Ascent. क्या लगता है Ascent?
1 versus 4.
Clutch time, Dust9.
हाँ छोड़ दे भाई, ये map छोड़ दे.
Unfortunately, it's going to be your head clean off your shoulders this time. Wayne making it work. And Disguised, as I said, after a very scrappy Lotus, a very real uncomfortable map that we've witnessed.
हाथ दे रहे हो,
They do
free हो रहे हो.
clear it out. You've got to be happy if you're a Disguised fan right now. But for Revenant, you sort of caught reeling a little bit because, you know, the first map was such an interesting one. It really sort of put the spotlight on some weaknesses of Disguised. And
ये आर्टिसन खराब होता है ना अगर इसमें कैरी नहीं गया तो.
Individual consistency to find those impact moments, but this time it's just a completely different ball game.
Bro, उनका मैप ये लोग मारे, इनका मैप वो लोग मारे. क्या से?
Moments of brilliance. How many times they go down to a 1v1?
इसलिए Ascent है ना तेरा ना मेरा.
But yeah, just much better from Disguised this time round is all I can really put it down.
नहीं रे, उनका बहुत strong मैप है Moon Republic.
agree with you, and I think
अभी तक एक भी नहीं आ रहे लोग.
as well. I think there's a lot to pick up for the successes of the side of Revenant, but more importantly for somebody like Skills on the
Rossi
roster
का
at the moment,
jet हो
backing
जाए,
towards the kind
डरते.
of position where he is on an island by himself
हो
a lot
जाए.
of times, and that
Let's
was
show them how
used
it is
by
done.
Disguise. You're looking how they're actually maneuvering around the map.
Rossi में हो जाए, dead jet है Rossi
to
का.
mitigate
है.
Skills' utility. SK
मैं
Rossi
बोल रहा हो
is
जाए.
the only round really that we were showing SK Rossi actually deliver something was when he had that operator, right? So I think you're looking
Chat,
at it. There was a massive
सच्ची में जीत सकते हैं अगर रॉसी ने VLT वाला सीन वापस किया ना Ascent में.
also exploit the 2 maps that we've
आरसीबी
already seen come through from
एंटरटेनमेंट
Revenant.
करते हैं ये टीम डिप्रेस.
Absolutely.
ऐसे ना
With
बोलो यार,
all
एक
the
मैप
Disguised
जीते यार
camp this
कामिकाजे
time
भाई.
round, There's still plenty that they need to go through and kind of break down to make sure they can.
डॉसन डोलिश नहीं है बाबा. ओ मेरे जान. भाई वैलोरेंट जापान में पब्लिक है रे बिंस. हाँ
हाँ
जो आज देख रहा था 40,000 व्यूअरशिप.
एसेंशन वाला ना.
हाँ
सब जगह है कि एसेंशन वैसा वाला है ना जो जीतेगा वही रिप्रेजेंट करेगा. समझ रहे? दैट इज लाइक अ मिनी चैंपियनशिप ऑफ रीजन्स.
और उनका टीम भी बहुत स्ट्रांग है भाई. आज मैं देख रहा था उनका मैच, क्या खेलते हुए.
ओ न्यूस वाला.
हाँ तूने भी देखा क्या?
हाँ देखा, पूरा देखा.
क्या खेलते हुए वो लोग. You won't be able to check from your side. कितने अच्छे वे ये लोग। स्किन क्लब की टीम। ला 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 ला
ला फर्स्ट ब्लड ज्यादा है विच इज अ गुड साइन।
किसका? ठंक टक डा।
भाई डोमिनोज से अच्छा गार्लिक ब्रेड किधर भी नहीं है।
ब्रेन, तुझे ये जरूरत नहीं है, उसके बिना पानी से भी तेरा ठीक हो जाएगा। ये सब जंक आने से तेरे को लगेगा कि भाई चाहिए चाहिए, लेकिन ये जरूरत नहीं है तेरे लिए। एक आदमी की भूख सिर्फ पानी और बेसिक खाना से ठीक हो सकता है। पिज्जा विजा से कुछ नहीं होगा। That's how I control, baby. That's how I control. Easy. आज चीट डे हो जाए, कल रात को ही चीट डे हुआ था भाई। बिरयानी मत लिखो बेंचूत। ब्रेन को ऐसे गंदी चीजें प्रोसेस ना करिए। पीछे टीवी के वॉलपेपर वो PS5 है। आज कुक ने वो बनाया यार, क्या बोलते हैं उसको, छोले भटूरा। चलो करते हैं इन्वेस्टमेंट ऑस्ट्रेलिया में। ब्रिज भाई बहुत महंगा है यार, भाई सोच भी नहीं सकते। मैं सोच रहा अगली बार जब जाऊंगा उधर मैं पार्ट टाइम वर्क करूंगा, उबर इट्स, मजा आएगा, उसका व्लॉग करेंगे, मजा आएगा। एक BMW कार लूंगा, उधर सस्ते में मिलेगी, इधर उधर घूमेंगे। अगले साल मैं ब्लॉगर बनने वाला हूँ फुल टाइम।
क्या अंकी फोटो खींचा पाएगी?
अंकी देखो आज तो रूम से बाहर नहीं आएगी, वो कंफर्म है। आज लैंड होते ही कल शाम को बाहर आएगी रूम से।
इधर है, कभी 29 का था उसका।
आज तो पॉसिबल ही नहीं है। कौन कौन गया? अंकी, फातिमा और कौन?
पता नहीं।
चैट किसी ने कुछ बोला नहीं क्या, कौन कौन जा रहा है? हाय अन्ना, हाय प्रवीण, हाउ आर यू? लाइसेंस कैसे लोगे? इंडियन नहीं है ब्रो, इंटरनेशनल लाइसेंस चलती है उधर, मतलब इंडिया लाइसेंस चलती है उधर। हेलो RNT जी हियर, वी आर वेटिंग एट द एयरपोर्ट, डोंट बी लेट। MSP गेमिंग कूल बन गए चैट में। ओ ये ಹೆಂಗಿದ್ಯಾ ಕಣು, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀನಪ್ಪ। आपको कोई कुछ नहीं बोलता है क्या? किसको भाई? मेघना बिरयानी, मेरा ब्रेन प्रोसेस नहीं करता ये सब चीजें। सोचो बाहर जाके पानीपुरी खा के आओ आज शाम को। चैट में सीधा रात को ही आऊंगा, ठीक है? बेस्ट है। लेट्स प्ले सम ओयो टुडे। लग तो नहीं रहा जोड़ गैंग होगी। लेट्स चिल एंड प्ले ओयो। ये oh my god, we have a gamers group association today. ग्रुप गेम का सीन है क्या टुनाइट? बनाते हैं प्लान। ओके कल करते हैं क्या? माई पीसी इज बीइंग रिपेयर्ड, यू इन पिको पार्क। पिको पार्क कौन खेलते हैं यार? चैट अच्छी गेम है पिको पार्क। किसको महंगा लगता है? क्या सीन है आजकल? 2001 का सुपर चैट आ रहा है। डू यू वॉन्ट टू गो टू 2001? लव यू यार, लव यू। ओपी हो जाए चैट में, ओपी। प्रिजी भाई आप इस महीने इतने पैसे दिए जैसे 167 नहीं $190। इस बार आईफोन आपके नाम से ही लूंगा, मैं सच्ची बता रहा हूं। ऐसा आईफोन लेके ब्रिज भाई ने दिया है। लव यू यार। पिको पार्क 2 आया है, अच्छी है गेम। मैंने 1 नहीं खेला इसलिए। क्या होगा भाई? हे एलजी, ऐसा नहीं होता क्या? मैच स्टार्ट कहां पे स्टार्ट नहीं हुआ? ए पिको पार्क नहीं रे बाबा, पिको पार्क क्या है? खेला ही नहीं ना। पिको पार्क आउट आउट। Baby wanna earn it tonight। ओयो प्लीज, रात को ओयो ही खेलूंगा और क्या। फ्रेंड्स तो है ही नहीं कोई। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर हैविंग मी। NMIMIS हैदराबाद। ये क्या होता है चैट? हॉरर गेम चाहिए रात को? पागल है। पिक्चर ऑफ टोटल डोमिनेशन। चेस जीते क्या इंडिया? कोट। चेस में फुल डोमिनेट है क्या अभी इंडिया? कल आना कल। वो भाई हाँ चैट। इफ नो जॉर्ड गैंग देन ओयो। डन शुभम, आप जो बोले वही है भाई। पूरा डोमिनेट है क्या चेस? गुड। अब लास्ट मैप का क्या होगा यार?
टिबन भाई, ओ टिबन भाई,
तुम्हारे दिल में है तुझे हो मेरे सनम।
ओ टिबन,
कोई अच्छा वो डालता है। ये देखो गाइस, इसमें रिमोट देखो, माउस जैसा। ये देखो, देख रहे हो? सही है भाई।
Rick Vasani donated 1001 rupees through Super Chat. Nalo 16 kuch change na ihai humne tolaliya.
ना लो 16 कुछ चेंज नहीं हुआ है, हमने तो ले लिया। मतलब ओ ऐसा बोल रहे हो? 16 प्रो ना लो 16 कुछ चेंज नहीं हुआ है, हमने तो ले लिया। हाँ क्या 16 प्रो मैक्स बोल रहा हूं मैं? प्रो मैक्स लूंगा नहीं, भाभी जी को बोलूंगा ना फ्री में। हम थोड़ी लेंगे, उधर सस्ते में मिल रहा है ऑस्ट्रेलिया में। 90,000 16 प्रो, 1 लाख 16 प्रो मैक्स। तो मैं इधर क्यों 40,000 ज्यादा दूं भाई?
In the first place, Paradox gonna be
अल्ट्रा वॉच भी लूंगा फ्री में भाई। हम कुछ नहीं करेंगे भाई। हेलो हेलो,
मैं डेजी सपोर्ट कर रहा हूँ भाई।
देखो रोहित भाई, दाल में खिचड़ी है।
for the gate crash or cause a little
Deadlock
bit of
देख लिया
chaos
मैंने,
that might
मेरा हो
be the
गया।
openings here for Revenant,
हाँ क्या?
especially when you look at DSG, how they play the ISO. When you have Juicy getting the kill contract, he'll find a good angle to use it from.
Baby, baby, baby.
Game, our final map of the day. We're gonna head into Ascent between this guy and Revenant and toss it on over to your casters one last time, Honky and Komodo.
Thank you so much, Mika. It's a pleasure to be here at the end of day number 4 for Valorant Ascension Pacific. It's been a heater so far. And Komodo, we talked a little bit about it versus Naus and Riddle. It was the same old composition. It was close, but now we get something a little different, a little spicy for both the
मैं
teams.
डीसी के साइड पे हूँ भाई।
वो डॉस ने वो लिया भाई.
नाइस वन वीरा मार.
गाइस थोड़ा ओपी लिखो. लाल आया है, गुलाब आया है. चैट में 2 कोड़ी का आइप नहीं है.
Back in action.
स्ट्रीम तुम कर लो, चैट मैं
Take
करता
this
हूँ.
one.
हो गया
They
तुम्हारा.
cruise on around. 5 versus 4. A little awkward. Rotating
तुम्हारी
back
Ryzen की
around,
240 Hz
trying
टीवी
to
अच्छी है क्या पता नहीं
look
यार.
forward to see what they can pick up, because the rest of the Skies, they're relatively unmoving here. They're not super stressed.
थोड़ा साइलेंट है क्या कास्टिक?
No charges left.
Nice shot from Vera, starting us off strong, looking for a couple of more. I like the double swing out from them in this
Double swing
CypherLock
अच्छा.
comp as well. I want to see how far they're going to be able to actually stretch now that they have lost off 9.
ये क्या
Getting the
कॉम्बिनेशन
paranoia
है?
out straight away to try and buy some additional time.
Deadlock
Styron
or-
finds another one, so they're going to be able to slot back into sight nicely. Just Paradox and
30
Sultan
seconds
left
left.
in tow. Wayne's going to be spotted out. They give away the information just a little bit, but they have to be so careful that they avoid the scan here. They're just still sitting inside this dark cover, looking to get that fake plant as the dark cover fades. They get the
Para, come on.
Paradox.
Let's do it,
He
Para.
can find 2 here. It would be on for
ये
the
क्लच
ace.
देखा है मैंने
Clutch here
कहीं.
coming
शॉट्स
in.
में देखा है.
Doesn't really have much utility to worry about, but it's just going to be walking straight into the crosshair. Great pick from Juicy there. I was willing it. I wanted to see it happen. But Paradox unfortunately couldn't quite convert, and that's going to be
13-0 वाला
DSG.
क्यों मैं हाइप क्यों करे? पैसा आपको मिल रहा है. राहुल भाई इतना सच तो नहीं बोलने का चैट.
A near winnable scenario and a 2 versus 4 into the 1 versus 2 at the end. Just a couple of extra seconds, he might have been able to sleuth his way in back sight. I got to say, for those opening engagements as well from Vera, really needed to try and set up Disguise for the beginning of this round. One of the key pivotal things that Dax was mentioning as well, right, is you actually kind of want to see what DOS9 is going to be able to do. on
WhatsApp
your
group में क्या
incoming
गोरिल्ला डाल
all
रहे हो?
these pieces of util, specifically GravNet lineups on Paradox to set DOS9 up for a combo with a flash in, TP past the GravNet.
क्रिकेट मैच की कास्टिंग हो रही है इधर. भाई मेरे को भी ऐसे लगा.
I was
मेरे को
looking
भी
at
ऐसे
Revenant
लगा.
and how they were kind of meandering around the map when they were using the ISO in combination with skills as utility, and I loved the combos that they actually had for a lot of counter utility control over at A, so they'll still kind of look to see what they can do, I'm hoping, but on for Disguise, they're actually doing exactly what I'm talking about right now on the ISO composition, so
एक ही
it's
shot
the
है बे.
standard kind of setup that you'll run when you've got the ISO on this map.
Trying to wrap around now. It's a good position to hold again, but the fake out is destroyed. Styron already finding that opener. So really just business as usual here for this guy.
गए क्या
Rumble
chat?
continuing his
घर
streak.
क्या
This
आज?
man's a bloody demon on that sheriff, hey.
Thank you for the 100 baby.
And another one from Juicy, just looking a bit too easy right now. He's going to clear on in, should get the blinded shot. The double tap re-secured as well, and he just needs to check left on the way through. He spots out DOS9,
Match
and
kill,
Juicy
man.
is looking way more
Hashtag
activated
OP,
here on this
hashtag
ISO now
OP.
on Ascent.
Yeah, I
Saale?
mean, that's going to be one of the important things when you are a team
मैं
that
इसका आधार
is
कार्ड
so
check करता हूँ,
well
रुको.
rationed in wanting to
Where
play on the
is
double
Binks
list,
from?
you kind of have to get both of them
Singapore?
activated. More often than not, we've
साले
seen
तो
kind of
सिंगापुर
big
से?
teams do well or Juicy. So the fact that they're
Bangalore
already
करेगा.
getting off at the gates really early on
इसलिए
is,
वो
is
support
going to
कर
be
रहा है.
something nice for them to continue to go. I'm looking
Singapore
over towards
streamer,
what we can see in
SS.
this gun round now
भाई,
come up
वो
in this bonus
एक,
round from the side of
वो रहता
Revenant.
ना,
You've
win
actually
rate.
already got the annihilation
Deadlock का
on.
win
So
rate
I wouldn't
कितना
be
रहेगा
surprised
pro
if we've
team
got
में?
some really
पता
cool
नहीं यार.
exploitative play to rely on.
भाई
that
मेरे
fucking
हिसाब से
run before you
defensive
go into a
base
bit of
लिया
a
इन लोगों ने,
cross-play
defensive
from
base.
Get deep in, combo with Sultan on the paranoia, but
ये
it's
trade
not
लेना
really gonna work
जरूरी
anymore
है.
if you've got a mid duel that you're playing by yourself and you lose it.
At least it's a trade 1-for-1.
TbOne भाई RNT प्लेयर का रिटर्न निकाल.
Sultan obviously a
क्रोजा
very
भाई बहुत
impactful member
टॉक्सिक हो
last.
यार.
Door's going to go down. DOS9 going to try and get into position. Grumble forced away, but also
चैट
caught by the
मेरे
scan.
हिसाब से
Now wants to sort of try re-peeking towards here. as best
डिफेंस
as he can.
स्ट्रांग है.
Ooh, a bit of a sneak up from Grumble as well. He will be able to sneak by a couple of them. A little bit too little too late for DOS9 to get that audio cue for him.
Definitely. Too focused on setting the sonic sensors right.
Yes!
Oh, he does pop the annihilation. That's big. But they're not going to be able to... Never mind. Will they be able to destroy him? It looks like they absolutely will. Styron gets it, but SK Rossi gets
भाई
one
इसको
back.
कुछ हुआ है.
Now Rossi, skills. Has to try
Bro,
and find the clutch
क्या
here, but Juicy's gonna be
खेल
absolutely
रहा है बे
glorious.
Juicy?
That was a bit too easy of a retake, I'd say, there for the Skies in this kind of quasi-bonus round. Nicely done from the Singaporean
Come on,
side
mate.
as they secure a third.
हाँ?
Yeah, you
Valor
got an
में सबसे
operator
लड़ने
coming
agent
into it
कौन
as
सा
well.
है?
It doesn't really stretch into
भाई
a
मेरे
normal
को
bonus
तो
round, does it,
deadlock
right?
ही
When
लगता
you're able
है.
to just find that and still gather impact You got some util that you can set up from your team, but more importantly, Disguise didn't give any breathing room.
Chat तुम्हें क्या लगता है? L agent एकदम
deadlock. You want to see for a player like Paradox.
वो वाइज से भी इतना कास नहीं लगा.
He really will have to have impact with these barrier measures, with these grav nets, and importantly the sonic sensors as well. By the way, that shot from Siren, absolutely ridiculous when you're stunned. But these are the things that you need to kind of be really adaptive for when you change up your composition into a map like Ascent that is, you know, one of these maps that have had the same composition for so damn long.
Great catch.
Sponsor TV ये वाला.
But yeah, just
ये वाला baby LG है.
Crazy. Now Vera spotting out Sultan. I don't know. It's looking a little bit disjointed so far.
Gaming मजा आता है. Gaming
makes
मजा.
me sad because we've seen such good signs, but it is still early days, so I'm not going to call it. Not going to worry too much because one team's kind of failure in a way is another team's success. Like if Disguise is able to win by absolutely pulling apart Revenant, I'm okay with it, right? Because it means they've got some serious momentum into the rest of the competition.
Yeah, for sure.
GG है यार, हाँ ना.
Just got to feel like for Sultan at the moment. Try not to lose your life at the very beginning, especially when you got these rifles, right? That's 2 in a row now that you've been gone, and it makes it more difficult for your team to go for a hit together. You are really more relying upon something from DOS9, an overextension and an overwhelming force. You've still got 2 players here from Disguise with some great set of utilities. I mean, you're going up against Rumble on Cypher. He's so proficient on this agent for a specific reason.
Yeah, traps
everything. Already getting that spot, already getting that info. Juicy bringing one in towards the kill contract as well.
क्या हुआ?
Did he got the just die in the middle of it? Yeah, perfect. I love that. Didn't even
क्या हुआ?
notice. That's great. What a play.
Buddy?
Good bait out of the utility there, but SK Rossi 15 seconds.
अरे उसने उसको फेक को लिया क्या हुआ?
Astar will close as well. So
Buddy?
for Disguise, money's looking pretty decent.
ये अल्ट में क्लोन को लिया क्या? पक्का?
The damage is being done by Revenant at the end of the day, but you know they're making their way towards some ultimates.
Comedy.
वही टाइम पे अल्ट मारा तो
from the
क्लोन
blades.
को लेता है वो.
And for Revenant, unfortunately, they're just still feeling the financial woes right now. Of Disguise just putting the pressure on and playing some pretty decent Valor, and it's locking them out and making it really hard to get into these rounds.
I remember when, you know, ISO kind of first came out, one of the picked up
for
the fake out to try and get them. That wasn't even really the full intention of DOS9 at that point.
First half में ऐसे system होनी चाहिए. First half में change करो ये.
You're throwing it there to be a distractor to get in towards the site. So for Juicy, it's just a little bit funny that's how it
Airport लग रहा है chat आज. चलो इस साल भी हमारा उम्मीद गया. अगली साल तक पब्लिक भी बोर हो जाएंगे लग रहा है हैं? क्रिकेट थोड़ी है कि भाई हर साल देखेंगे. धीरे धीरे कम हो रहा है चैट. पहले स्टार्टिंग में कैसा था बीएलटी वर्सेस वो पूरा ओपी 30,000 अब हार्डली कितना जाता है पिक
Or is that 2-3,000 Juicy instead? But that's okay because again, it's just another.
अगले साल भी कुछ नहीं होगा
They're kind of just holding W a little bit. They're feeling a bit more comfortable. This is kind of more what I was expecting from them as we came into this competition. But they've been picked apart by a couple of these other teams.
Absolutely. You're gonna have to see a little bit more coordination.
और मत हो जाओ अभी बता रहा हूँ हमारा वॉच पार्टी का क्या होगा यार.
Cypherlock combo. You have to kind of
ऐसे उम्मीद में रहने का चैट. We can do it.
Situating with his team, right? You have to have some important layering down on these.
उम्मीद में रहने का. We can do it. Come on.
You don't really have, you know, the smoke ability that the Jet will be offering to you to get into the site, which we'll see when the change up is there, right? You kind of do have to have a lot more priority on this utility getting on through. If you're the hard part is actually
Valo mobile GG hoga.
If you are in there and you're allowing, you know, your deadlock to set up these sonic sensors, you're allowing your team to just set up properly for
Gordon versus Soul in Valo. इसका लगी चल रहा है अरुण का.
Over to the fact that Disguise,
अरुण भाई थोड़ा rest ले लो यार.
Feels like to me have already recognized when they see this comp that is
Valo mobile मुझे नहीं लगता था इंडिया में आएगा चैट. आएगा क्या?
Seeing these mid peaks work.
Tencent gaming है.
For them early to see if there's any tendencies that they can exploit over on the side of Revenant.
Chat difficult है ना Valo mobile.
Really like to have one player.
Valo mobile उड़ेगा अगर आया तो. बीजेएमआई को बीट करेगा लग रहा है.
When you're on Disguise, you're already just being given these win factors by Revenant. You're laughing.
सारे legends आएंगे वापस.
Pressure, you know, calling for those pauses, trying to get the conversation out nice and early. Because it is rough when you feel like you start to lose it out a little bit in the agent selection.
अगले साल तक शायद भी आपकी स्ट्रीम ही ना देखूं. ऐसे ना बोलो यार ललित भाई.
right? You can't exactly look at every single agent composition unless you're playing 4 or 5 duelists, right? Then it gets a bit concerning. But it's not like every single change is a bad one. But this time right now, it is looking like it is a bit lackluster, as you mentioned.
Just again,
रात को ओयो होगा क्या डन कोजी आपके लिए स्पेशल स्ट्रीम टेंसेंट का है इसलिए मेरे को लग रहा है
There's just no way that you're getting past this brutality. Such, you know, kind of it is a kind
What
of
if Free Fire audience comes to Valo?
but when you
कर
find an
सकते
opening pick,
Valo मोबाइल आया तो जीजी है
by
भाई
the way,
Yeah,
it makes
that's
it
what I was about to
so
say.
difficult. So
सबसे
difficult
गंदा
for
प्लेयर मैं ही होगा ना
everyone
वैलो
to
मोबाइल का
lost
इंडिया
on.
में मेरे को लग रहा है
Such an impact player.
जो पीसी में हमारे वो थे ना गोट गेम प्ले वो मोबाइल में नहीं दिखेगा मुझे नहीं लग रहा
It's rough.
Although,
As I say that.
when you can get back into this, and now if you know don't have smokes, you're going to use the dimensional drift to try and put
Plus
together
one,
some
plus
sort of
one.
information for your
Facts.
team to get back into it. This is
but
ambitious.
Vera,
That's
did
so
he just
ambitious.
pop it?
He did
popped the
too.
dimensional
भाई जो ऑलरेडी
drift, yeah.
प्रोस है
It's gone now
मोबाइल
completely.
में स्काउट जॉनी वगैरह भाई डोमिनेट करेंगे वे वैलो मोबाइल गैरो वैरो इधर उधर करके
We'll go up. We'll try and hold on for as long as possible, but it's immediately deleted, denied.
मुझे तो एल भी नहीं पता है यार
And now
मोबाइल
you set yourself up for the post plant where you've got skills on 100.
मेरा देखा है ना तुम लोगों ने उस दिन बीजीएमआई गेम प्ले बॉट भी डर के भाग रहा था कि भाई मेरा क्लोन वर्जन कौन
Just going to start to run on in from here. It's going to be a thing of where Revenant, if they can hold on for a little while longer, they may be going to be okay as Revenant. Paradox gets another. Taken down quickly by Grumble, who is on in this flank. Again, getting in towards the site, finding that position. Hunter's Fury now coming out. It narrowly misses the target. And as it does start to shoot on now, he's just looking to tag it up, and he does get taken. Yeah, what? They've got no time, it's fine. But that's rough way to go. Around ring with 0 alive.
It was part of the plan.
Not only that, it is a little bit unfortunate that you tag the opponent with your Hunter's
Crowd
Fury
भी
and
इतना
then the bolt
अच्छा नहीं
just
खेल
goes
रहा
in
है
towards your
क्या
teammate.
बोल रहे हो
If you're SK Rossi, all you
अच्छा
can do
खेलता है
is
भाई
laugh that
इसको
off because your team got the win in one of the most unfortunate circumstances. Because
Chat,
it's what you
main
mentioned,
सवाल ये
there's
है,
no gun surviving.
क्या
You
हमारे
have
PC
not
के
built
pro
up
players
any
mobile में
economy
switch होंगे?
going into these rounds as well.
Isn't that
You're down
concerning
by
सवाल?
skills, get majority of your utility back. I do like individualistically
कितनी
that
साल
Paradox
प्रो
has the
गेम
back
प्ले
line up
एक्सपेक्ट
the back
करके
of the
हगलिश गेम प्ले देके हम लोग को 3x1 तो गेम में प्रो बनो
There's a lot of research into what
सिमुलेशन गेम में अच्छा खेलता हूँ भाई श्रेयस
executes, but
है कि नहीं चैट
allowed to just set them up cleanly.
It's just crazy, isn't it? Like, you're versing the most elite aim crew at this point in time. Wayne has been amazing throughout the entirety of this series, right? There's been no doubting that.
जब आप किसी का छुपा लेते हो तो किसी को कहते हो क्या
But Wayne
क्या
has been
चीज
all
जब आप
reliable,
किसी
and
का
then,
छुपा
Vera
लेते हो
and
तो
Juicy
किसी
coming
को
through
कहते
on
हो
the top in their time. Vera has been absolutely popping
फिलहाल
off
तो
here.
नहीं
You
oh
can
shit
just tell how calm and collected he is. We talk about Sultan
क्या
dying
लैंग्वेज
first.
है ये उर्मिल
Now
भाई
he's
फ्री
alone
हो
in
रहे
1v5.
Yeah, well, let's see if he can bring out some vintage gunplay. I think
GG
he's been
mate, GG
really
लग रहा है
absent on this map so far, and I don't even think really that's too much of his own credit, right? Because he has just been isolated in some of these unfortunate scenarios by himself, whether it be top mid, whether it be through that Hunter's Fury combination with the rest of the utility from DSG. Just 9 times out of 10, the way Disguised are finding these
free
open
हो रहा है,
kills
हाँ भाई।
literally are the round deciders, it feels. The first few moments, and it's kind of too difficult for Revenant to get
चलो
back in.
भैया मिलते हैं अगले साल वॉच पार्टी
Cruising on up. Does get one. Again.
Buddy.
Spikes in hands. Does have the from the shadows. Vera's going to connect anyway.
मिलते हैं अगले साल वॉच पार्टी
Nice, easy
हो
shot
गया?
there.
अंकी
So
का
the
मैसेज
jet
आएगा
on
किधर
the
है उसको
operator
बुला रहा
again,
हूँ
continuing this charge.
अंकी को बोला आगे से राइट
So clean with it
फ्लाइट
as
में
soon as we've swapped over here, Komodo, to the map of Ascent. And
सीधे
every
इंडियन
single
ओशन से
member
सीधे
has
इंडिया आने को
a
बोल
link
अंकी
of the
packing कर रही है,
frag
इतने जल्दी
department,
return कैसे
but I'm
आई वो?
pretty sure it's like 7 to 9, you know, through the whole thing, right? Every single player.
क्या मतलब अंकी
getting
सिर्फ
their
शॉपिंग
picks,
करने का ही
getting their
बाल
shift, getting their rotations. Okay, not quite, but 4 to 8
Yeah.
I think is still a pretty good disparity, right? Because 7-7-8-8 is not bad at all. And Wayne, his 4, an extra 2 was off the back of that opening pick too.
really disappointed to be honest I want them to better yeah bro
to
Rishabh
be protective around A main. You're backing it up.
Bro,
with
first
peaks
map
through
अच्छा
main
खेले
as
यार
well,
अब।
utility
ये
combinations with
क्या
undercuts
है?
at the beginning and
क्या
delayed.
एक ही मैप के लिए डिसाइड
It
करते
really
हैं
makes
क्या
it
लोग
difficult for Revenant
Bro,
to
मेरे
get a
हिसाब
good
से
sense of the
actually
split
एक
over
मैप
towards
होना
A
चाहिए
as
था
well.
आज।
You know, SK
It's
Rossi
really
playing
unfair to
work
play 3
is
maps यार
telling
they'll
us
be
earlier
tired
on He's really happy to be switching on to
Come on,
the
यार।
Cypher role as well to be able to play with a little bit more of his individuality, find a
क्या
lot
रन
more
कर
of his
सकते हैं
individual
आज
timings.
कुछ नहीं बाकी है
It's just completely been null and void.
बेस्ट ऑफ
in
1
this map.
चाहिए भाई
for once we actually at least don't get a death.
हमारी रैंक गेम्स में 3-4 से मिलता है क्या? नहीं ना भाई.
Around where you're
Then how can you decide?
So how do you still get back in towards this one?
क्या करे यार, कुछ तो बहाना देके सब.
Walking straight
राघव यार
into it.
ट्वीट करेगा.
Just
मुझे
not a
लग रहा
care in the
है.
world, is there?
Step
Full
aside,
comfort
Valor
for the
nerds.
skies.
Let me show how to watch RP clips in
Like they're
Discord.
not working together at this point in time.
मैं
Maybe
गया.
the last couple of rounds have gotten to them a little
Step
bit.
aside, Valor nerds.
Managed to
Let me show you how to watch RP clips on Discord.
Even wants to get out. You know, he was on for a bit of a fragging round, bit of a highlight moment, but he's playing it smart. He's playing it well.
OP TbOne by OP.
And they're going to be coming this way anyway because look, Wayne's in trying to get a peek.
Sorry.
And now they're just going to have to walk straight out into the crosshair of Vera, hey?
It certainly is the numbers game, but this guy's the
What a
it's
shot.
always together in numbers and backing out when you've got the advantage.
Home ground advantage है.
I mean, again,
क्या home ground है भाई?
so you pick up a
सिंगापुर
little
की
bit of
टीम है.
slack, a nice couple of shots to come through from the Revenant
भाई
guys.
इंडिया में होता ना भी यार.
At the end
जीत
of it,
जाते.
another round over towards Disguise, who have just not been dislodged.
नया बहाना
Where
ढूंढ
Revenant
रहा.
have had really any
पुराना
advantage
बहाना
so
कैंसिल
far.
हो
This
चुका है.
has to be the round where you're converting
क्या
it over.
score है
Try and
सबका?
follow in the ultimate orb in towards Paradox. Go in with a from the
एक,
shadows.
दो,
idea
दो,
for
छः.
information. Get the annihilation working.
Is it pin
You
code
gotta
of Jakarta?
get some early
1226?
information, but you're just not dying in the first couple of seconds.
स्कोर देखो उनका एक-एक का.
Yeah, definitely right. I don't know, man. It's just so hard to kind of ponder
अच्छा,
about how
अभी
they can
देखा.
change this. You know me, I'm the most positive guy. I love an
Yeah,
underdog
yeah,
story. I
yeah,
like to tip Revenant to win
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
You know, I've got a little bit of confidence given by one of their previous
1226
matches, and
pin code है क्या बोल
I
रहे
don't know
हो?
now. It's just kind of not happening for them. And when you're looking at it,
काहे
and
हो
you're
रहा है?
very much trying to understand the macro
ये
of
क्या
what's
कॉम्पी?
going
इससे
on,
बढ़िया वो ले
there's
लेते
just not
डबल
much to
कंट्रोलर
go off
कॉम्पी.
of what Revenant are throwing, and they take another pause to try and have that conversation. Hopefully they can work it out here, because if they don't,
चल चलो अगले साल मिलते हैं. होगे इस साल की वाच पार्टी, ठीक है?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say it again, right? I was so extremely excited for this series getting a
भाई,
bind
कैसा ना,
map to
लेकिन
be
मैं
played again
Deadlock
because
देख के
of
मेरा
how I
आत्मा मर
love
गई
the
थी
way
यार.
that Revenant attacked it against Rapid Lo-Fi, how destructive they were in the
पसंद ही
beginning
नहीं है
against
बे.
Sinpresa
बस
until
22
Sinpresa
लेता तो
actually
भी मैं बोलता
realized
था, वो
how
बहन
they
से
needed
ठीक
to come and play to
Rossi, वैसे
exploit
वो
the
जो
strengths
PUBG
of
खेलोगे?
what Revenant were, which, you know,
वो
every
ले
team
लेते हैं.
right? We didn't
उसका
see
ulti काम
on
क्या है?
towards bind because the Skies have done their homework in towards it. You think about the first map, right? You think about
श्रेयस
all these
पटगिरी
deficit
भाई, thank you
conversions
so
that
much for the
Revenant were
20
able to
rupees. ये
pull back.
क्या नाम है? पटगिरी.
Skies were dropping a lot of those
यूनिक
rounds,
नाम
right?
का.
Where is all these?
ओ यो रात
scenarios
को मेरी
right now?
जान, अब
What
मैं
is the
जाके
Skies
लंच
figured
खाऊंगा.
out
तुम
between
लोग
the
आराम से
first
पिज्जा
map
विज़ा खा के
into the
बैठते
second
हो.
and third now?
भाई ने लंच भी नहीं
Completely
खाया.
just pushed Revenant out of this server.
ये क्या
That's what
400
they
dogs
need
then,
to
भाई?
really have a thought of right now. And I mean, you're going up against
Wait, Rossi का भी
opposition
forward
that,
मेरे
you
जैसे ही
know,
चल रहा है.
was kind of expected, right? There's been 5 times that this comp has been played
एक
by the
मस्त
side of Disguise.
एक
So you've
मस्त
done your
ओयो
homework,
का
you've got
thumbnail
your
बना के दो
history
ना
on
Discord
how
में
they
रात
like
के
to
लिए.
play around
Love
this
you
map.
chat,
And
love
so
you,
far,
love.
nothing you've employed has worked.
मस्त thumbnail बना के दो ना please. Please love.
Tricky
Post
situation
दे
to
दूं,
be
post
dealing
दे
with
दूं.
in a
अभी
reality.
नहीं, बाद में देता.
We are going to have that time tick down and reset in just a second, so it's a very, very quick start in the round. It was a late timeout called on the
9-3
pause.
Ascent में बाकी है.
DOS9 this time has been
Ah,
given
9-3.
good control.
Score ही 3 नहीं जा रहे.
Well, if
9-3
they
बोल
start to
रहे.
extend over through mid, though, you do have that pizza camera that
Table
Rumble
board
has
में
set up,
score
and
3
you've
नहीं
also
जा रहे.
cleared all of the mains.
By
So you've got to
time
consider
से
for Revenant, do they take
मिलता है
this main space?
specs.
Do we think that they're going to
Spam
go in there
पर
for a bit
साला
of a crunch
हम
stopper?
भी
There's
कहे
one lane that's been taken for control
हफ्ते
for the
हर बार
Skies as well.
ऑपोजिशन क्यों
Meanwhile,
नहीं लगता.
Paradox
4
on
साल
by
से यही देख
himself
रहा है. हाँ
over
ना
there.
ब्रो.
So if you're
अब तो
Revenant,
मैं भी
you
बोर हो
actually
गया भाई.
have
नॉक्टिक्स वाले
a
सच्ची
really good
बता.
idea that you do just want to go in
सच्ची
for
मैं
a
भी बोर हो
restart at this
गया.
current time.
हो गया मेरा.
I don't
This
think
might
so.
be my watch party, last
You
watch
have to
party of
reset
this
a
year.
minute on the clock
I'm
now.
done.
You need to dislodge Vera off this
अब तो कुछ
line.
है भी नहीं, वो अलग बात.
And really, the only way is a good blind side. You've already used that fake
हो
out.
गया
Or
भाई
you're
साल का.
cloning him off, darting him off.
स्प्लिट 3 वगैरह देखना है तुम्हें चैट. इंडिया में जो मैच होने वाला है स्प्लिट
Yeah,
3.
absolutely sends him back to 1. And he's going to actually try sit here because it looks like
Split
Wayne's going
3
to join him.
देखना है
The
या
other
फिर
one's going to be
कुछ
taken out.
बकचोदी
Also
games
both
देखनी
flanks.
है.
They don't know that he's there. That's a shot. DOS9 down again.
पोस्ट दे दो
Has
सच्ची
been
में.
limited in his impact this time round. Him and Sultan have just not been able to go on the tear that
भाई
they did
क्या
on Lotus.
insane shot मारा बे उसने.
And with 30 seconds to go, yes, you do get your annihilation.
तीन भाई ये
Paradox,
जी
you've
वाला
got
कोच
no
देके
reason
पता
to
चल
worry.
गया था.
He's coming to DSG as well.
Legend in the
And that
chat.
Annihilation goes out, but it's Vera to get another shot. And he wants
Oh,
to
full
pop
cam,
it.
full cam.
Goes for the blade.
ये round खत्म हो गया.
Annihilation is still holding on, so it looks like he is ultimately going to go
Full
down.
screen कर कर दे
see.
डन डन
So an opportunity back now. They do get the catch on the sonic sensor. Grumble, Star, and last two
ये round में
standing
उम्मीद
in
है
this
थोड़ी
3-on-2 situation.
थोड़ी सी उम्मीद है
It's going to be a toughie as they try to clear this out and shoulder it.
ये round में थोड़ी सी उम्मीद है
साला आवाज ग्रम्बल ने क्या बड़ी
Available for Sultan as well. Drop it at the one way or just for the time to be bought. Grumbles to get on in. The trades are here, but
there we
Paradox
go.
says no, a 4K. Yes, finally,
क्या
we
लगता है,
get
Sam
something
भाई,
back
come back?
for Revenant.
Are we back, chat? We're so back. That's all I'm saying right now. Massive, though, individual performance from Paradox, who stands so far above the rest of his team. 10 and 8 on this deadlock. He's caught a couple on the Annihilation already so far. The sonic sensors under heaven have been really, really well placed. But overall, I don't know. It's just been so hard when the rest
Bro,
of the team is
Coldplay
lagging behind a little
tickets,
bit,
but
that's
आपके
great
बबला
shots
play
from Paradox.
It's funny because it's one of those ultimates as
Gal
well
to
in Annihilation that if you see an opponent, you can ricochet it off a lot of these positions on a map like Ascent to be able to catch your opponent. I mean, you can grav net them first as well, you can recon, you can drone. Like, there's just so many different angles that you can play it from. So I'm surprised that Paradox has unfortunately been able to miss a couple of them in this map.
तंदूरी
to
चिकन
get
किसने
Revenant
लिखा
in. But where needed, I mean, look, in the silver light, you've got a 7 to 5
ऐसे ग्रीन
possibility.
चटनी डाल के
Definitely so. You'd start to believe then a little bit more utility. You know, the
जरूरत नहीं है
double
ब्रेन
sentry
पानी से भी
makes
काम
it a
चलता
much
है
more challenging approach for DSG. As now DOS9 takes that control. He will be vulnerable by the undercut, but he's looking to get in towards position. Wayne needs to overwhelm. They've got a really good scan here. Wayne's going to be able to pre-fire, but it doesn't quite connect for him. Skill's able to find that frag. Vera, though, repositions, gets one, gets two. Somehow, Vera's still alive, but he's taken...
नहीं हो रहा है क्या ब्रो
the same fate.
भाई
Revenant. Okay.
भाई 5 राउंड भी हुआ ना काफी है
So much
Bye,
better
come
from
back,
them
दो
in
round
this
और
scenario
निकालेगा,
as well.
दो
Right
round
now.
भाई मैं बता रहा हूँ है
Lock
सीन है
down bottom mid, so no one dies immediately. No
भाई, मैं तो
positional
भाई
advantage.
4 भी चलेगा लेकिन
कर रहा हूँ।
5 is recommended as per the experts
मैं support
in
कर रहा हूँ
towards this
Revenant
site.
को।
A missed shot on that operator as well, but you don't get hesitant.
Bro, मैं
as
बता रहा हूँ,
Revenant
Para,
when
come on,
see
you can
those
do it,
bodies
babe.
there, and when you see that you're still smoked out of
हो रही है
position,
slowly
you
हो
work
रही है
कर रहे हैं ये
together
लोग
as a
अभी।
unit when the
Time out,
smoke
time out
phase,
चलेगा।
everyone knows what angles that
डर
they're
गए
actually
क्या?
watching. You don't even have a priority to get the plant down at that point in time. It's just making sure that you're putting the containment field around
नहीं
the
बोलना था
site
आपको?
because you
ठीक
already
है, मैं
know
बिना interest
that
देख
the
रहा हूँ,
guys
ठीक है।
have gone for these rotations. They
क्या
already
यार,
are there as
boring
quick.
है,
And if you're
क्या यार?
fumbling to get a spike down when there's still
क्या
a pretty
कुछ नहीं
decent
कर
amount of
रहे
time
हैं,
left on
क्या
the clock,
यार?
that's
RR
what
करते देखो।
upsets you. So Revenant, they're not shaken, I feel, just yet. That
इससे
round
बढ़िया
shows
सुरवे
you-
खेलता है कहाँ भाई
Good time for attack timeout though, right? You know, not
क्या
that they're
यार,
string too
कुछ
many
नहीं कर
rounds
रहे
together.
यार,
That's
क्या
only 2 in a row
भाई,
that
भड़वे
they
ने
found,
बोला
and
था
then
pin
coach
code
calls
लग
the
रहा है।
pause. Perfect time to just reset.
I
I
am
don't think there's
sorry,
really
Babu.
much that needs to be said for Disguised on how we reapproach the changes to the positions or, you know, switch up the macro. I think it's all going well for them. It's just that Revenant have managed to find
Comeback नहीं होगा, अभी time out होगा, G वाला coach कुछ
not much more other
हकाने
than just, all right guys, you know, we've missed a couple of shots, let's reset.
मेरे को भी जब मैं कल बोला था ना आर्यन भाई कि इसको कहीं देखा है तभी चैट पे बोला सेव
is resettable on the back of this
एक्टिंग के नाम पे सच बोल रहा है अरे राज भाई इतना भी सच नहीं बोला
that
था
Disguised are going in with these
क्या
Odins and
खेल
these
रहे हैं?
operators every
नहीं
single
होगा
time.
भाई,
They
क्या
want
कर?
Vera to be propped up on his favored weapon here because there's not too much of a
Sultan
shot
भाई,
that Revenant can throw at him. You're not
और
running
DOS
the
को क्या हो
camp
गया?
alongside this over here, right? So you are actually having to put a little bit more bodies towards these duels.
Look at this. DOS9 just straight in there this time. Looks like the rest of the team are going to at least try to follow, but Wayne
Come on,
Rumble
Rossi,
able
two
to
more
find those
kills.
openers. SK Rossi does get the trade, but Vera able to find
अरे
one
clutch
very,
देखा
very
है।
quickly, and now it's all in a Paradox who's going to meet the same fate
क्या
as the
round
rest
था
of
भाई?
his team. A little bit rough
Deadlock
there,
ने
you
देखा,
know, we're
last
just kind
में
of
क्या bowling
marching one
डाली?
by one through that dark cover and straight into the open arms of DSG.
अंडर ओवर
The pause does exactly what they need.
ये
but it's a
गया बे,
shift
ये
up
गया।
from Revenant in their approach and what
गया
they
रे।
wanted to do and how they
Under
wanted to take
one
the
dollars।
fight, and it didn't quite work out for them.
ये गया
I'm just trying to think to myself as
I'm
well how long
sorry,
has SK Rossi held on to this
ये
rule for
क्या है
not a lot
भाई?
of locations that they've actually been able to drop that one
इससे बड़े
down.
मेरा कॉल है
Had
मिड
a
चलो
couple quick rotations though from Disguise over to
क्या
the B
smoke
site.
के
When they
अंदर
went to the rift,
जबरदस्ती
essentially
दूसरे-
was ripped. They immediately booked it over. They knew that there was no fake being sold. They knew that's where the round was eventuating. Now we got the 9 looking to be
Boring
down for
matchup
Disguise,
how
but
the
a 4
pie in mud.
desperately needed
Eight.
for Revenant.
8-4 भी करे ना अच्छा रहेगा
Aldrin up over the top, trying to get that extra info. Here's the
Oh
double
my
tap. Now
God.
there's the kill contract going out. Who does he find? It's gonna be
Nice.
Skills. who does actually get the catch.
Hashtag
Just 9 will be flashed away to fake out.
Nice
He's
three.
actually gonna get that again.
8-4 चलो
Grumble, good for the trade. But now
बोला था
Subjects
अरे
will
अरे
be
भाई
caught the neural theft, trying to get some further information. Styron getting another.
जब
in
भी
the
ये
process.
टाइम आउट लेते हैं मेरे
But
गुस्सा
now
आता
they
है
are
भाई
only back into this 3-on-3. So Revenant, despite having a good start, Grumble really making it hard for them.
Wow. He has an off. How can they do
I feel like that was a bit of an overexertion from him as well because there's nobody surrounding A. You've still got Paradox alive as well. With a full set of utility, you can buy so much time with a wall up towards
क्यों नहीं हो रही है बंद?
Sonic sensors in your
दरवाजा क्यों नहीं हो रही है बंद?
door though, however, not shut. Already gone. That one way though.
I like that. I like that.
That is actually
Yeah,
a key piece of
Yeah.
utility
I like this
by
one.
time for Paradox to set up this user.
And Paradox again, he's been such an important member of the team into this one.
Clutch
They're just watching
easy.
the line for as long as possible, trying to see if it gets
बोलो भाई
shifted
इवेंट
out.
भी देखना पड़ रहा
And
ना
just
प्रॉब्लम
trying to
वो
fade
है
out that sonic sensor as well. Styron, he's got so much to do here,
Yeah,
and it's
catch eye
awkward
over.
as well. As that goes out, it's going to be Vera to hit the shot. He waits long enough for that smoke to go down. Now it's all on
लग
Assault.
गए बे
Sitting under hell, just continuing to hold. He
पूरा
has to
लग
try
गया
clear this up nice and high, and it's just so tricky. He gets off it. Can he go fast enough? No. Oh man, the merit there for Vera.
यार।
Sultan finally gets an impact round there.
मजा
with
ही
the
आ
3K,
गया
but
देख
it's
के।
not enough when the spike gets diffused anyway. But all I'm saying is, Komodo, 9-3
कॉमेडी राउंड थी
first
भाई
half, defense side
Oh,
of
wait,
Paradox
focus.
roster. Can we play the narrative? Can we play the script that way? That's what they gave us.
I mean, I look at it for what we saw in the, we'll call it the minute
Fine,
gameplay
double sentinel
occurrences that we saw for
सबसे
Ascent, for Split 2,
strongest
Stage
defense.
2, for
अब हाँ, वही।
the attacker
अगर
side
ये
was
लोग
their
ने
more
दिखा
favoured
दिया,
side.
तो मैं
We know
खुले
how
आम बोल
proficient
दूंगा मैं
Disguise
चूतिया।
was with that 6-0 unanswered flawless
भाई
run on
डबल
Ascent.
सेंटिनल है अभी भी होप्स है
Throwing up more than 70%
Hopes
of
है।
rounds gathered on both
9-3
sides.
भी है।
Statistically,
रॉसी भाई का पता है 9-3 में क्या करते हैं
time
रॉसी
that
भाई
Revenant need to come through. And I also think about
पहले
in
9 होने
that
तो
2 versus 2 scenario as well, right? The
Chat?
distractor that
Sorry,
Dart
sorry,
actually
sorry.
plays for to allow the operator line for
9-3
Mira to
है।
just get held, right? You can see Paradox was looking to try and deny it to buy a little bit of time to not get revealed. And you're always going to have to understand that as well, right? So just 9 times out of 10, disguised, right utility, put at the right spot where the situation calls for it.
Just a crazy sort of prospect right now. I remind you guys all watching along at home. One of these teams will see.
ये कमबैक
being saved
देखा
by
देखा
it.
सा लगता है मेरे
One
को
of
भी
these
यार
teams will be making it one
कहीं
step closer to
देखा है
Bhutan Arena.
कमबैक
In only a few days' time, we've got one more left of the kind of
Chat, भरोसा है क्या?
Tomorrow, we'll find out who will be joining the playoffs. As that lower bracket run continues, Simprisa already there, full sense joining them.
And again, I'm
Big
just thinking to
games.
myself as well, right? Big games indeed, but you
Nah.
still have to face Boom for whoever wins this
Oh,
series.
yeah, man, my God.
Like, you still think about, the hometown heroes making again another appearance at an Ascension, right?
They are a scary opponent no matter which way you look at it. We've always been
सारे
such a
नेगेटिव
big
केडी में
name in
बैठे
esports, Boom.
6 11 6 10 4
Well, we got a new
11
half
3
to be
12
presenting. Let's see what the pistol is going to entail for us, because this lineup for Revenant, I mean, when you're running 2 Senties, right, you would expect it generally to be a little bit stronger on this defensive side, whereas opposed for Disguise, the double duelist, a little bit
भाई
more fast
बराबर
and
बोल रहे थे
heavy
यार
around the map.
भाई प्रॉफिटेबल नहीं है
It's slow for them. at the
झूठ
beginning
तो
of
नहीं
this one.
बोले तक भाई ने है कि नहीं
Just
चैट
need to see that impact again from Sultan DOS9, right? They've had a couple of moments, but really, we
Huh?
need all the members who are slow to start on Lotus to pick back up here as well. They cannot let the double
धीरे-धीरे
duels
सब
overwhelm
समझ
them from
में आ रहा
Disguised. Otherwise, they'll really be packing their bags up sad.
This is so patient.
अभी
from
तो लग रहा है
Revenant as
सुरवे
well.
ग्रे फॉक्स
There's
ने भी
such
बराबर
priority
किया
on their utility, doing a lot of the distracting and stalling. I feel like coming in towards a round such as this, Siren does
Samurai
have
ने
one
भी
shock
सही
dart
किया
still available if you can try and clear some little pieces of
धीरे
utility.
धीरे समझ में आ रहा
You
है
yourself are up towards the tree line, and I'm looking at Revenant. They're not really budging, they're not adjusting, they're waiting for a lot of this utility to start to come down from this.
ग्रे फॉक्स के जो मालिक का चाचा जी है ना कौन है चाचा का या पापा बराबर बोले उसने
Dink up onto Vera.
सैलरी
He's putting
चाहिए
that pressure on, making it awkward. As now the contingency comes out. DOS9
क्यों नहीं हो
trying to
रही है
get back on
performance?
towards the side. It's going to be Paradox to find another opener again. The impact coming through from him, but Juicy Does take him down. Now DOS9 back into the dark cover, destroys the double tap in the smoke, but Starin will find him. Dark cover not quite good enough to
काफी
keep
बड़े
them
आप ही हो
safe.
वेटर
Comes
नहीं
in.
यार उर्मिल भाई ऐसा
All
वैल्यू
the Starin in the
शर्ट
1 versus 3 here, trying to get that spike planted, and he's not even going to be able to. Komodo has to go back into the boat shed and will get swung upon by Revenant.
किस कुछ में
And
प्लांट
they
होगा
start what could potentially be a journey
पता नहीं
towards success here on this defensive side.
Yeah, I mean, we saw in the previous maps as well that Revenant are the ones that like to bleed down the
बात
time really
तो
low before they go for
उनकी
their
सही थी
executes, right?
वैसे
This time
उनकी
it's
पीओई
Sky
से
starting to clear
हाँ
out
ना
this
शुरू है भाई
facility as well, right? You're going to be a little bit more paranoid where
अंकल
where
जी
these
की
sort of
बात
sensors
गलत
are
तो नहीं
gonna
थी
be
यार
placed, where these trap wires are going to be placed. A lot of the times you see these cipher lock combos, you actually do sometimes see the switch ups from having one of these sentinels on both sides of the map to actually double deploying them and being a stronghold position on one of these sides and leaning a little bit more
Sound
towards
good.
mid, leaning a little bit more towards tree specifically sometimes as well. Right now though, nothing too untoward from how Revenant have been playing on just, you know, that pistol round and even this strategy in towards this secondary round.
Oh my god, kill him, yes!
So lining him up. That's beautiful from Skills. 3 frags to boot, and SK
Dynamic
gets a
duo.
couple as well.
अरे वहीदुल भाई क्या सीन है अस्सलाम वालेकुम वेलकम 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 कैसी हो मेरी जानी
Match of this caliber, right?
क्या सीन है क्या खाए आज
Or you win and you face up against Boom. Both are terrifying prospects, to be fair. But, you know, getting those steps forward, this is what you work towards all
भाई ये
year.
survey
This is
pro
what
भी
you
नहीं
grind
है
for. And
देखो
getting that
इसकी
little
stream पे
confidence
gameplay
boost
देखा
to
है
pick you up when you might be down.
लायबिलिटी बन के बैठे हो
Good
सुरवे
bonus
भाई
economy. They got to fight the fight hard here if you're Revenant.
Same deployment again where you've got Paradox and Sultan over towards the A site with deeper one
Whoa,
ways
bhai.
and just the positioning.
So
But
right
right
now,
now,
bro,
that is
Sirfi.
just an immediate I'm better moment from Juicy.
Yeah.
तेरे को बेस्ट पता है वो
Could
इसको
say
मार
that
भी नहीं
against,
सकता पूरा
you know, a
दो
lot of
शॉट मारा
players
तो
in the
भी।
world,
हाँ,
Juicy. When it comes to aim and fundamentals.
Just now thinking as well, for what Revenant are doing over at A, how long do they want to rotate these one-way smokes over there as well and put more of an emphasis back towards short because there's a bit of a sneak up from Disguised there. It's great dispatchment of Juicy actually. Equalize us up for this bonus round and the duel now Mitch around this door.
It's going to be awkward. The gravity net goes out well, but the paranoia does catch back. Sultan at least able to make it work for just a second, but now he has to pop under hell. And Vera's going to be ready for him. Surely he has the inkling as to where this man is right now. And he's going to see the little tootsie twos from the bottom. But will Vera keep his focus there for too long? He's actually been missed out here. Vera does get the frag, but he's traded quickly.
चलो भैया
However, when you grumble,
भाई इंडिया में
it's
प्रो
not
प्लेयर
really
बनना
gonna
बहुत
matter because that man is
रिस्की जॉब है भाई हाँ?
नेट
and Disguise pick
Blind.
up their 10th
Chat
round
PC में
here. I
especially.
think you mentioned in the
सब
previous
करके
half,
एक kill
Komodo,
मिला है।
they would need at least the first and the second round, but maybe not the bonus if
हो
they
गया
can
रे, कोई नहीं
recoup
बनेगा अभी
themselves.
प्रो
They've lost the bonus, they've got the full buy-in here. This
परफॉर्मेंस
is the
नहीं
chance,
तो हो गया
and
ना
probably
बे
the final one to really give themselves a good crack to win this.
Yeah, and I'm actually seeing Skills run away from the Hunter's Fury as well, right? So if you've got that going into the 4th round where the bonus is done, you've got your strong buy actually, and you're a team that, as Revenant, you've got the stalling ability from these Sentinels at the very
CC
beginning.
बनना risk
You've
है,
got,
टिबन भाई,
you know,
never
Hunter's
यार।
Fury into the mix
हमें
if
देखो।
a post plant does go down where you lose the sights because you don't
किसी
necessarily
angle से risk
need
लग
to
रहा
have
है,
all of
CC
your
बनने का।
utility would be doing stuff on the side.
देखो भाई
Like, some of
CC
it
बनने
just
में
gets
main
key
aim होनी
locations
चाहिए भाई
can
बिना
just
aim
be a bit of a protector that
बहुत
you know that
difficult
no one's snuck on past the trap wire or ran past the sonic sensor, right? Again, however, I will highlight that this barrier wall has gone down towards short for the 3rd time. Now it can be destroyed a little bit
very
earlier.
strong
in
very
the-
strong
to
defense
put a little bit more of a problem onto Sultan, onto Paradox, who have pushed into main.
So just cut sound again. They're happy to destroy. They're happy to get that extra control. Our drone in to clear out short.
TbOne by India is not
They're
ready
falling
for
away. They're not super
esports
keen on that
we
one towards
don't
the A
have
site right now,
unlimited
and you can
money
tell that
everyone
Revenant are already
playing
on the
very
back
much
foot.
pressure हाँ
It's
ना
going to be
कौशिक
again
भाई
eyes onto SK Rossi to see how much he can hold here.
Well, you do have him falling back towards the site with Skills. Try and play with this stinger up close. You've got immediate rotation starting to
इंडियन
come through as
पीसी
well.
स्ट्रीमर सीसी
About
ही
30
अच्छे
seconds before
हैं
the
ये
the
बहुत
plant even starts to get
डीप
towards
तांशुल
the
भाई
site.
मेरे को गुस्सा आ रहा है आप
Right, so you can see where Skills wants to play, but it's just such a hard
पे मेरे को
position.
क्रय आ रहा है
And look, DOS9, at the very least, he'll be able to find one because Rossi didn't die just yet. Still going to be able to keep on kicking for now, but that neural theft coming out and he checks the wrong way. All left on to just Sultan. 1 versus 3.
you know, that's a painful position as well for Grumble.
TbOne by
that middle
RNT
left is able
इंडिया
to
टीम में
really
नहीं
upset
बाबा
you.
साउथ अफ्रीका ये देखो SA
Sultan, were you expecting
South
to play
Africa
up
team,
this
South
current
Africa.
position? Now you've been spotted out, and that's just good crossfires to come on through
Ah,
from
maar,
the skies.
ho gaya.
Think about it as well, Mitch. Had that neural theft not gone off from Grumble,
ये
would
TbOne
DOS9
को
have
अगर
been able to get one
सैमुराई
and get
ज्यादा
out or
पैसा देगा तो ये
dance around
VLT
that
छोड़
spot?
देगा नेवर
Yeah, I
यार
think maybe. I definitely think that's a possibility.
उधर
Right?
से अभी तक पैसा ही नहीं आया अब
All I can
वापस
say
उधर
is,
जाऊंगा
like, hero, MVP, Lord of the Skies,
हाँ
This man has
अगर
been
क्यों रहता
putting
तो
in
ऊपर से
absolute
पॉपुलर
work. Just
जाता
the
है,
amount
जैसे
of impact he
ये
has
तुम
found
कुछ
on
भी
these
करो रे
consoles
हो गया आज
every
का मुझे तो
single
लग
map.
नहीं
And
रहा
I
इससे
even
कुछ
throw
होने
it
वाला
back to Lotus when they had a
11-7 हुआ था मेरे को पूरा भरोसा है
still there doing it
तब
all.
तक मैं कुछ नहीं बोलूं
काय टिल्ट हो रहे हो तुम
Now,
मैं गुस्सा आ रहा है भाई मुझे
time here for Revenant.
हर साल यही दुख में चले क्या
The wickets there juicy around the shock bolt.
तो तू आज रैंक
Yeah,
पुश
well, he
करके बता
immediately
ही
wants
देना
to get
तू
out
कौन
those
है
kill contracts too, right? Because if you're
मैं क्यों
removing
करूं भाई
someone
मैं
from side,
सिमुलेशन
that makes it easier
प्रो
for the
वैरायटी की
team
मैं
just
रूं
to get in there. And if you take skills out of the equation, that's a Hunter's Fury that could be really
ऐसे
impactful in
करनी
the
तो
retake.
हमें ले लो ना टीम में
टेक्निकली वो लोग एक
And it's
जीते
just that awkward kind of silence.
मैं
Not really
कहता हूं
holding
भाई
action across the map. They're letting them
मनोरंजन
have space
देंगे
here. Sultan in an awkward one. Vera up so close, could get the clear. Because they're looking the wrong way. They're not really getting a single eye over there.
अल्ट वर्ल्ट मारेंगे शेज लेके बेट करेंगे बकचोदी होगी एटलीस्ट
The way they exactly want it to. It is going to at least do the job for the time being. And they did try to clear it out, but obviously again with it not going just
मेरे को गुस्सा आ रहा,
doesn't
गुस्सा
quite
आ रहा।
connect there. And now they're going to rotate their way back towards B, which is relatively clear right now.
माइनस
Very small window in the timing that Paradox gets that back up after the Hunter's Fury.
Cypher A पे क्या
बेचारे का
And now you
अल्टीमेट
have that in towards a potential
Yeah,
retake,
round
right?
pick.
But you have an open fight. You've still got this kill contract for Juicy as well. Trades are bound for sure, but site's clear. We can start to get a plant.
गया ये रहा
Trying to go through though. Look at how quickly they're going to go there. The blindside's out. He narrowly misses the shot there again. DOS9, who's normally been so sharp. Grumble. Oh my God! I'm repeating this man's name time and time again. It's because he is just that damn
रियली
good at this
डिसअपॉइंटेड
game.
यार रियली
Disguised. They hit map.
सेट तुम मुझे भी ऐसा लग रहा है क्या
Lower bracket streak point. Revenant.
मैं तो बोलता हूँ
Only just a single
टाइम आउट
round
लेके ये लोग
away
टाइम
from
वेस्ट करना चाहिए
unfortunately
अभी
saying farewell in Ascension.
क्या बोलते
They've
हैं
given it such a solid crack here.
चलो
for the
बिग्स भाई
Skies.
see you next year in
Individually,
watch party
Right now, just diffing them.
सिमुलर स्ट्रीमर
Yeah.
सिमुलर स्ट्रीमर हो तो वॉच पार्टी करके पैसे क्यों कमा रहा है अरे क्या बोल रहा है बे
लगता है कि जीतेगा
अरे उर्मिल भाई ऐसे धोती खोलेंगे तो विंच अंडरग्राउंड होना पड़ेगा बे
Has not been able to provide too much for his team, unfortunately.
Oh my
Getting
God.
towards the
Kill
site, you've got the
contract.
kid
Rossi, मार दे
towards SK Rossi. Meanwhile,
Oh,
skills
no.
is gone as well.
अरे उर्मिल भाई
It's all falling apart.
मॉड हुआ है एक्सपोज कर
Comes out off the back of that for Grumble as well. That is
See you
just
next
they
year,
keep
buddy.
All this control.
चलो
अंकिता को बोलो आगे से राइट लेने के इंडियन ओशन से
Now all three members independent
रात का क्या प्लान है
Revenant, I want you to go on. I want you to go hard, and you need to do everything you can right now, Sultan.
रात
Able
का
to
क्या
get
प्लान
at
है
least
डिबॉन
one onto
रात का
Vera.
ब्रो मैं वो
They've
ओयो
overstepped
ओयो
here a little
ओयो
bit. Tagged up though is two of them. And now as they try to clear on
है क्या जॉर्ड गैंग है क्या मुझे तो नहीं लग रहा
Wayne and Grumble will deny.
कल है।
Sultan is going to be met
कल है
with a very
confirm कर
angry
गया।
group of
बता दो जो
disguised players.
मैं
And
WhatsApp
that will
करता
be your Malaysian Singaporean representatives making another step forward to the playoffs at Britama Arena in Jakarta, Indonesia. And as I've said, it was told in the previous series, Komodo, how much pain these players must be feeling right now. Immediate head in the hands, immediate tears, immediate emotion from a player with so much tenure like SK Rossi, from the Kazakh players like DOS9 and Sultan. They must be absolutely reeling right now, feeling the hurt. And all I can say is, boys, time and time again, I've repeated this many a time in my tenure, almost 10 years of casting and playing as well back on historic titles. And it's like, guys, feel this loss, earn this next spot. And for Disguised, who aren't done just yet, you know, job continues. This win is only going to be short-lived because you're going to have to face up against Boom only
तो भाई
tomorrow.
टाइम आउट लेके टिकट बुकिंग कर देते ये लोग
One for Disguised as well, but they'll have some reflections
ऐसे
on
मत
what was
करो।
working tonight.
ऐसे
They
मत
want to try and negotiate the veto as well. when I was looking at this series as well, I'm thankful that we got the third map. I think this series definitely deserves it. I think every series in a lower bracket run deserves it, right? I want to see full potential from both of these teams.
क्या -50 लिख रहे हो यार, शर्म करो यार.
To start off this series between both of these teams, it just feels like when I'm looking back towards Binds, there was such a clear pivotal read that came through from Disguise on a map that I thought so far in this tournament had been sensationally played, even despite.
आज भी एक ही डीप सवाल मेरी वही थी कि भाई जी फाइटिंग का कोच इधर क्या कर रहा है. सोचने वाली बात है. चलो यार, सच्चे में आज बहुत मैं सैड हूं. पता नहीं रात को स्ट्रीम होगी कि नहीं. देख कैसे क्रोकोडाइल टीयर्स. ऐसे ना बोलो यार. आपको क्या अपना तो कलेक्शन. एक्सक्यूज मी मैकल, आई एम हर्टेड यार. कलेक्शन हो गया. एक्सक्यूज मी, गौतम गंभीर होना चाहिए नेक्स्ट ईयर यार. सच्ची में यार, सच्ची भाई, सच्ची में मैं इतनी हर्ट हुआ. मुझे नहीं लगता रात को मैं इमोशनली रेडी हूँ स्ट्रीम करने के लिए यार. आई एम रियली हर्टेड लाइक क्रेजी. जी फाइटिंग का कोच इम्पोस्टर है. आई एम जोकिंग. रात को भी स्ट्रीम होगी. चल गाइस, मैं जाता हूं अभी, ठीक है. रात को हम हमारी ड्रीम की ताज होटल बनाएंगे. 3 रूम बाकी है हमारी. ओपी 3 नहीं 5 रूम है. 5 रूम बाकी है. रात को $1 मिलियन कमाएंगे. तौबा तौबा तौबा, बहुत बुरे लग रहे हो. मत करो मत करो मत करो मत करो. रहने दो. ये क्या है यार. चैट MVP no kill वाला कैसे? Isn't that concerning? पैराबेलिक में जॉब छोड़ दूं? MVP no kill वाला ये कैसे हो सकता है? चूस पिला दो स्किल्स को कोई. चैट सच्ची में यार, हर साल का सीन सेम हो रहा है यार. लगता है अगली साल वैलोरेंट ही नहीं रहेगा, मुझे लग रहा है. क्या है भाई. फाइनल्स हारते ना मेरे को बुरा नहीं लगता. सच्ची बता रहा हूं, झूठ नहीं बोल रहा. कि एटलीस्ट फाइनल्स तक आए या फिर सेमीफाइनल्स भी बुरा नहीं लगता ना. आज थोड़ा बुरा हो रहा है. कल अगर बूम के अगेंस्ट भी हारते ना थोड़ी सी ठीक है. ऐसा छोड़ दो यार. ऐसा लग रहा है कि मैं लूप में देख रहा हूं. हाँ ना, हर साल. अब मेरे को सिर्फ एक ही भरोसा है जी फाइटिंग पे, अगली साल की नई लाइनअप में. बस फिंगर्स क्रॉस्ड. एसेंशन को मैं भूल गया भाई. एसेंशन आई गेस सारे ऑर्क्स भी अभी सोचेंगे कि भाई क्या फायदा अगर ऐसे ही बर्न करना है. तो अगली साल भी ऐसे ही होगा, मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है. हाँ ना सैट, इजंट दैट कंसर्निंग क्वेश्चन? VLT आ गए अब तो. वो तो फिलीपींस का देखना पड़ेगा ना. फिलीपींस का वो आपकी पापवेट वाले गेम में टॉप. वो आपकी पापवेट वाले गेम में टॉप करेंगे. लव योर मिल भाई, लव. VLT का अभी वो जो लिया वो खेलेंगे भाई. द ओनली होप. देखते क्या होगा यार, देखते. फिलहाल के लिए मैं जा रहा हूं. रात को मिलेंगे, ठीक है. चलो बिंग्स भाई, चटको चटको. छोड़ दो आप गेमिंग बैन चुत. रोज यूसी करो बस आप. बाय. सो गए क्या? मैं जीजू गोस टू हु. भाई कौन कहा भी जाए भाई, एंड रिजल्ट यही है जो तुम्हें दिख रहा है. तो फायदा क्या है बताओ. ये उधर गया, ये इधर गया. एंड रिजल्ट यही है तो क्या फायदा क्या है. सिंपल सवाल. योर वॉच पार्टी इज ऑल्सो कंसर्निंग आफ्टर दिस. इसलिए हम धीरे धीरे शिफ्ट हो रहे हैं.
Pratik donated 40 rupees through
हमें भी
Super
वो
Chat.
एक अंदाजा आ रहा
Party
है
is also
वैलो एनएच
concerning after
के.
this. Skull.
हम भी इसलिए धीरे धीरे. You gotta think like a businessman, yo. समझे? डीप. अगले साल शायद सिमुलेटर गेम्स का वॉच पार्टी भी हो सकता है. चलो मेरी जानी, रात को मिलेंगे. पूरा होटल बनाएंगे आज, ताजमहल बनाएंगे. ठीक है. लव यू यार. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वॉचिंग एंड वॉचिंग मी. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर कमिंग. लव यू. चूस पिला दो.
तेरी याद आई चिरा बाद अड़िए नी, याद आई चिरा बाद अड़िए नी. अखां विच हंजू डुल गए नी तेरे प्यार दे. याद आई चिरा बाद अड़िए नी. अखां विच हंजू डुल गए नी तेरे प्यार दे. हाय ओए तेरे प्यार दे. हाय ओए तेरे प्यार दे. कदे कदे मेरे बारे तेनू पुछण कुड़े, साडी जिंदगी च दिल किन्ने टुटे ते जुड़े. बह के सोचां भी तेरा हाल की किते, कलियां के तेरे नाल तां नहीं कोई. रातां नू पासा वटदी ऐ उदों करदी ऐ किनू कॉल नी. मैनू पता भी तू दिलों पछताउनी ऐ नी. मैनू पता भी तू हले मैनू चाहुनी ऐ. नहीं तू सांभ लै तू हंजू तेरी बिल्ली अख दे. का तो छेड़ा पिछे दुख तू लुकाउनी ऐ. तेरी याद आई चिरा बाद अड़िए नी. याद आई चिरा बाद अड़िए नी. अखां विच हंजू डुल गए नी तेरे प्यार दे. याद आई चिरा बाद